And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Eternal Challenger League Season 5, Qualifier number 4, and today, here are our 4 finalists. So in the first best of 3, it is going to be Ludwig, 15,000, facing off against King of the Dead. And remember, Eternal Challenger League is a pretty substantial amount of players. I think today in total we had, excuse me, I think we had 60 players? Yeah, about 60 players playing today. So these players had to fight through fire and brimstone to get here. So it is Ludwig, 15,000, facing off against King of the Dead. And then on the bottom side of the bracket, I got to update this. This one is actually a little bit outdated. This is actually to be determined. So yes, it is going to be random nicks facing off against, let's go ahead and look. I believe they're still playing on the bottom side of the bracket, but it's going to be either Flying Taco or Energized. And Energized actually did get to the finals of the last qualifier and did face off against Falcon in a pretty contested series there. So quite a bit of fun. But now, guys, we're going to be jumping into our first best of 3 of the day. So let's get this party started and see how this unfolds. So we're going to be jumping to the scorecards here and loading in. So it is going to be King of the Dead on Norska facing off against his beloved Undead. So he is going to be facing off against Ludwig, 15,000, who is going to be playing the Tomb Kings. So it should be quite a bit of fun. Start when ready. No rush. Great. So yeah, this is interesting. I mean, if anyone is going to know how to play against Tomb Kings, it's most certainly going to be King of the Dead, as that is his main faction there, his main squeeze, as they say. Come on, Wicked. No, Wicked is going to be modding today. He'll be hanging out in chat. That was actually from the recent tournament I did, the Autogen tournament, so I just forgot to update that one piece there. Turin, you always stream when I'm trying to cook. Hey, man, why not both? You know, put it on your phone while you're cooking. It'll help you pass the time. All is good. What's going on, Blue Thomas from Australia, representing? What time is it over there? I know it's a pretty substantial time difference between our two lands. But Tomb Kings versus Norska, there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. I mean, oftentimes you're going to see fat burning heads from Norska. That's one of the more kind of standard styles to play here. On top of that, troll builds actually do work pretty well here. The trolls can get in there, they can wreck through Shopti, they can hold back the constructs, and, you know, in great numbers with good micro, you know, they can be a pretty substantial threat. So you are going to be loading into the first map. It is going to be Castle Drakenhof, which has some nice terrain and kind of line of sight blocking for both players to utilize. I would imagine that the build that King usually uses in this matchup is actually a couple Necropolis Knights, which is just his playstyle. Most Tomb Kings players, you rarely see them used, but probably going to be seeing double Necropolis Knight if you work from King's side, and then obviously Casket of Souls is really good too. Caskets are kind of weird. Like, Caskets can actually wreck trolls and infantry. Like, they're pretty good against monstrous troops. Yeah, it's very, very strange. Chandler Stone, it is not my birthday. But thank you. Yeah, it's getting actually pretty close to my actual birthday, which is going to be July 12th. If anyone is wondering, that is my actual birthday, despite all these memes. Turin, could you ever stream like 9 hours a day like Legend does? Right now, no, because my hand is, I have a hand problem. I have a couple hand conditions that keep me from streaming that long. But I'm actually getting surgery. They had to move my surgery from July 6th to July 9th. So I'm going to be getting it there, and hopefully that'll fix my hand. And then after going through physical therapy and, you know, all that sort of good stuff, you know, hopefully I just won't have these issues anymore, because I would love to stream, you know, 5-6 days a week for 4 to 5 hours. Like, that streaming is my favorite part of doing YouTube. It's my favorite part. Yeah, it is. Hello, welcome to the stream, guys. You are here in time for the first battle of the day, so let's go ahead and break it down. So for the forces here, we have King of the Dead with a Berserker front line. So Berserkers, of course, pretty high leadership, so even if they have to fight constructs and monsters, they hold and fight. They're almost undead. 80 leadership base, but of course, when they actually start fighting and they get the buffs of having their flank secured and encouragement auras, these guys are usually around 90 leadership, which is pretty good. 4 of those, he does also have Throg, the Troll King. The Troll Daddy is here, and as far as like matchups in which Throg is, you know, really good, I think Tomb Kings is one of them. He can fight the big construct lords. Frostbite is very powerful. So for example, if Cetra or some of those other characters slip up and get out of position, the Frostbite is really going to be able to kind of lock them in place and allow your other assets to do work. He's got a Skin Wolf Werekin, the leader of the Condom Wolves, and on top of that, he does have the Famir Balefiend of Fire for Burning Head. In the back, Triple Javelin, which I think are better than the Throwing Axes simply because of the Arcs of Fire and the Anti-Large and the range. 2 groups of Ice Wolf Chariots, I think? No, Marauder Chariots, actually. So looking to penetrate into an archer line, perhaps, and a big old Manscore. Now for the forces of Ludwig, 15,000. Quite an epic name for sure. In the front here, he does have Skeleton Spears. Secondary is going to be Tomb Guard, very much playing like a layered archer build. He's got the Blessed Legion of Demonetization. Here he does have Skeleton Archers, and look at this! Double Sepulchral Stalker, that's pretty cool for sure. Very excited to see how these guys play out. They're anti-large, their missile attacks are pretty disgusting, can do a ton of damage, and right now King, of course it wouldn't be a King of the Dead build without his Blessed Hounds here, so he does have Norscan Warhounds as well as the Beast of Tashnar, but Ludwig certainly has some pretty good assets to defend his battle lines. On top of that, he does have the big old Sphinx of Usek here, the Necro Sphinx. Throg and the Werekin certainly not going to be bad against this bad boy. He's got to be careful, though, because the Sepulchral Stalker is kind of hiding in the shadows. Could do a bunch of damage here, but nice charge by King. A very good opening to the battle. Is able to get the 2 anti-large characters on top of the Sphinx and do, 10-15% HP damage, which is certainly quite nice. Cetra the Imperishable going to be trying to muck up the Berserker charge, but here you have the Marauder Chariots actually pounding through the front lines, and if you see this, King is now going to be rotating into the back line. So these Berserkers, of course, will win the frontline engagements most likely. Maybe not in the center because of all the, firepower that went into that. But for the most part, pretty good stuff. Burning Head going down as well. Burning Head going to be going through the Skeleton Archers. And wow, that did some big damage. But it might actually end up going through some of the Hounds of King as well. And it kind of does. Didn't do that much damage. Oh, yeah, it did. Ended up going through and roasting his own Hounds, which is a little bit unfortunate. As far as the battle goes, pretty darn even at this point. The Chariots, the Marauder Chariots, are really proving to be kind of the unsung heroes here in this matchup. They're penetrating into the back line, and the thing is, Ludwig is having to use his big assets to kill the Chariots, which means the other parts of the Norscan army, like the Berserkers and the Hero Kit, Throg and the Werekin, are pretty much free to do as they please, which is certainly quite powerful. Here we have the Skeleton Spears still fighting and going strong, and the Sepulchral Stalkers looks like they got caught in combat for too long with Berserkers and got chopped down. On top of that, some really good focus fire coming in from the Marauder Hunters with Javelins was able to do some decent work. And bounce of power is still very even, especially considering there is an Ushapti summon. I would say that King is currently a little bit ahead on the bounce of power, but this Ushapti summon trapping Throg in here a little bit is quite unfortunate for sure. Ludwig is able to get a surround on Throg and or take out the Balefiend of Fire. That would just be a powerhouse play. So Throg is going to be staying in here. Look at that, getting ping-ponged! The Skinwolf Werekin launches! Oh man, he's got the Gorbel syndrome as well. It's pretty wild. Anyways, Javelins are still throwing for King, which is a big problem for Ludwig. That is good, steady DPS. And oh no, a bit of a blob! The Blessed Legion does advance too far forward, and oh man, they get roasted by that Burning Head. It goes through the Spears, and also it's probably going to be coming into these battle lines, which won't do too much, I guess. But Ludwig does a very good job here of trapping the caster. So with the Ushapti summon, he is able to trap the Balefiend of Fire, and maybe that's why King decided to use the Fire, just assuming he was probably going to lose his caster. But anyways, here, Skinwolf Werekin getting in there with those big old werewolf claws, and also Throg coming in with that good old steel club in the back. And the Sphinx is just getting peppered by these Javelins. And the problem here for the Tomb Kings is that many of their assets are going to be dissipating here, especially the Ushapti. They're going to be disappearing as a summon unit. And yeah, the Archers in the back are all kind of crumbling down. Berserkers still present. There's some here and also some here as well. But the Javelins are just proving to be the huge MVPs. I mean, yeah, the fighting, of course, Throg and the Werekin will do okay, but the Javelins have just single-handedly, not single-handedly, but in conjunction with Throg and the Werekin, took down that huge threat right there, which is super powerful. So here we have the Manticore coming in. Manticores, don't have the best AP values, but it's still a monster and can do a couple hundred AP damage right there against Cetra the Imperishable. And now Cetra is going to be perishing, is going to be kebabbed here by the Marauder Hunter Javelins, and I don't see him lasting terribly long. Dejaf's Cursed Blade's going down as well. And this is going to be another Burning Head. It does affect leadership as well, so if you're trying to crumble something. But man, a very, very solid, quick game by King of the Dead, going up 1-0 here in this best-of-3 series in the ECL Grand Finals. Or semifinals, I should say, of the Qualifiers Grand Finals. Polyest, he says, hey there, any tips for army composition for Skaven vs. Dwarves on a versus campaign? Ooh, Clan Eshin. You see, when you say campaign, it changes everything very dramatically. In campaign, what's crazy is Clan Eshin's Gutter Runners have AP in campaign, so honestly, you can use those. I would just go with, the Gutter Runners with AP to slow the Dwarven advance, Jezzails, Poison Wind Mortars, and maybe Doom Players and Doom Wheels, and you'll be fine. Yeah. You'll be fine. Jordan Lavelle, you're welcome, man. Hopefully I can keep you entertained today for as long as this stream does go. So King is going to go up 1-0. A very, very solid performance there. Good build, good execution. Javelins were incredible. Good flanking. It was just a really, really good play. But really, I think the unsung heroes were the Marauder Chariots. They really caused a lot of grief for that Tomb King's front line and also got into the back line. For Ludwig, I did like his army, but I don't think the Stalkers performed. Maybe he wasn't able to get the good attacks, but I guess King didn't have too many good targets for them. If there were Trolls or Famir, they can wreck those guys. But, Throg and the Werekin were kind of hiding amongst things, and it was kind of hard to focus them down. So very good execution. King of the Dead coming in saying stream sniped. Oh, man. No, there was no lag either. What is going on? We're in the Twilight Zone. All right. Let's go ahead and switch the map. We can go to Galbaraz. Isn't Galbaraz the map that's bugged? I don't know if they ever fix that. Let's go to Carrick Buftar, map set. Good luck, have fun. Guys, thank you for joining the stream. That was our first best of 3. So as far as the tournament goes, we do have this best of 3, another best of 3, and then a best of 5 grand finals for today's big old qualifier, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. All right, so Steve Wilson says, getting on the multi-tourney game. Do you recommend learning to play with all factions? I have 4 factions down so far. Honestly, if you're playing in tournaments, I mean, it's good to have topical knowledge of every faction so you know what you're facing. But generally speaking, if you're good at 3 or 4 factions, you're going to be fine. And I would say specialize in those factions. Like, for me, there's 4 factions I'm very confident with. I'm pretty good with Empire, pretty good with Chaos. Vampire Coast I can play Skaven and Greenskins. Like, I have a couple that I'm pretty solid with, but of course I'm not good at elves, right? It's pretty hard to be super good at everything. But yeah, I would say just like develop 3 or 4 factions you're really good at and go from there. That'd be my 2 cents, brother. That would be my 2 cents. So here we have Ludwig going Empire and banning Lizardmen and Greenskins. So what's going to happen now is King is either going to go, he's not going to go Coast. Coast is one of the few bad matchups Vampire Coast does have, is actually facing Empire. So I would imagine King will probably go with his Tomb Kings here. Yeah, I think he's going to go Tomb Kings. Yep, he's going Tomb Kings. We could have seen Vampire Counts as well, but he's more of a Tomb King Coast guy than he is like a Vampire Count player. Sir Hi Guy, thank you. Hello, you are indeed a guy, and a very generous guy indeed. The $1 or £1.99 donation. Appreciate it, man. Do you think Nakai needs a rework? Yeah, his campaign is not that fun. Horde campaigns just kind of suck in general, in my experience. I mean, they're kind of fun as like gimmicks, but I don't know. Although, honestly, I had some fun with the Chaos campaign, even though it was very outdated. I did enjoy it for a while, like the survival mode of things. Hey, Pedro! Thank you for the $5, dude. I appreciate it. It's not my birthday, but that's cool, man. I'll take it. Thank you so much. All right, so players are doing their jam right now. Yes. Yeah, quick battles are fine. Honestly, though, you're going to get better games if you play in like the multiplayer community with the Discords. Like, for example, in the multiplayer Discord I run, there's constantly people, playing and skirmishing. There's constantly people skirmishing and playing and, having a good old time in there. And you're going to get, like, people... You're not going to have to deal with, like, line camping and draw kiting and, like, other nonsense that you have to deal with in quick battles. Granted, I jump on every now and then and play a couple quick battles. But I would certainly recommend, if you really want to get into multiplayer, hit people up in Discord. If nobody's there to play some quick battles. But if you can find someone to play with who's, going to be playing under tournament rules and, not draw kiting you and line camping, I would say that's better. Is there a list of good multiplayer maps? Yes, there is. They're in, if you go to my Discord and go to the top of the pinned comments on the Total War General, there is a pinned comment that has a bunch of maps that are decent. The next Volkmar campaign, hopefully soon. I'm just kind of waiting for Sotek. Yeah, he hasn't gotten back to me the past couple days, so just waiting for him to get back to me, and we'll go from there. I'm going to be starting another one, though, because I got the itch, man. I got to scratch it. I'm going to be starting a head-to-head campaign with King of the Dead, actually. We're going to be doing, I'll be on Loki or Felhart, and he's going to be probably on Luther Harkin. Here's our plan. Yes. So that's the plan. ECL is here indeed. It is here, guys. King of the Dead up 1-0 here in this initial game. I know we got started pretty quick, so apologies for people just joining now. You missed the first game, and it was certainly a very good one. A very solid showcase of some Norskin aggression. And here we go. There are a lot of matchups in this game. Yeah, it certainly gets a little bit crazy. But that's what makes it fun. That's, what makes it engaging and dynamic and more interesting to me than, some of the historical titles in terms of PvP. I was a massive Shogun 2 fan. Shogun 2 is probably my favorite, of all time in terms of, aside from Total War Warhammer, which is my favorite. But Shogun 2 would be my runner-up. That game was so good. Yeah. Ladder does build character. Yes, it does. If you're looking to test your nerves and your patience, it is a good place to go play. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the builds here. Oh, hell yeah. Ludwig he's been taking notes, man. So I've been playing a lot with King of the Dead, and one of the few, I have to say, one of the lords that consistently does well against King is Volkmar the Grim. King actually does not like playing him at all. So this is definitely King's kryptonite for anyone who's watching. It's Volkmar the Grim. And Volkmar against Tomb Kings might seem strange, but he gives you a really annoying, sustainable body that can really push through, all these skeletons and can absorb tons of firepower, and he's really, really tough to bring down. You guys would be surprised. I feel like Volkmar is good, in almost every matchup, which is insane. Yeah. The Felhart meme stack of Corsairs with handbows is crazy strong. Is it really? I feel like, going with... Because you have to remember, my opponent, Dark Baphomet, in the head-to-head is going to be King. So it's not going to be an AI army I'm fighting. Whenever I fight an army, it's going to be controlled by him. So I don't know if the Corsair Handbow meme stack will work as well. Yeah. Anyways. So here for the Empire forces, Sigmar's Sons. There's Flagellants. Sorry about that. Damn, that was super loud. It's like this person just always finds a way to call me like when I'm streaming. All right, perfect. That is shut down. So now, guys, for the forces of the Empire, it's going to be Spearmen, a couple groups of Flagellants, which I do appreciate, and Sigmar's Sons as well. Flagellants certainly do a decent job here. They can grind very, very well against Skeleton, as you've seen in my head-to-head versus Sotek. They can take on endless undead, it seems. Volkmar the Grim is here as well. He's got most of his buffs and does also have the Jade Griffin. We have a single cannon in the back to shoot at the Ushopti Great Bows and Bone Giants. Triple Handgunner, which I love. I think Handgunners are very underrated. I think they're incredibly solid. And a Bright Wizard with Fireball and Burning Head. Certainly some very, very good stuff indeed. The Blessed Legion was actually used in the last game. You actually saw them. If you're just joining now, we did see the Blessed Legion last game, and they kind of got wrecked by a Burning Head, which I suppose is one of the downsides. Now for King, it's going to be Skeleton Warriors into the Sunset, 2 groups of Ushopti to give some stopping power in the front line, which will help against those Flagellants, which normally would just tear through the Skeleton. So having a little bit of armored support, certainly not bad. 2 Ushopti, a Bone Giant as well. Bone Giant is going to be a countermeasure probably against the Great Cannon. It can usually outtrade Great Cannons because of its HP pool of 9,400, which is pretty insane for sure. Yeah, and we got Ark in the Black and a Tomb Prince in the back. King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion, 2 groups of Skeleton Horsemen. A little bit of Vanguard play as well. We're going to have some Empire Knights hidden in the trees, and yeah, we missed this when we were looking at Ludwig's army. Empire Knights are so good. They can actually really mess with Ushopti Great Bows, and also are a great roadblock against the Tomb King's harass, like Skeleton Horsemen, Nahakar Horsemen, things like that. So, yes. Yeah, Lokir does give some really good buffs for sure, yeah. Head-to-head campaign really changes it, though. Like, things that normally work in regular campaigns, like, you gotta change your game plan, because you can't, just, abuse the AI's, tactics and their willingness to sacrifice things for free. So Ludwig coming in for a Fireball, and it is a direct hit on Ark in the Black, doing about 300-400 damage, which certainly is a good start. If you could just spam that Fireball non-stop and eventually get Arkin down, that would be very, very cost-effective. So now the Empire Great Cannons are singing into the Ushopti here, doing some pretty good damage, and unfortunately for King, he's a little bit out of position. His Great Bows are having to run up this hill because there's a little bit of a grade here, a little bit of a slope, and he's trying to get up there and get in range of the cannons, maybe the Great Bows, I'm not sure. Maybe he's going after the cannon, let's see. Yeah, King, oh man, big shot from the Chosen of the Gods. I guess that paid off. Got to watch out though, handgunners here. Certainly going to be in range to start blasting those Ushopti, but the hill goes both ways. They're on a little bit of a slope, and the Ushopti are on the low ground here. They are able to avoid a lot of that fire, so certainly a little bit of a cat and mouse here in this situation. But man, King with the plays here. He's able to snipe out the Great Cannon almost instantly. That's brutal for Ludwig here. So now Ludwig is going to be having to advance. Will King of the Dead finally beat his Kryptonite? Will he beat Volkmar the Grim? We'll find out here on the next episode. So now the Empire Handgunner is certainly doing some really good damage. And where are the Empire Knights? Are they still being hidden? No, they're not. So the Empire Knights taking in a very, very aggressive posture. Going to be looking to get into the back line. And Empire Knights can defeat Skeleton Horsemen and these other assets here. And yeah, King was able to break the Great Cannon. And then from there, he can use his Skeleton Horsemen to actually chase off the cannon crew. So that's a really, really good grab for the Tomb Kings. Now, Skeleton Summon a little bit off kilter here. He could have had it right on top of the Handgunners. And Ludwig is a little bit blobbed up here. I don't know what he's trying to shoot. I think he's going after the Chosen of the Gods. And let's see if these brave sons of Sigmar will lower their rifles and shoot. It looks like he is going to be splitting up his formation into a more proper firing line. But we do have the Skeleton Warriors rushing in. Some Spears of Sigmar. Going to be trying to come in and salvage that, but we'll see. It looks like they will be shut down. Burning Head going down to the front is going to be going down the Skeletons. Volkmar the Grim really causing a lot of problems. Running through the front line, buffing up the State Troopers. And of course, helping the Flagellants win their respective fights. Now, some of the Empire Knights in the back, of course, have won their fights against Skeleton Horsemen, but for the most part, it looks like King was able to stop them, using the crossfire from the Ushopti Great Bows to really take down one group of Empire Knights, but there are 3 in total, which is quite impactful. Looks like a Fireball going down in Ark in the Black once again. I think that's going to be a long-term game plan here for Ludwig. Really unfortunate losing that cannon crew that early. That was pretty disastrous. I feel like if you're going to go cannons against Tomb Kings, you need to bring a couple, but even still, it's, yeah, it seems like King was expecting a cannon and really prepared for it quite well. Now, the battle's pretty even at this point. The Ushopti in the front line are the difference makers. You can see here they were able to really put a ton of hurt on those Flagellants, and some of the Ushopti are going to be surging into the back line, and King is also going to be using an Ushopti summon right here to wreck these handgunners, and yeah, really, really good backline pressure, but 2 handgunners are free. 1 Ushopti is able to chase those guys down. Are they going to be able to get crossfire? Ludwig definitely wants to. He's going to want to switch these handgunners and start shooting here at the Ushopti and just kind of kiting until he can drag them through the mud a little bit. But honestly, the backline harass for Ludwig is doing okay. Some of the Empire Knights are, of course, getting some decent shock damage and causing the Ushabti Great Bows to at least have to, do something else other than shoot at some of the high-value targets in the army and, bring down handgunners, snipe characters, things like that. Another fireball coming in once again. Is it going to get blocked? It looks like it's going after Arkan or the Tomb Prince. It looks like it does get blocked here on the Ushabti summon, which is really unfortunate for Ludwig, certainly taking a pretty substantial blow. And the handgunner's getting a little bit of crossfire. The Ushabti summon will be disappearing here in about 30 seconds. So there's still ample time on that bad boy. And this is honestly a really close battle. The thing is like, yeah, it's going pretty well, but there's still, 87 Sigmar Suns, 36 Flagellants here. Volkmar the Grim is healthy, the Bright Wizard's healthy, and King is able to stabilize his backline. Ludwig doing a very good job pressuring here. Despite losing his cannon early and having his handgunners just chase into the sunset, the Spearman with shields chasing Ushabti is great. There's some Empire Knights back here who could come back, and Volkmar the Grim is burning through the witches and certainly having a pretty good time going after Arkan the Black, who is weak to fire damage. Volkmar does do fire, and with the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, he can actually get some reasonable duelist stats. Now, in the back, Spearman still chasing. Empire Knights here for Ludwig, sitting idle, but certainly could be brought back, and King definitely needs to get these Skeleton Horsemen back online. Make sure to finish off the handgunners, and it looks like he is going to. The Ushabti summon, these are actual Ushabti, so are these. So yeah, pretty much the entire handgun line is offline. It's just going to come down to Volkmar and the Bright Wizard and the infantry blob of the Empire. It's going to be a very, very scrappy game indeed. Handgunners are really good, but you have to allocate more resources to protecting them. I think maybe had there been like one Empire Knight in the backline defending the handgunners, that could have been much more cost effective. I am a big advocate of bringing handgunners in this matchup. So here the Bright Wizard going to be jumping in, and he's also buffed by the Hammer of Sigmar. So this Bright Wizard is rocking 49 melee attack. Might actually be able to get Arkan the Black down a little bit, but I think cycle charging and casting Fireball is the right choice. But the unbreakable Empire infantry certainly are no joke. Sigmar Suns still have 65 models. Here these Ushabti are being chased into oblivion by the Spearmen. You could actually get the Bright Wizard and go after the Ushabti Great Bows here, but yeah, this is really good for Ludwig. Really, really good for sure. He's doing a great job with that. So here comes the mighty Bright Wizard jumping onto the Chosen of the Gods, and a Banishment going down as well. Not really sure what that Banishment was about. Maybe he was trying to hit the Chosen of the Gods, but I've never seen Banishment do that much against like monstrous infantry and things like this. But the Empire, of course, Volkmar the Grim still going deep. He's not going to break easily, and he's in mortal combat here with the Tomb Prince. Some spears are surging forward as well. The thing is, King has a lot of ammo, for sure. He's got the Great Bows here. He does also have the Bone Giant, but I think the Empire is in a slight state of advantage. I mean, the Ushabtis back here are getting worn down by some Empire Knights. We have some coming back, but oh no, this is really, really bad for Tomb Kings. Handgunners are back online, which is really big. Even a small group of handgunners like this can be all the difference in winning a battle. And I'm telling you guys, the kryptonite of King is Volkmar the Grim. Somehow in my head-to-head campaign with him, I will find a way to get Volkmar in my army, even though I'm playing Dark Elves, it'll happen. But Volkmar just raid bossing it right now. He's so good. Curse of the Jaff going down. I'm going to be nullifying the stats. And this is good here, though. He's getting a little bit of crossfire. Some of the Great Bows are back online and shooting into this Empire blob. Maybe the Bone Giant going to be able to snipe out the caster. That'd actually be pretty good to just get a freebie on the caster here. But now the big old giant is going to be getting assailed here, and it looks like Arkan the Black is on the run. Freaking 112 HP. That is ludicrous. He's going to be crumbling down. Yeah, there's no way to save him. I mean, maybe if he can get back somehow. Nope. Looks like he's down for the count. I'm going to go fight some Flagellants. Oh, and he stabilizes with 2 HP. What is this witchcraft? If he gets another skeleton summon off, that could be one of the few ways the Tomb Kings could do it. But which brave Flagellant will take him down? Oh, and the Bright Wizard coming in the back. And the horse canters and tosses him off. And not canters, but, bucks there. And I think that's game. I think Ludwig's got this one. Very well played. Suffering a brutal loss in the beginning. Losing that Great Cannon just for free, basically. And then, having to charge into a firing line of Tomb Kings. He did a very good job. So very well played to Ludwig. And guys, we have a series on our hands. It's 1-1. King winning the first game, Ludwig winning the second. Will King of the Dead advance, or will Ludwig, 15,000 of Clan BBB, head on over to the finals? Volkmar is not going to break. That is very true. He is a raid boss. If you don't deal with him, he certainly bites you in the butt later in the game. But he's very tough to snipe with missile resist and magic resist. Spirit leeching him isn't great, unless you really commit. He's kind of like a Hydra in that way. Yeah, well played. Well played indeed. So guys, we got a 1-1 series here on our hands. That game's certainly very contested, very, very close, but the might of Sigmar is too much to handle. I loved it. And now let us go ahead and switch. It's so funny. I played like 2 or 3 Empire games with King with Volkmar the other day, and he's like, please stop playing Volkmar, please. Like, he just does not like playing him. It's so funny. All right, GG. Hey, King, did you like Volkmar? I'm going to say, did you like Volkmar? Let's see what he says in response to this. Oh man, he's got to have a response here. All right, so for the next map, let's do Oakenhammer. We should probably do one that's a little bit different. Red Desert's kind of a weird map. He just says die. All right. Oh, man. Here we go. Let's do a Chaos Waste. We haven't had a Chaos Waste map yet. Map set. All right. Perfect. Bubba's Big Blast, E2 Bright Wizard. Yeah, the betraying Bright Wizard. I mean, he wasn't betraying anyone, but I guess the backstabbing aspect of things is pertinent to your quote there. Yeah. Oh boy, I haven't been able to catch a Turin stream live for 2 years? James, that's a long time, brother. This brings me back. It does indeed. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you back, man. It's good to have you back. 2 years, that's a long time, dude. Damn. I've been married for 2 years. My voice sounds off today? That's weird. Does the voice sound different to you guys, or is it just Mr. Hajik who thinks that? I don't know. I'm a little bit tired, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I thought my voice sounds normal. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Maybe it's something with my microphone. Maybe the audio levels are off. Check the rules to make sure. Full spaghetti, I know. You gotta have some fun, man. You gotta have some fun. Anyone able to link to Discord? Yeah, some of the mods in here, if you guys could drop a link to the Discord, that would be greatly appreciated to my multiplayer Discord. Sounds fine? Cool. Perfect, guys. Sounds sexy? Great. Glad to hear that. Lovely as always. Look at Cake. It feels not good. Oh, man. It's kind of an inside joke between him and I, so, yeah. It's very funny. King, when we play our head-to-head campaign, I'm going to make a military alliance with Volkmar the Grim all the way across the ocean and coax him into coming and attacking your vampire coast. It's happening, dude. Oh, man. All right. So, it's going to be Vampire Counts, Lizardmen, and Greenskins. No, Vampire Coast, Lizardmen, and Greenskins. So now Ludwig bans one and picks, and then King picks from his remaining 2 factions. Is the third process here. Is there a qualified persons list? Yes, there is. So let's go ahead and take a look. So for anyone who's wondering about the format of the Eternal Challenger League, we basically have 8 weeks of competition. Each week we have someone qualify for the grand finals, and then we have the grand finals, which is a big old thick 8-man tournament. And yeah, we go from there. So if we go to the faction war, one sec here, guys. Faction war bracket, player list, here we go. So in week 1, we had Tlaxla and Soothsayer qualify, Anticity in week 2, and Felcon in week 3. So today is going to be dictating the 4th qualifier in our 8-man tournament. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For a second, I was like, wait, do we have 9 spots here? That'd be a little bit suspicious, wouldn't it? Yeah. Anyways, those are the players that have qualified so far. So the players are fighting for a spot here today. And yeah, that's it. And if you're looking at the Eternal Challenger League, the history, it's been dominated by one man, the myth, the legend. So if we go to the Ecl Hall of Fame, we've had Felcon win season 1, 3, and 4. The only person to win aside from Felcon in my Eternal Challenger League has been Zyphos. Zyphos did win season 2. He did a very, very good job. And for the Faction War Hall of Fame, for the Faction War, we have Tlaxon Soothsayer's Empire with the first one, Lizardmen with Felcon in the second one, Skaven with Hadries in the third Faction War, Vampire Coast with Anticity in the fourth one, then Wood Elves and Felcon in the most recent one. So we've certainly had some very, very fun competitions recently, which is quite a bit of fun. Yeah, we're doing it, man. So Ludwig will pick and ban one. So Ludwig, ban one and pick. Just got to make sure they're clear on the rules and everything. I know, Sarmation, I agree. There's few things better than that. Empire Knights are just so good. So good. Some good old sparkly water. Good for the soul. So he's going to pick Greenskins and ban Vampirates. Okay. So now, you know, Lizardmen actually do have a good matchup against Greenskins, I think. I have a couple builds for Lizards that I think are very, very strong here. So King has the option of either playing a mirror match with Greenskins or going Lizardmen. Yeah, King, you need to use your lag switch, dude. You need to. It's time to pull it out of your drawer. Oh my god, a mirror match? No, no, King. King, don't do it. I'm too weak. If he wanted to troll me back, he could, but yeah. Lag is just extra thinking time. Yeah, that's a very philosophical approach to it. Yeah, Lizardmen have a good matchup here, I think. I actually think it's one of the better ones for Lizards. I mean, still, it's an even matchup. I don't know. Greenskins got some really good tools. I mean, the Rampage effect is so powerful. But you know what's really funny about Rampage is that Lizardmen don't really care. If Skarsnik uses fermented fungi on a big monster, if you're playing Lizardmen and you're a pretty quick player, you can just use Cold-Blooded and cancel it out instantly. Like it just nullifies that, which is hilarious. So if you have like a Slan and a Skink Chief or something, whatever, a Scar Veteran, you can Cold Blood to get out of the Rampage, which is really, really funny. Jora, is there a pro scene? Yeah, you're looking at it, man. Or is, yeah. I would say that, the tournaments that we host here, the tournaments that you see hosted by many other creators, not creators necessarily, but just, people in the community, that is the pro scene for sure. And I mean, we pay prize money, so I guess that kind of is what qualifies it for, quote unquote pro play. So yeah. Absolutely. There's so many great hosts out there, tournament hosts. I could go through them, and maybe I'll do a video on that. If like for people looking to get into tournaments, like where to find them outside of my community. Yeah. Yeah, like for some of the tournaments, we'll have like a 400, 500, $800,000 prize pool, and that's pretty good considering it is a smaller community or a smaller scene, I suppose. Yeah. War Wagons are OP shooting version of Empire Knights. War Wagons are okay. I actually like them against Chaos every now and then. They have their niches. Like if you're worried about being like caught by like, hounds and things like that, they're durable. So yeah, Creative Assembly does do the Everchosen. I mean, we created that with Creative Assembly, but yeah. Because the game is like predominantly has always been more of a single player game with like niche multiplayer communities, but it certainly has grown a lot in Warhammer. Yeah. Yeah, I think Indie Pride had a tournament today. Granted, I think it was modded. I think it was a modded tournament. And balance becomes very, very crazy when you start adding mods. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that's it, guys. Jake says, as someone who recently got into multiplayer scene, a condensed video explaining general tourney rules would be nice. Yeah, sure, I can do that. I could definitely do that. So it's going to be Lizards. It's going to be King versus Ludwig's Greenskins. It looks like he is ready. King's sending a message here saying, hey, man, I'm ready. Are you? Trying to get that first click in there. Thanks, Aristodemus. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was an SFO tourney. Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. It becomes a different game in many ways, right? Like, the units change drastically, and, I think there's some cool aspects to it, but I prefer vanilla. I feel like it's much more balanced. Crandomus says, it's balanced? That's cool. Different balance, not unbalanced? Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I haven't put too much time in, so I'll definitely trust your guys' opinions. But usually when I'm in generalizations, when I'm talking about modded gameplay, it usually does become unbalanced if you're using mods. But, maybe SFO has a better balance. I don't know. Is it a multiplayer mod or is it more focused on campaign? Juan Orozco, I heard on a recent video of yours, you mentioned doing BJJ. Do you train? What affiliation are you with? Fellow grappler going crazy missing the mat. So, yeah, about 2 years ago, before I moved back to Los Angeles, my hands weren't as bad as they are now. And I did do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at, it was called Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu in San Jose. Oh, I forget. I didn't do it for long, though. Only like 6 months to a year, give or take. And then my hands got so bad because I was doing YouTube, working full-time, and grappling, and I had to stop. I was okay, but I will get back into it once I'm able to get my hands back. Yeah. Yes. All right, guys, and here we are. Aristodemo saying, from what I heard, spellcasters are crazy OP in SFO. Yeah, I tuned into his tournament today to watch for a couple minutes, and I saw that like Grail Knights have like 12 models or 15 models, and they had like 150 weapon strength. I mean, it's very cool from a lore perspective. Yeah, I'd be curious to check it out, but I prefer more of the vanilla experience, to be honest. Yeah. Flying Dutchman says, I'd call SFO very unbalanced and unloreful, but to each its own. Yeah, okay, yeah, opinion. We got a lot of opinions here. That's for sure. Anyways, guys, back to business. Let's go ahead and take a look here. It's going to be Saurus Warriors with shields. Oh my god, it's a Dread Saurian! Oh, the hero. King wanting to get to the finals, making a statement with a mighty Dread Saurian. Oh, baby. That's awesome. So frontline SARS, secondary line is cohort support, which gives you a little bit of poison poke against, Savage Orc, Biggins, things like that, and, can focus down the Giant as well. Here we have some red-crested skink support on the flank. It is going to be Tehenowin on the Engine of the Gods. What madness is this? Tehenowin is coming in with a Manticore summon, Flock of Doom, and of course the Giant Beam of Doom. I really, 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 really hope that King is able to get that off here. Man, that's going to be super exciting. Over here we do have the Feral Dread Saurian, and it is also going to be a Bastiladon with a Solar Engine, and that is going to be it. And now for the forces here of the Greenskins, who shall be led by Ludwig, 15,000. Solid name. It's going to be Azag the Slaughter with just Spirit Leech, certainly very helpful for taking down the big monsters. Front line is going to be Goblins, mixed with Goblins and Goblins and Goblins. Second line is Orc Boys, so going for a very wide infantry core, not looking to beat down the infantry fight, more to just swarm them. It's going to be Savage Orc Airboys with the Rusty Airs in the back here. We do also have Hammer of Gork, Stone Trolls, and some Spider Riders. So 3 Stone Trolls in total. Certainly very good against some of the big monsters. Stone Trolls have heavy AP values, but are not immune to Psychology. Unless there is a Bob nearby. Bob, of course, helps, and Bob is the Black Orc Big Boss, which is cool. The Dread Saurian against Greenskins is an interesting choice. It could goon out the Stone Trolls pretty well. I mean, the Dread Saurian hits very hard and has massive AP values, and is very mobile, too. There's no Rampage or slowing effects here in this Greenskin army. No Skulkers, no Gork will fix it. So, the Dread Saurian with good micro could be quite scary. Yeah, and an Engine of the Gods, man. This is wild. So Azag getting blasted. Nice shot here by this laser dino here in the back. Able to rip a shot here. And yeah, that's the thing. Like, King doesn't have to engage if he doesn't want to. He could simply use the Bastiladon to just kind of zap. But the thing is Greenskins do also have a Hammer of Gork here in the back. Hammer of Gork will eventually get good value against Saurus, which might outvalue the DPS that the Bastiladon can put out. So I think advancing here is probably the proper choice. But man, that Engine of the Gods, that Engine of the Gods is going to be insane. Yeah, this is going to be nuts. The one thing, I see some people in chat talking about campaign mods and things like that. One thing I would actually like to do would be to get a mod that just, like, adjust the balance of power for siege battles. I just, like, oh god. Or do something with siege battles. It's just, like, my least favorite part of campaign. I'm always like, it's like a chore, Yeah, it's definitely a chore. Anyways, guys, the front line is going to be moving forward. So we are going to have the clash of the Saurus. Saurus should beat down Goblins and Orc Boys pretty handedly, especially with the Engine of the Gods running rampant. Well, the Archer line is going to be the biggest threat here to the dinos, but there is a bit of a threat overload. Tehenowin plus a Feral Dread Saurian, I mean, that is a lot of stopping power for sure. So where is Azag going to be going? Is he going to be going into the front line? Probably not. I think he's going to be trying to Spirit Leech and goon out Tehenowin with some Stone Trolls or something. And Spirit Leech is going down, and when are we going to see the Engine of the Gods? It's coming in. Man, the Dread Saurian just doing so much damage in the front, but that Dread Saurian needs to pull back. It needs to run. It can't afford to take all that focus fire, and oh my god, it's going to happen. Oh, come on, Ludwig. Let us see this. Oh, and it goes through the Savage Orc Airboys. Hey, you know what? He still dodged it. Well played to Ludwig, but at least we got to see a little bit of damage from that ability. Because that thing can one-shot stuff, for sure. Now, a good play here from King. He did pull back the Dread Saurian, and now is re-engaged on the Stone Trolls. And the Stone Trolls will get wrecked pretty bad, especially with the Saurus support here on the ground. And Tehenowin has summoned a Manticore as well, and is in Mortal Kombat here with the big old... King of the Lag! He hit the lag switch! He wasn't joking! A little bit of lag here, guys, but it gives us a moment to kind of admire the glory of the battlefield. But interesting choice here. You can see that Ludwig is actually putting all of his Daka into the Bastiladon with the Solar Engine. Okay, they're just saying good luck, have fun. That's so funny. But as far as the battle goes, I think it's pretty even. Maybe a little bit Lizard favored. The Stone Trolls getting wrecked here is very, very impactful. Azag hasn't done too much yet. And Tehenowin is super healthy. And the back line with the Manticore summon shutting down Rusty Arrows is quite brutal indeed. And the Dread Saurian able to just mincemeat those Stone Trolls, man. I mean, took them down to almost half health very, very quickly here. So now the archers are in a little bit of trouble. Tehenowin is quite a tanky character. Pan's Pelt being used on him to give him some physical resist, but he is taking some Daka for sure. And Azag could come in as well. Azag has great AP value, so this is a chance for Ludwig to kind of get his bearings back on this game. If Ludwig is able to get Tehenowin low enough, I think that could be very, very huge. Nice Flock of Doom as well. And now Tehenowin is going to be beelining over here. Engine of the Gods coming in and going after the Savage Orc Airboys with the Dread Saurian. And that's the thing, right? If King just focuses down the archer line, none of this haggard greenskin infantry is going to be able to, fight the big monsters. I think he just needs to focus on killing the archers. And for Ludwig, just continue getting those good gooning opportunities and try and stabilize your archers. If Ludwig is able to get Azag and, eventually wear down Tehenowin, man, Tehenowin is like far from the grave. And the Dread Saurian, of course, has a huge HP pool as well, above 9,000 right now, which is pretty crazy. So now it's turned around. Azag is like, screw this shit. I'm out of here. I'm going to be running. There's a Summon Manticore going after him as well. I think using the Dread Saurian to finish off the Stone Trolls is certainly quite good. Lizards still have a fair amount of infantry. Cohort of Sotek here. Saurus Warriors in okay shape. Azag is running for the skies. And what do the Greenskins have as far as infantry goes? They have some goblins kind of lurking around. And you know what? Ludwig has gotten his archers back online. Savage Orc Airboys are free here. These ones in the back, the Rusty Airs, all they need is 1 or 2 goblins to really get their value. Stone Trolls, man. Stone Trolls are such a good unit, such good AP. And if you don't really finish them off, they come back, they heal, cause you a lot of problems. Honestly, this game's very, very close. The balance of power is partially falsely inflated due to the fact that King does have Manticore summons on the battlefield. Nawaz is now active. That's going to be a huge boon here. I think King probably needs to fall back. He needs to get his Tehenwin back here and, like, you know, just fall back on top of his formation. Oh my god. Oh, are we going to get it? The Engine of the Gods, round 2? Ludwig catches it just in time, but it still takes out a couple of those Orc Airboys. You can see a little bit of an HP drop there, but, you know, at the very least, it is something that forces back the archers, right? It definitely does a decent job of that, but the Lizards need to kind of solidify on top of something, form a bit of a blob, I think. Cohort of Sotek is certainly a good one to do that with, and some Saurus and things like that. Granted, the Feral Dread Saurian is now rampaging, but not before it pretty much terrifies all the Stone Trolls off. And if King were able to find something in the back here, if he were able to get the Skink Cohorts and chase off the Stone Trolls, that would probably be a guaranteed win for him. Now the Greenskins are starting to crumble. They're getting a little bit worn down, guys. I don't know. It's looking like a close game. Balance of Power comes back because the Stone Trolls came back. Okay, so the Balance of Power was Lizard favored, and then suddenly when the Stone Trolls, I mean, so much is banking on these guys. There's 11 here. It looks like there's 10 here. That is a lot of stopping power. And over here, we do have some Stone Trolls running for the hills as well. King really needs to be on point with chasing them off, or at least, you know, pressuring them. Yeah, here is a nice play. He's able to get the Cohort of Sotek. Only 22 of these. Look at this. 22 of these brave skanks are able to chase down these Stone Trolls. That is insane. And then the Bastillodon with the Solar Engine is still operational as well. If they keep breaking, they will eventually shatter, which would be quite painful. Tehenwin is getting danger low, though. 1100 HP, and I think Azag is still kind of healthy. Not really. Almost getting blasted again. 2200 HP here. The Dread Saurian is still rampaging, and the Dread Saurian is going to be an unholy terror in the night to deal with, that's for sure. Are the Trolls going to get chased off? Is King going to be on point with that? It looks like many of the Trolls are coming back, which is a big problem for the Lizards here. Granted, the Cohort of Sotek is... These guys are just the heroes that Gotham needs, that's for sure. They have good AP, but there's only 20 of them left, and the Stone Trolls might be able to turn around and just clobbering time them. The Skinks were a little bit late to the party, and it looks like some of the Trolls may stabilize. I think bringing a Bastillodon and or Tehenwin over here could save it. And he's shaking. Stand your ground, Pan's Pelt activated here. This is a good play. I would definitely take Tehenwin over here and try and terror out these Trolls and break them once again. Because from there, maybe the Dread Saurian can carry. It's going to be hard to say. There's still some Saurus around the battlefield. Ludwig has been doing such a good job just like rallying all of his forces. So these Trolls do get terrified. And now Tehenwin is certainly on death's bed, as Azag is a very, very mean duelist. He is poisoned, but yeah, enough to break Tehenwin, that's for sure. So Lizard Moses is going to be running for the hills. These Trolls are wavering, but man, if Ludwig can just play it safe and let all of his Trolls regenerate and just pick off all of the Greenskin assets, not Greenskin, but Lizardman assets, with the exception, of course, of yeah, the Dread Saurian, probably save that for later. I think he'll be okay. So these Stone Trolls close to breaking once again. The Bastillodon, I think he needs to just kind of bunker up. I think if the Bastillodon and the Saurus and all these guys can form a Death Star at this point, the Greenskin Archer line is kind of non-existent, and I think it could be enough to maybe break the leadership of the Trolls. Really good play here, though. Azag is chasing off, getting some damage. Oh, but a blast in the back from Gary! The Solar Engine able to blast Azag. Huge damage coming in. That is really, really solid for sure. Stone Trolls are shattering. That is the potential turning of the tide. If the Stone Trolls have broken, you know, so many times. Oh, there's one skink in here. This brave skink. Look at him. I'm one man against the world. Oh, okay. Well, that was anticlimactic. Right as I zoom in, he just goes down. Poor little guy. Anyways, here, Stone Trolls are going in. Dread Saurian definitely needs to save that Solar Engine, but you can see they're wavering here. Stone Trolls just do not like being near terror-causing monsters. I mean, they're very stupid. Stone Trolls are kind of like... I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. You know how, like, if a... I've seen on, like, survival shows, like, you know, people running into, like, bears and, you know, sometimes on, like, trails and things like that, and if you make, like, a loud enough noise, the bear will just run instead of knowing. It can easily take you, right? But if you make a loud enough kind of primal noise, the bear will, you know, not always, but oftentimes will run, right? I don't know if that's actually like 100% the case, but it's kind of like how Trolls are how they function, right? Man, this balance of power is just back and forth. Yeah, the Bastillodon needs to be saved. That is a huge terror-causing monster that would be very, very good here. And look at this, the freaking Hammer of Gork is still going here. That is crazy. Some of the skanks are trying to shut it down, but the Hammer of Gork is actually AP damage, and it looks like the Stone Trolls, are they going to be able to save it? Is he going to be able to save the Bastillodon? The Dread Saurian's going in strong. Is it faster? It's got 60 speed against the 50-something of the Stone Trolls. And yeah, they're not going to last long, probably, against the big beastie here. Ooh, that's so much damage. Shaken, -4 leadership, and they're terrified. But this is really good play from Ludwig, man. He's able to chase down that solar engine pretty effectively. And the skinks are here. They're broken. Yeah, the only thing left is the Feral Dreadsaurian. It's the only thing. So King is basically just going to be going after archers here, I would imagine. Oh my god, this is just a ludicrous game. In the back, we have some lizards coming back in, so we have the skink cohorts. Definitely going after the archers isn't a bad idea. It is a Feral Dreadsaurian, so its leadership isn't the best. I think that King might have been able to take this if he had centralized his forces earlier, like kept the Bastillodon with the big boy here, but it's certainly not over. The Dreadsaurian is not going to be an easy prey, especially if there are some skinks coming back who might be able to get on that Hammer of Gork. We will see. Yeah, and you can see like the whole Greenskin army is like, this could be one of those games that you think is over and then suddenly like a mass leadership rout just happens and that's just like, oh, okay then. Ludwig though definitely wants to collect his forces. Man, this is yeah, Jake, try it there. Try it out, let me know how it goes. Yeah, I mean, the Greenskin army shattering stone trolls, that's something. A nice Spirit Leech though, all he has to do is break the leadership of the Dreadsaurian. That's it. This is probably going to be mass terror routes across the board. Oh my god, is this Dreadsaurian going to carry this game? That would be ludicrous. It's steady now too. 243 kills. You know, people laughed at the Dreadsaurian, but this guy's been a playmaker this whole game. Yeah, he goes for the Archer line. He shatters them. A ton of the Greenskin force is shattering. Oh my god, the Dreadsaurian is unstoppable. The Hammer of Gork, I think, is going to be shooting at it. Oh, looks like he's trying to get it back online. Oh, the Rusty Arrows are coming back in too. That's useful. So Dreadsaurian is rampaging right now. Oh my god, this game is so close. This is going to be determining who goes on to the grand finals. I don't know if the Greenskins have like enough stopping power left to kill the Dreadsaurian. The archers are like wavering just from shooting. They're like, screw this shit. I don't want to get eaten by this prehistoric beast. Yeah. And now it's kind of stuck in combat here with some Orc Boys. The Orc Boys are holding pretty firm, which is huge. Buying some time for the very beat up archers here of Ludwig to get their money's worth. They're probably going to terror out themselves now. The Dreadsaurian, of course, is rampaging. And Rampage, I think, actually comes with a couple trades. Let me look. I forget. I think you get some... I can't remember. Oh, he's not rampaging anymore, so I can't really check. So, Dreadsaurian definitely is going to want to finish the Stone Trolls, just, like, charge them right now. King definitely needs to intercept them if he can, and here they come. The Dreadsaurian moving in, and the Stone Trolls getting punted in a couple directions. 3,000 HP. Azag is, like, lurking, but he's got to be careful. If Azag comes in and gets, like, one-shotted by, you know, the big old Dreadsaurian, I think now's his time to strike, though. If he can break its leadership, he just wins. -2, -14, -2, -6. Oh, and Ludwig breaks it! Oh, man, what a game. What a freaking game. That is insane. Well played to King and Ludwig. What an amazing series between these two fine players. So King of the Dead is defeated by Ludwig in a very tightly contested match. I'm sure we'll see King back next week to attempt to qualify again. Ludwig will advance on in our 4-man bracket. And who advanced on the other side of the bracket? Let me go ahead and check that. All right. I'm just going to check this real quick, guys. So it's Flying Taco. Okay, Flying Taco defeated Energized, and now he's going to be facing Random next. So Random and Flying Taco, if you guys are watching, go ahead and join the same lobby if you could. We'll go to the 4-man bracket. We'll update the TBD, which is now the Flying Taco. All right. There we go. And now King of the Dead will stay there, and Ludwig will advance on. Well played, man. That was a great series. Holy goodness. Well played. Oh, okay. I didn't get to chat with him, but that's not a problem. Everything looks good. Man, that Saurian was quite scary for sure, guys. It was very, very scary. So now let me go ahead and tag Taco and Random Nix. Get those guys good to go. Here we go. Join up. Revenant says, hey Turin, really enjoyed your homebrew mono black deck yesterday on stream. Any chance you could do a build video? Sure. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do another Magic stream and I can we can go from there. All right, so Random Nix is here. So let me go ahead and update the nameplates and then we'll get this party started. And he's going to be facing off against Flying Taco. Reset the scores, update. And this app is so useful for updating the scorecards, I have to say. Although it kind of struggles with the sizing, but you know, I can do that myself. I can do some things myself. Very good. So Random is here. Flying Taco is on his way over. Also, Turin, Let's see. Make dwarf holds as dangerous. All right, sounds good. Bubba's Big Blast. Yeah, man, that game was something. Dread Saurian certainly gets a lot better with healing. Tenwin is actually did okay though. He was quite a raid boss. But yeah, had there been like a Salon of Life and then maybe like another regular kind of a monster Steino, yeah, it could have been better. I actually really like to use Salamanders in that matchup because they wreck the Stone Trolls. They can do really well against them with their fire and anti-large. Granted, Stone Trolls do have good armor, so they take it a lot better than, you know, the alternative. I mean, Razordons can actually do okay too. All right, so let me make sure both players are good to go. And here we go. All right, so for the map, let's go ahead and get the map switched, guys. What map have we not had for... Kelp and Coal Dust is kind of a jankety map, to be honest. We'll do Iron Sand Desert. This one's a classic. Map set. Hey guys, I'll be back in just a second. Just need to take care of something real quick. All right, guys, I'm back. I just had to take care of some stuff real quick in the house, and we're all set. All right, so Random Nix is going to be going Coast, and he's banning Empire and Dwarves, certainly the two counters. And aside from that, Coast has decent matchups across the board. Imagine if his Slong could ride a Stegodon. That'd be pretty metal for sure. Just like floating above it. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. A Life Salon riding a Stegodon that is riding a Dread Saurian. Just all three of them stacked on top of each other, because I'm fairly certain a Dread Saurian could carry, you know, a Stegodon. I don't know. Hey, Kronos. Thanks, man. Glad you're enjoying the tournament. I know, Total War is certainly fun, man. That's what's so cool about multiplayer. It's like, there's so much replayability with how many matchups there are, and also like that in conjunction with campaign. Oh, there's so much to do in this game. Would Lizardmen eat Tyranids? I mean, I don't know. I always feel like the 40k factions would win just because like they're so much more kind of vast in scale and power. I'm trying to think of like a faction. I don't know. The thing is, like, I wonder if like a Warhammer Fantasy, like I feel like a Skaven gunline could like fight the Tyranids, you know, because like the Warp Lightning cannons would still be very effective against the big Tyranid monsters. Like a Skaven, I feel like could. I mean, maybe like Empire with like Hellblaster volley guns and cannons and like magic. I don't know. It's hard to say because the magic in Fantasy is quite powerful. So Random Nix in chat saying he played this matchup twice today, so he's certainly very practiced. But Flying Taco is, I don't know if you guys remember Flying Taco's glorious White Lion build we saw. So he brought the Narnia build, which was all White Lions and War Lions of Krace and yeah, so much stuff here. A Dread Saurian carrying a perch for Ripperdactyls and they just like jump off and attack things. Oh my god, that'd be so great. Ecl says a Dread Saurian chariot when? Oh my god. A Dread Saurian pulling a Salon in a chariot. And the Salon's just like blasting magic as it drives by. That'd be so cool. Taco says, oh, that's not good for me. I'm in danger. Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right. All right. One sec, guys. Very good. We're all set. All's good in the realm, guys. We're just kind of hanging out until they're ready. Good luck. Have fun, my flying Mexican food partner. Man, Mexican food is so good. I don't know. I don't know if I could even say like what my favorite food of all time is. I really do enjoy some pierogi, I have to say. Like having like a doughy like pierogi with like some meat in it. Oh god, there's like few things that can top that. Really do like Chinese food and Mexican food though quite a bit. Sigvald pulling a chariot. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Oh man. Yeah, we are on the second best of 3. So for anyone joining, there was a single best of 3, a really good series between King of the Dead and Ludwig, which has just concluded. So now we're on the bottom half of the semifinals. It's going to be Random Nicks against Flying Taco in a best of 3. And the winner will be going on to face the finalist, which I suppose some of you guys may go back and watch that, so I won't spoil it right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's like one of the best parts about living in Southern California. Like, I mean, LA has a lot of downsides to it. Jonathan Kelly, thank you for the donation. The 2 buckaroos saying happy birthday stream. It's not my birthday, but thank you. I'll take it. Thank you so much, man. That meme has been really strong. Normally, like when we have a meme on like the streams, it like dies after a couple weeks, but that one has really stayed, stood the test of time, as they say. But yeah, like LA has a lot of annoying things, like super high rent. There's some areas that are, quite unsafe. Yeah, it has a lot of issues. Let's just kind of leave it at that. But man, the food in Los Angeles is like so good. I don't know, like I've never lived anywhere. It's just that has food that's as good. I lived in Northern California.
Cooking is better.
Huh?
You said my mom's cooking is better.
It is. I'm talking about like localized food though in the city. And his mom is such a damn good cook. Oh god, the Christmas feasts we have there. It's so good. It's so good and tasty. Grilled cheese is your favorite, call you simple. Hey, that's fair play. Grilled cheese is delicious. Think about it. The Imperium with their Space Marines, Imperial Guard, Inquisition, Adeptus Mechanicus, and Sororitas have trouble stopping the Tyranids. So the thing is, it's like, I'm not talking about the galactic scale so much of like, could Lizardmen fight Tyranids? It's more like if you had like a relatively equal-sized force of Tyranids fighting, Lizardmen. Yeah, because obviously if you go on a galactic scale, like, yeah, of course, nothing could like defeat Tyranids and all that stuff, right? Like in fantasy. But if you're saying like, all right, I have like 20 Gene Stealers fighting 20 Saurus Warriors. The Saurus Warriors might have a chance because they're huge and strong and they have like, are pretty powerful in combat. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, we're getting started. Perfect. Yes, the Iron Sand Desert is here. It's a good map. It's a classic one. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I think some of the fantasy races, yeah, it becomes more of a scale thing. But, it's funny because, like, yeah, like 20 Saurus Warriors might be able to defeat, like, some Gene Stealers or whatever, right? But then, like, what happens if you have, like, 20 Saurus Warriors fight 20 Space Marines? Zero chance. Like, zero chance. The Space Marines would destroy them. Like, horribly. Yeah, Skaven can probably go to space. Yeah. A single planet can stop a Gene Stealer called Hive Splinter. Happens all the time, yeah. Plot armor can defeat the Tyranids. That's very true. The most recent Space Marine box set can defeat the Tyranids. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the armies. Back to Warhammer. So here, Flying Taco is going to be coming in with Teclis, and Teclis is, one of the better casters in the game. If you just bring him on his horse with the Sword of Teclis, he has a ton of Winds of Magic. It is quite insane for sure. Very, very cool stuff indeed. And now for the front line here, it's going to be White Lines of Krace, who have performed pretty well because a lot of people don't know this. Aside from being armored, the Lines of Krace also do have pretty good missile resist of 30%. So against, firing lines, they actually are somewhat durable. He's got some Rangers and Spears mixed in. Shadow Warriors, which are quite cool, because even if they get caught by Hounds or Bats, they can actually hold their own, unlike Archers. And a bunch of Reavers into the Sunset with some Silverhelms. It's a classic army. Very, very good stuff for sure. I dig it. I dig it indeed. Yeah, Skaven in space would be quite funny for sure. And now, guys, we are here. We have Random Nicks with the Quad Mortars, which are certainly very much a countermeasure against Archer spam. And that is somewhat common. Sometimes in this matchup, you'll see, I actually played against Lotus Moon a while back, and I think he brought something like, 5 or 6 Lothern Sea Guards, some regular Archers. Like, he had a ton of Archers and Reavers, basically. And the Mortars are very good against that style of play, but against Shadow Warriors and Infantry Rush with, White Lines, I don't know how effective it'll be. Granted, Random Nicks does also have his gunnery mobs here in the back. Random Nicks has represented Vampire Coast in my faction wars and has done very well for himself. He does have the deckhand mobs. He's got bombers here. The Mourngulls are a sweeper piece. Having the Mourngulls here is definitely nice. That's going to give him something to actually stop the White Lines with. And on that same note, Flying Taco is going to need to get the Shadow Warriors to really pick those guys apart. We got Count Noctilus. We got some Hounds, some Deck Droppers with just the pistols here to shoot at Reavers and things like that. And that is pretty much it. Eli, yeah, man, I normally don't even like traveling. Like, I actually dislike it. Like, I'm kind of a homebody, as they say. But, this lockdown is making me kind of want to take Anna somewhere and get some delicious food. Yeah. Correct. Alright, guys. Now it is time. Let us party. See if the mighty lions of Krace can sing tonight. No war lions here today. I was expecting some Lion King from the taco, but I think he's coming out pretty serious here in the first game. He's obviously going to have to advance because there's tons of mortars, and Count Noctilus as well is up on his mighty crow's nest. Count Noctilus has some really, really good stopping power for sure. I wonder what he's going to be targeting. Noctilus probably going after Silver Helms and or the White Lions is probably going to be the way to go. Some of the deck droppers will be scooting forward. The initiative to advance is going to be on the High Elves, of course, as the mortars and Count Noctilus do count as attacking here in this situation. Yes, all this talk of food in chat is making me quite hungry. My dad actually lives in New York City, so I've been there quite a bit over the course of my adult life. And yeah, definitely some good pizza there. I love that. Yeah, delicious stuff. So the mortars are out of range. Mortars only have, I think, 300-something range, 380, so it's not like a great cannon, so obviously they're not going to be able to shoot quite yet, but this is a good time here for the forces of Random Nix. He really gets to feel out his opponent's army, do some scouting, and that's what he's using the Scurvy Dogs for. Shadow Warriors aren't uncommon in this matchup. I've actually used them myself against Vampire Coast, and I actually find that they're very, very effective, so I think he's doing a little bit of scouting because he'd like to find the Shadow Warriors. Being able to take them out would be huge. That would take a lot of pressure off the gun line because bows are kind of the rock, paper, scissors counter against, against like handgun type units. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. So here we do have the mighty war dogs here, the Scurvy Dogs on both sides, just kind of looking around, eyeing the juicy flanks of meat that are the High Elves here. And now we do have the mortar shooting in. Mortars are going to be going into pretty much whatever they can hit at this point. And yeah, I think shooting down the White Lions is going to be the best bet. Spearmen are going to have a wet noodle contest with the Zombie Power Deckhand mobs, but the White Lions of Krace actually can win many of those duels. I mean, very handily. It's not going to be pretty. A very nice terrain save here. So the Illyrian Reavers rolled a 6 on their cover save there with the terrain right there, blocking the shots from Count Noctilus. And now they're going to be getting in there. But the thing is, there's a lot of handgun support in the back. The handguns can crossfire very effectively. So even if something comes this way, the handguns can turn and shoot. And this is an interesting map. There's actually a lot of unforeseen line of sight blocking, which is quite scary indeed. Somebody in chat asking, why do cosplayers usually ban Empire and Dwarves Malverde? Those are probably the hardest matchups for Vampire Coast. Dwarves hard counter Vampire Coast. It's so hard to win that matchup, and Empire does as well. Empire is winnable, but Dwarves is like just horrible, and so is Empire. So here you can see the Reavers are forced back. Really good crossfire. He's able to get the handgun mobs to blast those unshielded Reavers, and the Scurvy Dogs can now probably chase them off the battlefield. In the meantime, he did use some Scurvy Dogs here in the front, and he actually used them as a roadblock. And they're going to be obviously going down very quickly against Teclis and the White Lines of Krace and these various units, but it does buy him some time to fall back with Noctilus and continue to get his juicy mortar support going. And now the Mourngull's also able to slap the base a little bit against those Reavers, taking almost no damage, but now they're charging into Spears. Random Nix needs to make sure that he doesn't let his Night Terrors rampage in Spears. That would actually be a very, very bad situation. So Vampire Coast handgunners are shooting happily into the war lines here. Bombers, or White Lions, and the bombers are going down as well. In the meantime, a Wraith Storm being popped on the Reavers as they advance, and definitely killing the mobility here of this High Elf army would be very nice. Forcing them to kind of chase your various handgunners in their spread out position would be very, very punishing. Some of the Rangers have gotten around the back. Definitely very important here for Random Nix to peel this, and for Taco, collapsing here is certainly very strong. Nice timing. He is able to get the Reavers in there, and the Rangers are in a bit of a spread formation. So this is a great engagement here for the High Elves, that is for sure, but I certainly feel Vampire Coast is in more of a dominant position. The front line of the High Elves is just getting hammered by mortar fire, by handgun fire. Count Noctilus is kind of marching around causing terror. And the whole backline gambit here did not pay off. You can see here the Rangers for flying Taco, and the Reavers certainly getting wrecked very, very badly. Brutal stuff indeed, guys, as we do advance here into the midway point of this game. It looks like Vampire Coast in a very dominant position. It's funny because Random Nix had mentioned, he's like, I've played this matchup twice, or 2 or 3 times in today's tournament. So he's very practiced and very warmed up here in this matchup. Whereas who knows if Taco has played against Coast today. So the Reavers are charging in, going after the mortar team, but they're going to get peeled off probably by Count Noctilus, I would imagine. And these handguns are going to be turning about. And this is a really cool tactic. I love how he has them like deployed like this. It's so neat because he's able to just turn and crossfire any threats, and you can't really like shut down both of them with one unit. It's just so good. Zach Renkel, thank you for becoming a member here on the channel. Much appreciated, brother. Enjoy the emojis. And yeah, hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Here's some Spearmen are moving back here, but it looks like this is going to be a very, very quick, dominant game coming in here from Random Nix. Truly showing the power of the Vampire Coast. And yeah, the handguns were really punishing against the White Lions. When the White Lions got in range of the front line, they just got hammered by that AP fire. And the Bombers, of course, very good at clearing out Rangers. And that is going to be all she wrote. Yeah, the High Elves definitely in a lot of trouble. I don't think there's going to be any way at this point. We do have the Night Terrors as well, who do cause terror, so they can tear out off many of the very tattered High Elf troops. And the mortars, like, that's the big problem. All 4 mortars have been shooting this entire game, just pounding this High Elf battle line, switching from the Shadow Warriors to the infantry. And the Reavers try and get in there, but man, they're just getting put down. It is so brutal. So here comes the Silver Helms, the Proud Warriors, and the Acer, going to be meeting their end at the muskets here of the Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mobs. Optil's going to be shooting from downtown as well. Some Rangers do actually get back here and finally get on a mortar, a rallied unit, but yeah, there's just way too much Vampire Coast left. And I mean, Noctiluss is still a powerhouse. Even if you had Noctiluss versus this entire High Elf army that's left, it would still be a tough fight. Yeah, so that's going to be it. Very, very nice game here. Random Nyx with a nice army setup, nice army composition, able to really counter that High Elf force. Executed perfectly. I don't know what else Taco could have done, really, based on his army comp. That looks pretty grim bones. Pretty grim bones indeed. And there you have it, guys. Random Nyx coming in with a victory here in Game 1. Let us go ahead and update these scorecards. Flying Taco is down, but he is most certainly not out, as he is a very, very good player. And now we're going to be moving into the next match here. And let's go ahead and do... Kelp and Cold Dust is kind of a janky one. Blue Reach River. We don't do this one often, actually. Let's do Blue Reach. So Random Nyx. So here, they're talking about it right now. So Flying Taco says, impossible to surround on that map, it seems. A new strategy will be needed. Random Nyx says, I will DM you later. I have a 100% win rate High Elf army that defeats Vampire Coast. Looks like Random Nyx has the schemes. Perhaps he does. At least so far, he says. So Random Nyx, certainly quite privy to that matchup. I'm going to be going against all of my instincts in picking Blue Reach River. I normally hate this map because I've had many traumatic experiences where players camp in the trees. But I'm going to hope and pray to the Dark Gods that we get something decent here, or to Sigmar. You know, it all works out. What about Fantasy Chaos versus Nids? Chaos still has a lot of things to offer. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like Fantasy Chaos is basically the same as Fantasy 40k in some ways. Like the Demons of Chaos in Fantasy are the same as 40k. So obviously they can fight Tyranids to an extent, right? So, yeah. Yes. Remember this day, lads, as the day you almost captured Arch Commodore Luther Harkin. Oh, that's funny. So in Warhammer lore, UK is Ulthuan or Albion? I have no idea. Yeah, I wouldn't know. It's a question for the mighty lore masters. All right, so players are doing their picks and bans. The map is set on the Blue Reach River. God, yeah, like the thing is, you got to be careful about picking Blue Reach River if you have Wood Elf players playing, because they get so excited to like camp an army of trees in the forest and then get like one skirmish cav unit, and it's, God, I hate those games so much. That is like the scourge of casting and playing. Oh God. It's just the worst. And again, Zach, thank you for becoming a member, dude. Yeah. Well, it's funny because, like, yeah, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Chaos Gods, as far as I know in the 40k lore, they kind of draw their power from emotion and, like, things like that, right? So if Khorne draws his power from violence and bloodshed, and Tzeentch from, like, treachery, and, you know, and then Slaanesh from, you know, decadence and excess, like, the Tyranids don't really encompass too much of that. I mean, I guess Khorne kind of could feed off their violence. I don't really know. I feel like some of the Chaos Gods would just be like, well, I guess there's none of that for me. Yeah. If it were just them versus Tyranids, right? Yeah, it's interesting stuff. I had a really good game against Aerocrastic the other day. He was playing Vampire Coast and had a pretty similar build to Random Nyx. And I was playing High Elves. It's up on the channel, actually. I used the Lithanar. It was actually decent for kind of poking down Noctiluss, but I used mostly Rangers. I'm trying to think what else we used. I did use Shadow Warriors. I don't know. I probably still would have had that same experience, so. Oh God, tree camping Wood Elf armies is just like the worst thing in the game. It's just like, every time I see that, I just wish a giant Ecl nuke would come down and just blow up the army. So we could get to the next game. Yeah. Coast is really good, for sure. They have some bad matchups, though. Like, if you see a Dwarf player play Coast, you're going to see a helpless faction. Like, Vampire Coast really, really struggles there. And Empire, like, dumpsters them, too. Honestly, I think Random Nyx just had a really well-executed build, and Taco's build wasn't well-equipped to deal with it. And that's really what it comes down to. Dakota Mike says, can't believe we've got another birthday stream. Oh, my God. Yes. Tyranids are the shadow in the warp. The hive mind breaks the Chaos God system. Chaos can't manifest if there are too many Tyranids nearby. That's good to know. Yeah, okay. That is good to know. Buttsville, I never did anything like that, I don't think. And if I did, it's super old and outdated at this point. Random Nick's he's doing his thinking face. That's funny. All right, so Taco's going to pick Empire, which is good. Probably with Empire, you have to ban dwarves because Random Nix is a dwarf player. So if you don't ban dwarves here, Random Nix will pick dwarves. Many times, Coast players are often dwarf players also. He bans dwarves, and for Empire, what else would I probably ban? I don't know, probably Vampire counts. Vampire counts like it's winnable, but it's kind of an annoying matchup. He says Grudge. Yeah. Yeah. Random question: what are your thoughts on Boris Todbringer for Empire? He actually seems, yeah, Boris is good. If you want to play Empire and not bring like a life caster, because Franz is kind of like really a regrowth guy. If you're going to bring Franz, you pretty much always want to overcast regrowth on him. But if you want to bring a build that, you know, doesn't rely on, you know, Franz, and, you know, you want to get some things, you don't really need as much healing, you don't have Demogryph Knights, you know, getting Boris Todbringer as like a solid combat substitute that does also heal himself is really good. Yeah, Boris he's a good lord. He is. Yeah. Okay, so he bans Dawi and Skaven. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So some people think Skaven are a counter to Empire, and I actually like that matchup. I have a build that's really, really good against Skaven that I've been using. Sigmar prevails against the fetid foe. Yes. Satisfy the grudge. So, Dwarves and Skaven have been banned. Random Nix may go for Vampire counts here, actually. Flying Taco's just going to be like in the forest with the help. But the thing is like, dwarves actually are like shootier. Like their guns are better, their bows are better, their artillery's better. They just lack the mobility and the magic, you know, and the monsters basically. Yeah. Beastmen have a okay matchup versus Empire. I think Empire has to play Kitey there. You have to like use Pistoliers and Empire Knights and like take your engagements very sparsely. If you play Empire and try and engage the Beastmen in a head-up fight, you can kind of do it with the Volkmar and like Flagellants, but it's ugly because they have like Spawn just tearing you apart with Morgar, and like it's tough. Yeah, it's a tough one. Big NACL says Skaven is your personal counter. Yeah, Skaven are good. Yes, yes indeed. All right, so let's get this party started here. Random Nix has his thinking face on. He's trying to decide his last faction. I don't want to rush him here, so we'll let him take his sweet time. Yeah, dwarves are interesting. They have some like really bad matchups, but they also have some really good ones. All right, so we got Greenskins versus Empire. I would say this is an even matchup. Really, with Empire, you got to watch out for the rampage effects. I actually think I know what Taco's going to do here. We played this matchup a couple weeks back. But Greenskins here are good. Like if you can rampage the Empire Heavy Cav with you know, the fermented fungi, or use the Mither to slow them down and catch them, you can get some really good plays. I actually like Doomdiver Catapults here a lot. For the Greenskins, Doomdiver Catapults can do great work against the Empire Skirmish and can also chase their Heavy Cav and wagons and all sorts of good stuff like that. Yeah. So here we have it, guys. It's going to be Greenskins against Empire, the Battle of Blackfire Pass 2.0. Right now? Yeah, so now's probably a good time, huh? Maybe I'll do a video on like what DLCs I would recommend, but I'll just say it now. So here, if you guys want to skip the 10-minute video, I'll probably do on it. DLCs I would recommend. Vampire Coast, if you're new to the game and you really want to play a fun campaign and also have a strong multiplayer faction. I think the Grom and the Paunch is a really fun one as well. Grom is really, really good. And the Greenskins like campaign is super fun also. And then, I don't know. Yeah, those would probably be my top ones I'd have to suggest. Tomb Kings is fun. I don't know. I don't enjoy the Tomb Kings campaigns as much because I find that like just grinding with a million skeletons in the desert against other Tomb Kings is miserable, but some people really like it. Hey, King of the Dead, send me the replay, man. I'll happily cast that. Please do, brother. So here's what I'm thinking about doing. Yeah, Summer Sale. Cool. That's cool. What I'm thinking about doing for the... I'm going to go ahead and put this to unlimited. I thought about doing a tournament tomorrow, which would be open to anyone to play. So tomorrow we would have a tournament, you know, sometime in the morning. I don't know. It'd be a little bit later since it would be a different format. But I may put up an invite tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm not sure. Not invite, but in the Discord. We do a best of one faction, single faction tournament. So basically it would be the same, kind of similar to ECL in that anyone can join. You pick a single faction, you put it next to your player name in the registration, and then you play that faction the entire time. So it's kind of like a StarCraft or Warcraft 3 tournament. in that you play your best faction the entire tournament. They're all best of ones, but the finals become a best of 3 and best of 5. So what you guys would see on stream would be best of 3 and best of 5, but it'd be kind of cool. Like, I want to run that as a bit of an experiment to see like which factions consistently get to the top. And a best of 1, of course, would be random. So some people will just get really bad matchups in the beginning. So you got to be careful with that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of doing that tomorrow. Hey, Benjamin Kingsley, you found it through the Eltharion campaign. Very cool, man. Yeah, we got... I recorded 3 more Skarsnik episodes a couple days ago, so I'm going to be editing those. I'll be going up this week. Oh my god, in my Skarsnik campaign, I have to say, guys, I took over like a lot of space, and then every single faction on the damned campaign map declared war on me. I have the High Elves and the Lizardmen sailing from Ulthuan, and frickin' I don't know what I did. I'm just like, suddenly everyone declares war when I confederated with Grimgor. I'm just like, oh my god. It's insane. It's insane. How come Zotek doesn't do tabletop tournaments anymore? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't enjoy multiplayer as much. Yeah, the Wood Elf campaign's pretty lacking. It really is. Top factions, I'd have to collect my thoughts. I don't want to just throw stuff out there, but certainly Vampire Coast is up there. Yeah. Well, I'd have to think about it a little bit. Tomb King's definitely up there as well. Warhammer 2 is just $20 and Warhammer is $15. Oh wow, okay, so you can get everything for $35. That's a pretty good deal. I don't know if I broke a treaty. I don't think I did. Yeah, Aristodemos, like, that's what I was asking myself. I was like, did I break a treaty? Like, I don't think so. I mean, I declared war on the Border Princes. Maybe I still had a non-aggression pact with them at some point. Yeah. It's not even the Order tide. It's like the everything tide. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Wild times indeed. I'm probably going to end up freaking losing that campaign because I literally have, like, Doomstacks all around me. Just breaking one treaty can ruin the entire campaign. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody already hates me in that campaign, so it's all good. No, I'm like strength rank 6 or something. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was weird. Just like when I got powerful and, you know, I might be able to fight off the tide. Like, the thing is, there's 2 High Elf Doomstacks. There's the Skaven Doomstacks from the south. I'm fighting Karazak. The Empire is marching south, but thankfully the vampires are kind of my buddies, so it's just like, oh my god. It's just straight anarchy. Anyways, guys, let's take a look here at the glorious forces here of the Flying Taco here with the Empire. So triple Pistolier, definitely going to be pretty good against Greenskins. Pistoliers can kind of kite the Greenskin missile units and you know, trade with them effectively in skirmishing and melee, which is fun. It's very much a game of cat and mouse, so it should be fun to see. We got Spearmen with shields into the sunset. We have Manscore Summoner, so he's just going to be summoning Manscores. We got Godtrek actually. Of course, he loves to slay some Greenskins, and Volkmar the Grim. I love Volkmar in this matchup. I think he's very, very good. Now in the back, we do have a great cannon as well. There's going to be Empire Knights into the sunset and some Spearmen, and that is going to be it. Nice little army here from the Flying Taco. We will see how this goes. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. I might have accidentally broken diplomacy somewhere and just not noticed it by like attacking something. I don't know. Yeah. No, Piotr, I think I can handle it. Don't worry. Like, I'm very powerful. I'm making like 15,000 gold a turn, and you know, I have like a massive nation. It's just gonna be a grind. And now for the forces here of the Greenskins, we have a little bit of a skirmishing corps, wolf riders, and you know, all the goodness here. And you know, he is going to be taking the opportunity to use the tree line, but the Empire doesn't care too much. Empire can simply just, I would just scoop my army this way, like move the cannons back this way, and then the Greenskins will eventually have to march into your cannon fire. But aside from that, it's going to be warlords boys, orc boys, various goblins and orcs. Couple of missile units, a little bit of a jockey line, Rusty Airs plus Orc Air Boys, and 2 Goblin Rock Clobbers, which, random mix with the big brain plays, because the Rock Clobbers can hide behind the trees and shoot over, whereas the cannons have to shoot through the trees. Oh my god. The existence of this map is a grudge too, says Random Mix. Good luck, have fun, I feel you. I thought people liked this map. I thought multiplayer people liked this one. Yeah. It certainly makes for an interesting engagement, because players have to like move out of their comfort zone. Well, we'll see. So going to be a little bit of skirmishing here. The front line, there's a giant river troll hag as well. Spirit Leech on her. And who is the leader for this army? It's going to be a Night Goblin Warboss. Yeah, he's really, really good in this matchup. The Night Goblin Warboss can Fermented Fungi and Tormentor Sword. So he has 2 really, really powerful snares, which make him incredibly strong. Starkiller, I have seen that game, yeah. A lot of Total War content creators quit Total War to go do Hearts of Iron because it just grew their channel so quick. Yeah. But no, I prefer Total War, yeah. I like fantasy and science fiction a lot more than historical stuff. Just my jam. Although, don't get me wrong, if they ever came out with like a really awesome historical title that had a little bit of multiplayer action, I'd be all over it. Yeah. I've heard Hearts of Iron is good, though, for sure. So the Empire cannon is shooting, but oh man, the Rock Lobber is actually going in. So it looks like Random Nix did overcast a Spirit Leech on the Great Cannon. And then his Haggard Rock Lobbers, I think, are shooting from over the hill here. Oh, that's so funny. Or maybe that was just Spirit Leech. Yeah, it must have just been a Spirit Leech on that. How did he get so much damage on that thing? He actually took out a cannon. Do you have any other missile attacks? It was a Spirit Leech, and what else could it have been? So this map makes for a pretty like cat and mouse game, which is something that's cool. It's different than those like rush maps. Yeah, maybe these players just don't like the map. Pistoliers definitely will do okay in combat against these units, I suppose. But yeah, the thing is, the Wolf Riders have a little bit better range at 100. So if they can range the Pistoliers and just kind of kite backwards, they're going to be quite happy. Empire is advancing. Definitely not a bad idea. Gotrek is going to be a pain also. Gotrek will, take a while to drag down. And, yeah, should be fine. McClays, yeah, I played with him a long time ago. Like, back in Warhammer 1, yeah, we played some games. He's a really nice guy. So here it looks like the Greenskins are actually coming in for a pretty aggressive push. And I actually didn't notice that these are Spider Rider archers. So, yeah, they probably will be able to beat the Pistoliers in combat with the poison and the slowing effects and things like that. So Pistoliers are kiting backwards, getting a little bit of damage here onto the Goblin Wolf Rider archers as those bad boys do fall back. No, King, the head-to-head campaign we're doing is going to be me on the Kraken Lord and you're on Luther. That's what was voted for. And here the Pistoliers are now surging forward once again. A little bit of a trading here. Both players just kind of tickling the pickle of one another. Nothing terribly serious going on in terms of damage. But, I mean, maybe in terms of cost, the Greenskin skirmish line is doing a little bit better against the Pistoliers, but it's pretty much a wash. And the cannon's now back online, too, with 2 cannon pieces. The giant River Troll Hag is on the run. She's got her sack of meat. She's like, screw this shit. I'm going home. I do not want any of this. And, yeah, I'm going to try and get out of here. She's taking her goods home. Volkmar and, yeah, this is very thematic as well. We got Volkmar and Gotrek hunting the troll. I think Volkmar is more about like hunting heretics and vampires and things like that, but I'm sure he can make an exception for the Greenskins here and there. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Wolfric versus Luther Harkin head to head. Yeah, that would just not be fun. I mean, it would just be like playing your own thing. So here we have the Pistoliers. They are mithered. Ooh, that's pretty big. And now the countercharge coming in. So Mither's a big slow, 25 speed. But it's almost worn off. I don't know if it's actually going to pay off. I think he was a little bit out of position with the countercharge, which is... This is actually really good for Taco. I mean, he'll take a little bit of damage on impacts, but if he can get back here, he did get one of the charges out of that very valuable ability. And you can see the little goblin coming in, wanting to get Tormentor Sword. Definitely not worth dropping right now. And the Empire Spears have rushed in, and they've gotten really good screening. So pushing back the Skirmishers. Volkmar the Grim has the cover of the trees also, and it looks like a Fanatic Ball was loosed here by the Goblin War Boss. He actually does have Fanatic charges, but it was pretty much a whiff. It looks like he didn't even hit the Spearman, so... A little bit of a tough play there. Empire Heavy Cav are now chasing, trying to catch these Greenskin Skirmishers and some of the Squig Riders. A little bit trapped up here. I think actually taking these Empire Knights, turning around and hammering into these Squigs would be a really good play. Yeah, a bit of a misplay pulling back there. Because the Empire has such superior forces here. Volkmar coming in, buffing, with Gotrek nearby and Spearmen and, Manticore summoning, and a lot of the Greenskin armies like over here. That would have been a really good engagement to take in my opinion, but a little bit out of position for that. But oh no, a disaster for the Night Goblin War Boss! Volkmar the Grim, blasting Sabaton out of the speakers of his pimp cart here, is able to lock the Goblin in play, and now he is just getting canned. And that is going to be a nice catch here for the Flying Taco. No, I have not finished the campaign versus Sotek. I'll be doing that soon. Whenever he's free. I'm just waiting for him, really. And here, the Soulfire Bombardment is going down. Going to be dropping the base. And the Night Goblin War Boss is indeed broken. That is certainly a back-breaking play for the Greenskins. Losing their Lord and also... such a powerhouse piece. Granted, it's not a huge part of the army. He only costs probably like 1,300 or 1,400, but yeah, it's still going to be probably too much to come back from, I think. And here you can see the Empire Knights able to run over the AP Gloonies, just kind of keeping those guys busy. The Greenskins are a little bit out of position with many of their forces. They're kind of sitting over here hanging out, and they need to make their way over if they can. But it's looking grim bones, my friends, for the forces of the Greenskins, as the Empire is able to get some great peeling here. The Goblin Wolf Rider Archers getting some DPS in, but... definitely getting out-traded by the mighty Gotrek. And yeah, I think the War Boss actually shattered completely. Yeah, so he's running for the hills here, guys. That is looking pretty tough for him. Well, King didn't have too much lag today. Head-to-head campaign shouldn't be too big of a deal also. Because remember, there's only 2 of you in there. It's not like you have 2 people plus a commentator or 2 commentators. So here the Empire Knights are going to be charging into the AP Gloonies. Pistoliers getting a little bit of a counter shooting back. The Greenskins certainly have a presence here in this tree line. This would be a pretty insane comeback, though. If somehow the Greenskins could find a way to win this, I would be very, very surprised. Like, I feel like Volkmar is just going to be a raid boss here. And, you know, honestly, as far as his army goes, there's not much that can deal with Volkmar. Like, that's sometimes why you see Azag. Azag can actually outduel Volkmar pretty handedly with Spirit Leeches plus his AP and Poison, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, big Empire blob here. And what's going to happen now is Flying Taco is going to push up through the trees. He'll definitely hit the rock lobbers, and just, you know, none of the Greenskins here are going to be able to stop him. River Troll Hag is kind of hanging out in the shadows. She definitely should have been more engaged in that fight, probably. She's got good AP and can certainly do some work. I know King's favorite character, Volkmar the Grim, is here. Doing some great work. Doing some great work indeed. The point value that multiplayer is played in, for the gentleman asking in chat, is 12,400. That is standard for quick battles and for tournament play. So Greenskins still have a fair amount of stuff. I mean, the balance of power isn't point of no return. They have some Orc Boys who obviously can probably beat some Spearmen. And, you know, if the Mangy Marauders or one of these Spider Riders, if Random Nicks can see this and get them and come and get this cannon for free, I mean, that's certainly, you know, a path to getting back in this game. I just don't think there's anything that's going to be able to kill Volkmar and Gotrek. They're just too powerful. So the angry lunch lady is over here, and it looks like she's taking her sack of meat and beating down these Empire Knights, who of course have done their best, but now they're going to go back to Altdorf and hopefully enjoy some pampered lives. Yeah, not fun for those guys. The River Troll Hag is certainly no joke in combat. Good AP values, regeneration, monsters, all that sort of good stuff. And now we have Volkmar and Gotrek pushing up. Taking out the Goblobbers is going to be a huge boon as it pertains to the balance of power, but very good play here from Random Nick. So a lot of people don't know this. You can actually get your artillery pieces, for example, and you can have them drop the artillery piece. At that point, the Rock Lobbers and these various other units are just going to run away. So you can like save the artillery. Otherwise, if you just sit there and, you know, they're going to get caught and killed. So Volkmar is just kind of rolling around on his card at this point. Going to be able to turn around and cause some problems for sure. Random Nix is actually doing a good job elsewhere, though. Like, if you look at this part of the battlefield, Random Nix is pretty much won everything here. The Pistoliers are all down. The cannon is being chased by goblins. The Orc Boar Boy is able to clean up some Empire Knights. And he has some more Orc Boys here. All right, you know what? Random Nix might have some teeth in this fight, but still killing the character squad is going to be so hard. Like, not much aside from the River Troll Hag hits very, very hard. Yeah. The Giant River Troll Hag, are you guys calling her the Karen of Total War? Speaking to the managers of other factions 24/7, yeah, probably. He's like, I bought this meat from your store, and I'm not pleased with it, and I've already eaten half of it, and I'd like to return it. Definitely Karen, yeah. So here comes Volkmar the Grim riding through some of the goblins, backed up by some state troopers. Not too many of them, but 60 of them should be able to at least fight the AP Loonies, especially with Volkmar's cart rolling them over. Gotrek is certainly going to be quite furious, fighting his eternal nemesis. Gotrek, of course, did lose an eye to some goblins, so that's probably one of the reasons why he dislikes him so much, on top of them just being Greenskins in general and him being a dwarf, but let us not ask questions. So the River Troll Hag dropping Spirit Leeches, certainly Gotrek is the right choice, because, you know, maybe in a certain situation, you know, the River Troll Hag could fight Volkmar for a while, because she is a monstrous unit and Volkmar is anti-infantry. You know, he doesn't do too well against, like, monsters. And here some of the Empire State Troopers are being pushed off, but the Spearmen might actually hold here. 69 of these brave boys. All right, that's what she said. And yeah, just holding them back here. Empire is certainly a very good faction. For people who are wondering, I think Empire is a top-tier faction as well. I think they're harder to play than other top-tier factions, though. But I think Empire only really has, like, 2 bad matchups. I think they can compete with everyone else, which is really cool. That's why I've been kind of practicing Empire lately, to make them one of my main factions. Okay, this is a good play here. So what's happening is that Flying Taco is using his Manticore summon. He's going to trap the Giant River Troll Hag in and try and get her routed off the map, which would be very, very strong. She's not immune to psychology, I don't think. So, ooh, this is a really risky play by Random Nix, actually. Getting the River Troll Hag back here. If she gets terror routed off the map, that could be really punishing. Oh, but he used the Mither on the Feral Manscore. Very, very good play. But Volkmar is just ramming this Karen here. Yeah. Doing it, and you can see the Giant River Troll Hag taking a lot of damage. He still does fire damage, you know? So the fire damage gives him a force multiplying effect there. Manscore probably should have flown over and then came under and around on the Hag. She's shaken now, and I think that's going to be army losses for the Greenskins, believe it or not. There's still a caster as well. Davy Crockett here is no joke, because Amber Wizards actually are surprisingly good at melee in terms of their offensive prowess. They have 50 melee attack, which is not bad. So the River Troll Hag is being chased off. Summon the Elector Counts once again. I agree. I'm always down to summon the Elector Counts. I'd like to speak to your Emperor. That's what the Hag is saying, yeah. And the man score is going to be used to chase off the hag. And with that, the Greenskin army is mainly just, chaff. It's like a couple goblins, warlords boys. I mean, what are some haggard orc war boys going to do against the glorious war altar of Sigmar? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So there are some spearmen here still fighting. 2 leadership on those bad boys, but now they're going to be surrounded by some goblins. Random Nix, what does he have? He's got Rusty Errors, and it looks like the Goblin Rocklobber crew is maybe coming back here. Some orc boys. Getting a little bit of Drakon into Volkmar here. I mean, all that's really left here for Flying Taco is the glorious Sigmar squad. But, Random actually did a really, really good job, despite losing his lord in, the first engagement. He was fighting down a lord the entire battle. Had he had the little goblin, he would have had a lot more utility, rampaging. But yeah, that was a very good attempt by Random Nix. But I really do think in that matchup you need to bring Azag to kill Volkmar. All right, and also Kite Franz and Spirit Leech and things like that. All right, 1-1 here in this series, guys. As we go to the rubber match, Game 3, both series today have gone to the final round, which is great. We should just troll and put them on Pillar of Bone. Do the Pillar of Bone. Pillar of Bone's a great map. Yes, the Amber Wizard can get his Griffin in multiplayer. Yeah, it's actually, people used to use that occasionally. GG indeed. The Karen definitely causes fear, not terror. She doesn't she's not scary enough to actually frighten you away, but she'll put a little nervousness in you when she starts threatening to sue you and stuff. Yeah. Karen's high attack but low defense. That's so accurate. We got a close quarters fight, more or less. Although, honestly, on Pillar of Bone, you can get away with artillery. It's fine. You guys want Slon Gold? No, we're not doing that. All right, so we have a donation coming in. Oh, man. Sharif Khan. I'm so sorry I missed this. So, guys, 9 minutes ago, there was a big, fat donation from Sharif Khan during that battle while I was doing commentary, so my apologies. He says, hashtag free tic-tac-toe. Oh, dude, I still haven't downloaded tic-tac-toe. I will eventually. I think I'll do a head-to-head campaign with tic-tac-toe at some point. I'll play him. That'll be the great reveal of tic-tac-toe. Sharif Khan, thank you so much for the 50. I will free tic-tac-toe just for you, man. And I'll play him in a head-to-head. Maybe after I finish the one with Sotek and King, I'll do a tic-tac-toe one after that. I've never played him, so I have no idea what to expect. But, yeah. Yes. Again, Sharif, hopefully you're still here, man. Thank you so much for the donation. It's very generous of you. And, yes, I will free to tic-tac-toe. Volkmar the Grim is the manager. He's the ultimate manager. Managing, the church there. Yeah. All right. So now we're here. Players are going to do their picks and bans. Oh, man. How many can you have? How many River Troll Hags? You can have 2, I think, but they can't have the same spells. I think you have to... I can't remember if you're allowed to bring, the Mither twice. I don't think so. So they're checking the rules right now, the picks and bans. We can get the most recent link here. I can check for them if they can't find it, but it's linked in the Discord. These 2 gentlemen know where it is. So Random Nix is going to be thinking about it here. And yeah, then we'll get going. Hey, we'll get this going. Volkmar and his chariot is considered large, correct? Yeah. The best way to deal with Volkmar is just to have another high mass monster yourself. So, for example, if you come in with a dragon or a manticore or anything that's big and can block Volkmar, they can take him out usually, somewhat effectively. It's still hard because he heals himself and he's got a lot of good defensive support and armor. But yeah, they're typically if you have any sort of a dragon, a monstrous cav units, for example, like Demogryphs or a Coldland Spear Riders, things like that can block him up. Tic-Tac-Toe's army composition is 19 airborne units in campaign and then 1 skink in the corner. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Is there any indication of when Warhammer 3 is coming? I don't think so. I don't think so. I would guess sometime in the early middle next year. That'd be my guess. I don't know. Yeah, Kislev and Empire do fight together, but they aren't the same faction. That's correct. Just like in the campaign, you don't Confederate Kislev, I don't think. They usually just get wiped out and then you reclaim their territories, yeah. I don't know if it's considered one of the... Yeah, I think they are part of the Elector count system, aren't they? I don't know. Volkmar is definitely large. The chariot is tiny. Volkmar's enormous brass balls are considered large. Volkmar has some insane lore. Like, just absolutely insane lore. So, like, what happens with Volkmar, all right? Volkmar, when Archaon, like, appears, Volkmar the Grim, like, goes on a crusade after Archaon. So Volkmar takes, like, an army up north and, like, battles the forces of chaos. And then, like, Volkmar the Grim has, like, a one-on-one duel with Archaon. And mind you, Volkmar is, like, you know, he's got his prayers and his Sigmar stuff, but he's not, like, the scariest duelist in the world. And he just, like, has such powerful faith that he's like, I'm going to just go duel Archaon, right? I'm pretty sure I have this right. So then he duels Archaon. Archaon absolutely destroys him, right? So then basically he's captured by Chaos. I think Archaon kills him. And then as a prank, Be'lakor, like one of the greater demons of Chaos, or I don't think it's Archaon, resurrects Volkmar the Grim. And they literally like tie Volkmar to a giant stake and like march back to the Empire with Volkmar the Grim, right? So Volkmar the Grim's reanimated self is like on a giant stake being marched back to the Empire, and it's like terrifying all the Empire troops because they see their like, you know, their big dude here just kind of like taken out by Chaos. But then there's some battle, I can't remember who, but somehow there's a battle and Volkmar the Grim like escapes the thing and like just, I'm pretty sure he like starts fighting as soon as he like escapes the stake that he's on. It's just like, it's absurd. It's just absurd. Yeah. He's so metal, like he fights, he gets brought back, he gets like imprisoned and tortured, and then he just like comes back even more pissed off and grim. It's like, yeah. It's so awesome. Volkmar is such a cool character. Just going to duel Archaon. He's not Karl Franz, you know, he's not the Galmaraz wielder. He's just like, I'm just gonna go do this. Yeah. Yes, you've caught an ECL stream, you have. So Random Nix is like thinking deeply about his army composition, which is fine. Of course, Ludwig is waiting in the finals. Thankfully, it is Saturday, so hopefully he can stay up. Yeah. Yeah, because Be'lakor resurrects Volkmar after he, and like as a joke, like to torment Archaon, I think. I can't remember what it is. There's like some weird. Yeah. That was in the Storm of Chaos before it got retconned? Oh, okay. Yeah. So they just like, what, retconned all that? Yeah. I know, go bald so I can, you know, I've had a buzz cut before. A long, long time ago. I could probably find a picture of it. Hold on, let me see if I can. We have time to kill now. I wasn't bald though. I still had like really short, kind of like a crew cut type thing. Back in the college days. I have a mullet now. I still have it. Mullet will stay. Lady Turin loves it, so. And I actually have a recording on my phone of her saying she likes my mullet, so there is proof. If it ever comes to it. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to find pictures of the short hair. Another time. Another time, my friends. The thing is, I couldn't do Volkmar. I could like, yeah, because the problem is like, I can't grow like great mustaches. And Volkmar is known for his mustache, right? That thing is powerful as hell. So like, I couldn't do that. Italian Spartacus could roleplay Volkmar much better. Like he already has the bald head and he grows good facial hair. So no, I don't play SFO. I play standard. Yeah, Sparty could definitely do Volkmar. That would be more his jam. I could probably like if I just let my hair grow long again, I could probably do like a Sigmar Heldenhammer thing. Yeah, or Sigvald, unfortunately. Guys, I can't grow a good mustache. I've tried. It's just not in my purview and my skill set. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end the mustache wasn't possible. But definitely Sparty, yeah. Nobody ever gives the warrior priest riding on the back of his card any credit. Yeah, that guy deserves some credit for sure. He's like swinging the hammer back there. He's the one actually doing the damage, right? Volkmar is like up there just like yelling and like, you know, doing his thing. Ah, Skilder, it sounds like we are kindred spirits. Yes. Grim Soka, holy shit, man. That is crazy. Grim Soka, guys, just dropped a fat $200 donation. Holy shit, Grim Soka, thank you so much. Guys, let's hear a round of applause for Grim Soka here in chat. And Sharif Khan coming in hard with the fat ones. He says, hey, Turin, I'm back, man. Donate to this, man, if you love Warhammer and Turin. All right, thank you, man. Holy shit, thank you so much, Grim. That's super generous, brother. That is super generous. Are my notifications going off? Let's freaking see here. Yeah, it should be. All right, cool. Man, Grimsoka, thank you so much. That's super generous. That is a big donation, dude. Folkmar be praised. So they're still thinking. All right, so Random Nix, they finally did it. So Random Nix has done Skaven, Norska, and Tomb Kings. Yeah, Grim, thank you so much. Welcome back. Hope you're staying safe in these dire times. That is a fat one. Thank you. Making it rain. the dabbing emoji. It does feel like my birthday now. It really does. I'll take my smoking hot wife out on a nice dinner date as soon as I can. With that, thank you so much, Grim. Grimsoka is secretly Balthazar Gelt? Perhaps so. Ooh, so Skaven, Norska, and Tomb Kings. I think Flying Taco's going to go Counts. And ban... What would you ban if you were playing Counts? I don't know, yeah. Skaven? Probably Tomb Kings? I don't know. We'll see. Hey, again, Grim, one last time, thank you so much, dude. That's very generous, brother. I know. Sigmar be praised. Sigmar delivers, right? So Vampire Counts, and he bans nothing? No, does he ban... He says he bans nothing? Or Norska, okay. So he's banning Norska. So it's going to be Vampire Counts versus Skaven or Tomb King. So we're probably going to see double Banshee. Yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. We got a Vampire Count matchup. Always a good time. Grimsoka says, Turin, miss you, brother. Thought since I've been away. Oh, you don't owe me anything, man, but I really do appreciate that. How many games have there been? Yeah, so we had 3 games in our first best of 3, and then this is game 3 of our second. And the winner of this will go on to the grand finals. It's going to be Skaven versus Vampire Counts on Pillar of Bone. I think Skaven will probably go with Council Guard, Censor Bearers, the ROR Censor Bearers, Hellpit Abomination. Like, I think the Skaven Death Star is really good against Vampire Counts, actually. Where'd you go off to, Grim? Off on some mighty adventure. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, no, he's banning Norska. I thought he was banning no one, but it's Norska. Yeah. For a second, I had to do a double take there. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, do drop a like. See, we've got 1,400 people here in the midpoint of our stream. Let's see if we can get our likes a little bit closer to our viewer ratio. Appreciate that, guys. I always hate asking for it. I've always thought it was cringy, but it is what it is. Oh my god, please don't give me the invocation crash. God, yeah. Vampire Counts, I think it's only when you overcast Invo to like resurrect Blood Knights. I think that's when it crashes. Yeah. I really thought, yeah, it's going to be Skaven versus Counts here. I actually like watching Vampire Count games. I think it's fun. You think so, Aristo? I think Aristo bringing like one missile, like a Jezzail ROR, and just like protecting them in a box is like a good way to play. Just been driving everywhere, super busy. Yeah. Got you working in these times, huh? No rest for the wicked. Vampire crashes. I know that was really unfortunate. We had an autogen tournament the other day, and we had some serious crash issues with the Vampire Counts. It happened like twice. Bans no one like a boss. No, Hadries, don't put that witchcraft on the stream. Don't you dare put that witchcraft on the stream, Hadries. You stop right now. Yeah, it doesn't seem to happen with Vampire Coast. It just seems to happen with Vampire Counts. But you're saying you got it with Vampire Coast? Huh, that's weird. Nagash was weak, says Nick. Well, we will find out, Nick, how weak Nagash was. I actually like playing Vampire Counts. They're fun. That's one campaign I've only played once, back in Warhammer 1. I played a head-to-head campaign against Italian Spartacus, where I played Vlad von Karstein against Spartacus's Wood Elves, which was super one-sided in retrospect, the factions. Vlad is actually pretty OP in campaign, guys. I think Vlad is one of the strongest campaigns. Like, you start with such OP nonsense. You start with freaking Vlad, who of course isn't the craziest lord in the endgame, but in the beginning he's quite good. You start with Vlad, so you start with a Vampire Caster. You start with 2 additional Vampire Casters. Then you also start with like a Vargeists, like, which are just insanely good in early game campaign. They can like wreck siege battles. They're just like, and Vlad has such good skill tree stuff. Like, everything in his army gets chevron so quickly. Man, I just realized that playing head-to-head against Sotek, like how brutal his start is. Yeah, it's like, it's rough. It is rough. So players are doing their picks. We're on the Pillar of Bone here. I see we are joined by Orion Stream. So if you guys haven't seen him, he is a caster who does, I believe, only Russian casts, but seems like a really nice guy. Anyone can join the qualifier. Yeah, all my ECL qualifiers are open to everyone. So we had a range of newer players. Today we had 60 people playing, give or take. Holy shit. Grim Soka, you're out of control, man. This is for, so Grim Soka coming in with another fat hundy. He says, this is for your birthday. Happy birthday, brother. Hope you have a good escape the warp day. Thank you so much, Grim Soka. Again, dude, that is another thick donation. You're just going ham today. Dude, the chub donation. Definitely got a little bit of a chub going here, not gonna lie. Grim Soka, thank you so much, man. Holy shit, that's so generous. And yeah, my birthday is actually July 12th, but we'll put it towards that. I guess just keep the meme going. Just keep it going, man. Grim Soka, thank you so much. I really hope that's not like a financial burden on you, man, because that's super generous and I would feel bad. Hopefully you got a lot saved. Yeah, Orion seems like a great guy. I've only ever had good interactions with him. I actually watched his stream because Orion was streaming my ECL earlier today and I was like watching it. I was like, I don't understand what he's saying, but he's got good cadence, easy to listen to, and yeah, great camera work. Grim Soka, again, dude, I can't thank you enough. I really hope that's not a burden on you because that's super generous, dude. Random Nix says, okay, I'm ready. Feel a little bit stressed, not gonna lie. Oh man, yeah, it's the rubber match, dude. It's the rubber match. Thank you so much again. I'll make sure to buy Wookie the premier dog food at my local store. He'll be treated like a king. Okay, Grim. Glad to hear it's not a burden on you, man. The Scrooge McDuck, I love that character. Oh my god. Turin, what do you think about Grimgor? He looks cool in campaign, but multiplayer, I think he is a little bit outclassed by the other Greenskin Lords in multiplayer, but I don't think he's bad anymore. The fact that he has a slow and some other useful abilities certainly helps. Yeah. The chubs are coming in hard today. Yeah, they are. All right, Grim, thank you so much, dude. Hopefully you're ready for this awesome game. And we're getting really, really good series today. Like, every match we've had has been a juicy, juicy best of 3. And gone to game 3. Flying potato, boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Behold my small donation. Thank you so much, Flying Potato. Hey, man, it's a thought that counts, dude. Thank you. Is your name like a Lord of the Rings like kind of meme reference? So rubber match is a term used like if there's like a best of series, the rubber match is like the final battle. It's like the final duel in a series, right? So if you have like a trilogy, so let's say you have Muhammad Ali fighting Joe Frazier, the third match would be the rubber match. It's the one that decides it. I don't really know the history of the language. That's kind of like why it's called a rubber match, but it's like it just kind of dictates, hey, this is the final game 3 here. My locks, I'm not sure. Yeah, off the top of my head. And again, Potato, Grim Soka, dude, Sharif, thank you guys so much. Turin, just call me late game high elves. All right, the late game high elves, dude. High elf. Oh my god, I never played elf campaigns, and the other night I just went into like a dark elf campaign, and I played like the first like 40 turns just for fun. And oh my god, the amount of money you get with the elvish factions like dark elves and high elves, it's absurd. I've been playing with like haggard greenskins and like just all poor, but god, the elf factions so much. Hand's doing okay today. Thank you for asking, man. Yeah. All right, guys, so let's go ahead. And again, Nick DeBoer, Kislev. That's all he has to say is Kislev, but man, Kislev is awesome. And when Warhammer Old World does come back, Nick, it's a good name, by the way. My name is Nick also. I'll probably have my Empire army, because I already have an Empire tabletop army, but I'm also going to get a Kislev army and have them like fight together. And Lady Turin will probably maybe have a Kislev army, and I'll have, she can get the Hussars going. And I'll have my Empire army. It's going to be awesome. So Nick, thank you again. Yeah, Rubber Band is like a comeback final. Yeah, Jens, that's a good guess. I've never done research on it. They call it a rubber match because the winning pitcher receives a tote bag full of condoms. What? Oh my god, Henry, that last part got me good. All right, sorry guys, I gotta focus. We have the rubber match here. All right, so for the build here, random, just like we guessed. This is exactly what I was expecting. A Skaven Blob. So what you do is you get the Blight Scab's Plague Pack. They give immune to psychology to the entire Skaven Blob. From there you get Storm Vermin, you get the Council Guard who are unbreakable, double Hell Pit to fight the vampire monsters, and a Grey Seer of Plague just for summons. I actually, oftentimes you see Skrulk in this because of the Mortis Engine effect he has. But yeah, it's a Skaven Death Star, which I think he's got double Warp Grinder too, so like you can punish the vampire counts for coming in. This is going to be fun. No, my name is Turin. my name is Nick, actually. Yeah, that's my first name. Anyways, guys, for the forces here of the vampires, it's pretty much a wide line of skeletons and chaff. Double White Kings, which are really good, I think. No, just one. Scabscraith is really, really strong here against Skaven Blobs. Vargulfs are also quite annoying. They can cycle charge, regenerate, and the breath attacks from the Lamian Vampire Lord are going to be great. And that'll really be, like, in many ways, the determining factor. Can the Vampire Lord get good breath attacks on the Censer Bearers, on the Council Guard? If it can, honestly, I think that gives the game potentially to Flying Taco. But aside from that, the Skaven Blob is really punishing. You know, if the Vargulfs get in combat, they lose to Hellpit Abominations in combat, and the snares are really, really strong for sure. So we're having a good old-fashioned stare down here. The Clan Vulcan Tail Slasher is going to be surging into the zombies, it looks like, but halting at the last second, losing their charge bonus, which I guess isn't that much, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, you basically have to watch out for the breath attacks. This Skaven Blob is very, very strong, and Warp Grinder going down, but oh no, what is this? Is that a pendulum coming in? Wow, look at that nice pendulum. Oh yeah, the Lamian Vampire Lord has shadow magic. Oh man. So the pendulum tech, look at that, Flying Taco, very clever here. Oh, and a big breath attack coming in as well. Oh god, the Skaven are just getting pounded here by the AoEs and all that other sort of witchcraft, and his Scabscraith going down as well. And Flying Taco was very, very well prepared for this. So here comes the Vargulfs and the various other monsters just kind of hanging out. I really think you need a Plague Furnace when you're going to play this style of play. Because the Mortis Engine is going to be really good. Hellpits need to get on that thing. They need to start fighting it. Now they're going in, double Hellpit, double Spank on the Mortis Engine. It's going to certainly take some damage, I would imagine. Looks like they both miss, and now the Vargulf Gorillas are coming in, but there are a lot of anti-large here. Now the Censer Bears and other troops are going to be scooting forward. Council Guard probably want to scoot up as well. Pretty much have a monster mash here. Blessed with Filth is activated, as well as the Unholy Clamor, giving poison and vigor to the entire Skaven army. Now the Censer Bears have engaged against skeletons and chaff, and they're going to start wearing those bad boys down. But so far, I would say the vampires have gotten the better engagements. It seems like they're in a... I thought it was the Winds of Death for a second, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening. It's happening. So the block fight here, Lamian Vampire Lord is going fisticuffs with the Hellpit Abomination. Certainly does not want to do that, though she is powerful. The lightning reflexes will make it a little bit of a better duelist. It's still not a happy trade. So here we have the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, as well as the Blight Scabs Plague Pack. A Scorch going down from the Skaven Furnace, able to get some work in. And the Mortis Engine definitely needs to be targeted by the Hellpit Abomination. It looks like the Hellpit's trying to get away from it, but yeah, you have to keep that thing in check. So the Warp Grinder, really nice Seismic Snare going down. It's going to be locking down the entire Vampire Count formation here, but it does not look like the damage ability has been used. The Skaven still have a fair amount of stopping power in terms of their elite troops. The Council Guard are now moving in, but you definitely don't want the Council Guard fighting the Mortis Engine. That's a pretty disastrous trade. One Vargulf is getting a little bit beat up here. You can see the Hellpit was able to get a couple decent attacks, and now we have the Warpquake going down, which will be very, very good at clearing out the Vampire Chaff. But again, I think this is a big mistake. Having the Council Guard fighting the Mortis Engine unsupported is definitely a tough trade. So another Pendulum. Oh, this is going to be a good Pendulum. Clan Rats as well as Storm Vermin here. Nice one right there. Does take out 20 Storm Vermin and also does massive HP damage. But, you know, here on that same note, you can see the Cryptors are getting quite beat up. Plague Monk Censer Bears are giving that immune to psychology, and the Warp Grinders are still functional, so there is going to be snares as we do progress here into the late game. Right now, Flying Taco does get his Lamian Lord and his other characters and is trying to goon this Hellpit Abomination and is actually succeeding pretty well. Hellpit does turn around to try and fight, and the other Hellpit Abomination is trapped on Cryptors here. Council Guard, very unfortunately, are trapped in combat against the Mortis Engine. It looks like an Invocation is going to be going down as well on the Cryptors here, who, of course, are taking quite a bit of damage from the Censer Bears, who hit hard against light armor and also do have a Contaminate effect. The Grey Seer does knock over the Vargulf. And now the Warp Grinders are activated once again, so the Vampire Count army here is going to be snared and also taking AoE magic damage. How are the troops doing at the back? So it looks like Clan Rats, of course, are going to be breaking. Storm Vermin are doing okay, but I feel like the Mortis Engine is just going to be such an issue. It needs to be dealt with, but it's so hard to deal with if you don't have any ranged assets here. Yeah, let's see here. So what do we have? Yeah, we got the Mortis Engine. Oh, yeah, we actually have a rule break, don't we, from Flying Taco's forces? Yeah, we have a Lamian Vampire Lord and the Vargulfs, and yeah, that's a rule break there. All right, I'll let him know. Taco, you have 4 SEM. Just this way we don't have to play the whole game out. Yeah, because he has too many. Because you can't have that many. But anyways, they can play the game out. But yeah, regardless, Random Nicks will get another run at it. We'll just have them replay the game. I'll have to see. It's like it's tricky to enforce. They're both really good guys and friends, so I don't need to be too much of a stickler and give a game loss about that. But we'll see. I mean, you know, there's a chance that Random Index might be able to pull this off. We'll see. And here, one of the Vargulfs is actually going down to the double Helpet Abomination. Grace here able to drop some summons, and Censor Bears are still going as well. Yeah. It is indeed a rule break. He's got too many massive, monstrous SEMs. So you're allowed to have 3 monstrous? Yeah, Flying Taco realizes that and withdraws. Yeah. So basically in tournaments, like especially with vampires, it's really, really oppressive if you... Yeah, Taco would win it, like especially with 4 of them. Because what you could do is you could have a Lamian Lord, a Vargulf, and a Mortis Engine. Or you could have a Lamian Lord, 2 Vargulfs, and a Mortis Engine here. You're allowed to have 5 SEM in total, but only 3 of them can be like monstrous, like kind of types like the Vargulf. So basically you could have a Vampire Lord, you know, a White King, and then if she was on foot, for example, you could then have like all these big boys. Yeah. So basically, we'll be pretty relaxed about it. No worries. You guys, one sec, guys. So I'm just going to chat with the players here real quick, guys. So just give me a quick minute. In the meantime, you can take a look at the glorious bracket for today. Currently, we have Random Nix and Taco fighting to the bitter end. So I'm just going to chat with the lads. Alrighty, so we can repick. What is the usual under banner? So I'm going to go check the banner rules. I don't know if there's anything specific about this, but these guys, of course, are both like good sports, so we can just probably replay it. Because, you know, I don't want to just advance someone, because it was an honest mistake. Yes. One sec, guys. Just pulling up the rules and all that sort of good stuff. I don't know if there's anything in there about that. Yeah, the new rules are really awesome, by the way. And yeah, so let's actually share that with you guys. No, trust me, the vampires are fine without it. Like, one of the more abusive things for vampire counts, like if you ever played in the early days of Ladder, and you're playing vampire counts, for example, and you have, you know, 5 Vargulfs running around with Invocation, it was just like the most oppressive thing ever. It needs to be done, trust me. All right, so just checking all this stuff. Yeah. All right. So we'll chat with the lads here. I'm pretty sure, I mean, a Random Nix, you know, feels that he was doing okay in the game, but I think that was because Taco stopped to read my message and just like was checking his army, like instead of microing. Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a vampire count win because the Mortis Engine was just going to kill everything, and then the Skaven would just be stuck with their monsters just being dragged down, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Ludwig is a very good player. He's been playing in a lot of tournaments. Yeah. I guess what we could have done is probably had them play it out and just see, and then if the Skaven end up winning, but yeah, it's easy to say in hindsight. It's a tricky thing to do on the go. King of the Dead did play in today's. He did have a very narrow loss in the best of 3. It was a really, really good series. Yeah, it was a really, really good series. Does the Hellsteed count as an SEM? All right, so let me go ahead and get a link to the rules we're using. They're really, really good, actually. The document is awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this. They're in our Discord. So if you guys want to see, let me make sure this works before I link it to you guys. So for anyone who's interested, you can look here and you can see the rules in this Google Drive. These are the rules we use. It's really cool, actually. Xiphos and Arrow drafted the rules for the most part with influences from many other rule sets, but also you can see, I could like pull it up on the screen. That would actually be kind of cool. Maybe I'll like download it and show it to you guys. Yeah, that's actually, this would be a good time to do that. Hold on. All right, that's one sec. Same map. So don't stress it. Cool. Yeah, for SEM vampires, especially with invocations, even if you think you're getting up and they're able to get like, oh man, it just becomes so strong. Yeah. Hey, you're very welcome, yeah. Here's another link, guys, if you're looking to see the rules. I'll pull them up on the screen, too. Let me go ahead and download the PDF. I don't know if the download is going to, like, lag the stream or something. Hopefully not. Okay, we're downloading this. Very good. Very good. Probably have to set up, like, another window. Let me get the rules on my desktop. All right, so the players are going to remake their armies. So yeah, they both get a remake, which is it's fine. They're just going to replay. This is good. And we're all friends here. We don't need to be like super sticklers. Okay, one sec here. Checking a couple messages. Why is that not appearing here? Bear with me, my friends. Hey, no worries, guys. No worries. Yeah, Ludwig has been playing in a ton of tournaments. Yeah, I don't think he's played in as many as mine, but I've seen him playing in like tournaments on other people's channels, and yeah, he's a really, really good player. All right, so how can I show this? How can I capture this and actually do that effectively here? So if we go to window capture, I guess, would it be a window capture, PDF banner? Oh, there we go. That actually works. All right, so in the meantime, we can kind of take a look at some of this while the players do this. Yeah, we haven't really done this on stream. So let's go ahead and ready up so the players can just start whenever they're good to go. So yeah, these are the banner rules here. So you'll notice that these are all the attributions, like who did everything and you know, who helped out, and the mighty Xiphos doing all the good stuff here. So these are like the rules for minimum size. So for example, there's limitations on an army has to contain 300 models, right? You guys can see all this, right? It's actually like showing. Okay, good. Perfect. So yeah, an army has to contain 300 models. Is like, so basically you can't have an army that has 299 troops. You have to have at least 300 because, again, one of the more abusive things about Total War Warhammer multiplayer was back in the early days of the game, you'd see an army that would be like 5 Vargulfs and like 3 Mortis engines, right? And it's just like, that was the most awful, miserable army to play against. You really have to do balance out against like SEMs and things like that. So, oh man, Anna just slamming doors over there. I guess she's battling the dogs. So yeah, unit infantry limited to max 5 of any kind. So you could have like 5 swordsmen, you know, 5 spearmen with shields, but you could have like different variants, right? So you could have like 4 swords or 5 swordsmen and 5 spearmen with shields, or 5 regular spearmen and then spearmen with shields. And there's different rules for like all these different things, right? Monsters, infantry, war beasts are limited to 4 of a kind. So rare single entity, which is denoted by an asterisk here, is a maximum of 3. So that is the rule that was broken here. So there's a lot going on. You can see like there's a restricted unit list. So the following units may only be taken once in an army. So these are like, you can only have 1 Titan, 1 Cygor. You can still summon other ones, but these are like baseline. So you can't bring more than one of these because they were pretty damn strong in the early days. But anyways, so these are all different restrictions, attacking and not attacking rules. So these are what dictates when you have to engage, when you don't have to engage. So player must be attacking at all times. This takes the form of expressing intent to attack by moving towards the enemy or actively expending ammunition. So again, you're attacking if you're shooting or moving towards your opponent. And yeah, you can see not attacking, generally any action performed by single entities, because this is to abuse like the biggest thing is dealing with like single entity stuff. So let me go ahead and scroll down. So this is where it gets really cool, man. Look at Xiphos did some really awesome work with the graphic design. So you can see here the limitations, right? Maximum of 5 here. And you can see which ones you can only have 2 of. Granted, and the ones that have the little marks here are special single entities. So these, you can only have 3 special single entities. So you could have 3 giants, or I mean, not 3 giants. You could have 2 giants, you could have a Cygor, and then you can have like your Lord and a Caster, as long as they're not on one of the special ones. It's a lot to take in, guys, but it's really neat. You can see like all the restrictions for the various factions. It's really, really well put together piece. Yeah. All right. So anyways, I could go over that. I'll probably do a separate video, like going over all this stuff with you guys, because right now it's just going to take a while. So we'll go back to the lobby here. But yeah, that's the document, the banner rules. It's really cool. That's what we use for all our tournaments and things like that. Well, there's a bunch of rule sets, and they're all good. They're just different. Yeah. It's a lot to get into, but like once you kind of get playing a little bit, it's easy to remember most of it. It's just like, all right, you just attack, you know, you can't pick so many of these units. Like it's not too hard. Yeah. Yeah. It depends though. You have to take a look. I can't remember if the salon is included. Yeah, the salon rule I think is for Croak. I can't remember. But those are the current rules, and they're always evolving and changing based on like the metagame and things like that. So you can't take 2 Vargulfs, a Terragoose, and a Dragon. No, you can't. But you could take a Dragon and 2 Vargulfs, or a Dragon, a Goose, and a Vargulf, and then 2 White Kings on ground. The White Kings don't count as rare single entities. They're just basic single entities, which go towards your cap of 5. Yeah. We linked the rules up above. Wicked, maybe if you could drop a link for people. There's some new folks joining who'd like to see it. Yeah, certain amount, it's different. You have to look for your particular faction. So this is good. It's going to give Random Nix a chance to like redo his build. You know, because I really, despite Random thinking he might have had a chance there, I really think he was in bad shape, especially with 4 SEMs. It's like that Vargulf could have just ran away from the Hell Pits, healed, and then like everything else had gotten wrecked so bad by breath attacks and things. I think he was in some trouble. So this is good for him. He gets the opportunity to repick here. Do you have a favorite go-to faction? Yeah, right now it's Empire. Yeah. It's Empire. I don't know what you're saying, Mariscal, but hope you're doing well, man. Yes. No worries. I'll get you guys a link after this game if we don't get one until then. Yeah, it's a really cool graphics too. We had to restart because there was a rule break. So here you can see. Oh wow, yeah, he changed his build quite a bit. Taco basically brought the same build. Like Taco brought double Vargulf. You see, this is the thing though. There's no Mortis engine now. So had Random gone for the same build here, he would have been in much better shape. But he changed his build. So he's got Council Guard. He's got a Grey Seer on the Furnace engine, which is going to be really good. So now he has his own Mortis engine, which is very strong. A Grey Seer of Ruin as well for the Howling Warp Yell, which is very powerful. Yeah, I like this army. He's got Clan Rats, he's got Rat Ogres, he's got Rattling Gunners actually, and Poison Wind Mortars, Warp Grinders, and yeah, it's pretty much a defensive box. No Hell Pits though. A little bit concerned how he's going to deal with the Vargulfs, but I mean, Rat Ogres can kind of feasibly fight them. Double Rattling Gunner? That's very interesting here, guys. Very interesting. Wicked, thank you so much. Wicked's handling it right now. Look at him go, man. So the first one that Wicked dropped is a link to the rules, and then the second one is Discord. I know a lot of people who don't play in a lot of tournaments and multiplayer might look at the rules and be like, oh, it's really oppressing my favorite faction, this and that, but, you know, trust me, a lot of those things are needed. If you've ever played, like, early day quick battles or custom battles where there's no limitations on single entities, they're one of the more abusable things in the entire game. So you really need to have some rules on them. Yeah, so there's no Mortis engine, so right now you can see he currently has the rules correctly followed. He has the Lamian Vampire Lord, 2 Vargulfs, which is his 3 rare single entities. Now, he also has a White King on foot. The White King on foot counts as a single entity as well towards his 5, but it's not a rare single entity, so you are allowed to have this. Yeah, just going super wide. I mean, basically his army's skeletons. The Vargulfs and the Dragon are the breadwinners, 100%. And, you know, what's interesting is the breath attacks aren't going to be as punishing here. That's for sure. And here he's deciding to kind of camp in the trees a little bit, which ups and downs. It will penalize the large monsters for fighting in the tree line, and the Mortis engine effect will be very good here. But my concern is that the Skaven troop quality will not hold up super long. Granted, there's no Mortis engine, so I guess even basic Clan Rats and Council Guard can hold here. We had them rebuild the armies, yeah. We just had them rebuild the armies. And, you know, the situation is that, you know, yeah, because they messaged Aerocrastic, and he gave him, like, a ruling, and they're just doing what he suggested. So I don't really know what the specifics were, but... Because sometimes, you know, it's not a fun situation to be in when you're having to cast the tournament and also have to, like, enforce the rules at the same time. It's, like, tricky because you're there, you're chatting with the players. It's nice to have, like, a third party make a ruling. Yeah. So that is that. It depends, and there's, like, different... Obviously, depending on the rule break and the nature of it, you have different punishments and things like that. It's kind of tricky, but I'm not really sure what they decided on, aside from rebuilding their armies. The in-game unit caps are different, for sure. Like, for example, in the ladder rules, in Total War Quick Battle rules, you can only have 5 regiments of renown, whereas in this, you can have as many as you want. There's, like, some differences, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and there's tons of other great rule sets. I mean, there's the Warhammer Cup. I know Ecl here has his own rule set, and they're all different, and they all have their ups and downs, I'm sure. I haven't explored too many other rule sets. Typically, I focus more on casting. I mean, I played with Warhammer Cup for a long time, and then we have been using this one. But yeah, I'm open to exploring, and yeah, hopefully someday the community can all kind of, you know, follow like 1 or 2 rule sets. But they're similar enough, honestly, that it's not a big deal. All right, guys, and here we are. The battle is underway. The Skaven certainly have a nice little position here. Lamian Vampire Lord does have the pendulum this time. Yes. I mean, Taco's army is more or less the same. He just cut the Mortis engine and got more Cryptors. That's like basically all he changed, which is good. And so, you know, the advantage in many ways did go to Random, because he was able to repick his army here. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Mortars are going to be nice for sure for clearing chaff, going after some zombies initially. He's going to want to be targeting skeletons. And yeah, I wonder how the mortar does against like monstrous units, like what kind of damage it does over time. Yeah. Yeah, rule breaks it's tricky to enforce in Total War, and that's one of the biggest kind of factors that holds back competitive Total War Warhammer is like, you know, the battlefield dynamics and things like that. That's what the rules do the best to address it, and for the most part they do good, but there are issues, of course. So here comes the Poison Wind Mortars shooting into the zombies, getting some work in. The Rattling Gunners are going to be able to put some pepper, most certainly, into the Cryptors. It's just more of an issue of defending them. Does he have Council Guard? I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah, he's got Council Guard over on the flank here. I feel like Council Guard should be more centralized, like back here, and just leave some like Clan Rats or Skaven Slaves to kind of defend that position. The Grey Seers and the Bells will be able to, you know, they are bonus first infantry AP pieces, so they can actually kill the White King in combat, which is nice. Mortars still shooting in, now going after the Skeleton Warriors. If the Vampire counts do end up blobbing up, the Mortars will be very punishing, and honestly getting some good value so far. Rattling Gunner's going to be teeing off. They 100% want to focus the Vargulfs if the Vargulfs get too close. That is the red winning situation. It's kind of a cool strategy, right? Because you pull in the Vampire counts, you use the Warp Grinders to punish them, and you prosper from there. I honestly think both armies here certainly have some teeth and can do some work. It's really going to come down to micro execution and the engagements that the players take. I don't think it's one of those like builds where like one build is just going to run the other one over. So the Plague Priest here is going to be using a summon, it looks like. I wonder if he's going to be Plague Monks. No, it's going to be Clan Rats used to buffer here. Warp Grinders are moving up, and oh man, if he locks that Vargulf in place, if he locks them both in place right now and both Rattling Gunners switched onto this Vargulf, that would just be huge. That could like win him the game. That could straight up win him the game. He needs to use the Warp Grinders. And the Rattling Gunners need to switch off the Skeleton Spears and need to start pounding the Vargulf here, 100%. In the back, we do get a Plague Monk summon, which will be a nice tool against the Feasters and the Dusk who have come in. The Rattling Gunners are now switching. Ooh, that's going to be some Daka right there. Yeah, and you can see the Vargulf is getting melted by that Rattling Gunner fire. Oh my god, the brutal firepower coming in. One Vargulf is just probably down for the count here, if not very, very low. Man, what a cool play here by Random. And you can see Flying Tacos reacting by sending everything in. Oh, and a Howling Warp Gale on the Lamian Vampire Lord. Nice stuff, and the Vargulf is crumbling. Rattling Gunners have switched fire here. They're now shooting up in the sky at the Lamian Vampire Lord, but, you know, it's going to be hard to protect those. The Skaven front line is buckling rather aggressively, and there's a lot to protect here. But yeah, the Rattling Gunner combo seems to be doing pretty well. I don't know, the Skaven front line is certainly the big issue here. I feel like Council Guard need to be back here, like, helping against all this stuff here. So Lamian Vampire Lord getting pounded pretty good by Slingers and Rattling Gunners and various other units. Plague Monks back here, trying to fend off the Cryptors. And here we also have Rat Ogres defending where they can. But now that the Rattling Gunners are a little bit kind of compromised in melee, I'm certainly concerned. Balance of Power is, of course, Skaven favored, but that's simply because of the DPS they've done so far. It doesn't necessarily reflect the current state of the battle. And yeah, the Lamian Vampire Lord's running for the hills. But the thing is, the Vampires are closing in, and they're certainly getting some good damage. The Mortis Engine, in fact, will be very good, and oh my god, the Rattling Gunners, are they going to finish this Lamian Lord? One of them is still kind of shooting, it's confident, it's kind of trapped in melee a little bit, but if they can go guard mode and keep shooting, that Lamian Lord could for sure go down. And the Plague Priest here is getting a great Mortis Engine effect, just doing so much damage. Mortars are still kind of shooting. And here, another Howling Warp Gale going down, which does lock this character in place. Here, the Cryptors are starting to get worn down. Balance of Power is certainly Skaven favored at this point. But again, the monsters could win the fight if the Vampires are able to survive this pressure. I mean, both Rattling Gunners are still actually, like, healthy, which is surprising. Okay, a little bit of lag. For a second, I felt the dreaded crash coming in. So yeah, Council Guard, I think, should have been in the middle the whole time. It's giving the Vampires kind of a lot of free range here in the back. And the Plague Priest needs to be kept alive. We have some Ogres and Slingers coming back, which certainly could be helpful in some of these other units. Yeah, the Vampires are kind of running out of chaff on the ground, though. And now the Rattling Gunners are free to fire. A nice Warp Grinder play, able to get some good snares here. And you can see the Lamian Vampire Lord is getting Rattling Gun. Who would have thought? Rattling Gunners, man. It's kind of a cool thing. Well, that is very, very cool indeed. And yeah, the Lamian Vampire Lord is just trying to survive. Rattling Gunners do not do magic damage, but they do have a suppression mechanic. And the damage he was able to get on the Vargulf earlier really, really paying off here in the fourth quarter of the game. Now, Cryptors are fighting. They're fighting the good fight. The Warp Grinders, of course, not happy to be trapped in melee combat. The Plague Priest needs to be kept alive and engaged over here to try and wear down some of the chaff if it can. Look at this. Even the Gracier on the Bell is getting dirty and trying to fight here. Lamian Lord able to get away, which is really, really big for the Taco. But Council Guard are going to be a pain to kill, especially without a Mortis Engine effect from the Vampires. That's why maybe seeing a Wild Helm and Gorst would have been interesting here, right? But the Rattling Gunners do resecure their position, and now they're firing, and it looks like they might be able to finish off this Vargulf. It's very, very low, negative 28, but yeah, I always felt like Crumbling should be a little bit more punishing. Seismic Snare going down really nice. The Warp Grinder is able to get a snare here and lock that Vargulf in place. And it looks like the Gracier is going to be coming in to try and finish off that Vargulf. Negative 30, 200 HP. It gets rammed. It's down to 230. Very, very low. But the Skaven have also lost their Plague Priest. So the Mortis Engine effect is gone for now. But this Vargulf should go down. Negative 30. Yeah, Crumbling needs to be more punishing for sure. That thing should like 100% be dead in my opinion. But some of the Rattling Gunners are steady. The Unholy Clamor is going to be giving a leadership buff. And now they'll probably turn and shoot. Negative 31. And is it going to break? Negative 65. Yep, down it goes. So the Plague Priest is back. Random Nix definitely wants to drop some summons before this thing goes, if he can, or he could be saving his Winds of Magic. And some of the Rattling Gunners are focus firing here against the Lamian Lord. Yeah, I think the Council Guard might be too much. And down goes the Furnace. Nice play there by Flying Taco, able to isolate and take down the Mortis Engine effect. Now, what do the Vampires have left? They have a White King. They have some Crypt Horrors. The Skaven actually have a lot of stuff on the periphery of the battlefield that's rallying back, and the Mortars coming back could be useful, but it looks like they're not going to. Warp Grinders have locked the Lamian Vampire Lord in place, and now you can see the Council Guard are moving in for the kill. Lamian Lord rapidly approaching its healing cap here. And, man, the Gracier of Ruin. This guy's, he's going to have to be the hero that the Skaven need. I mean, you know, the bell tolls. For whom the bell tolls, perhaps the vampire counts, we will see. Balance of Power is getting a little bit more vampire favored as their Death Star here is really starting to get a lot of good value. And that Lamian Vampire Lord is somewhat healthy. Skaven do have some troops coming back, though, like I said. Slingers and mortar teams here. Ooh, that's actually really big. Even if, like, any of these mortars make contact here with the vampires, that's going to be really, really nice. Here they come, shooting in, is able to hit those little golems over there, and now the Council Guard are fighting against the Vargulf and the White King. White King there is certainly quite nice. Crypt Horrors, though, able to chase off many of the Rattling Gunners. Ogres and Slingers are coming back. Any sort of Slinger pressure would be very, very useful here. And here comes the Lamian Lord. Thankfully, for the sake of the Skaven, the Council Guard are unbreakable, so they are getting good, steady damage here. And a lot of the Vampire Force here is crumbling down. These Ogres are going to be intercepted. Definitely should have probably charged them into the Crypt Horrors to at least get some damage. We'll see what happens with the little Golem squad over here. So now we have some Skaven Slave Slingers. Those could be certainly a huge, huge kind of boon here, and some Warp Grinders coming back in. The White King's going to be a problem too, for sure. Definitely going to be a problem. But the Gracier is pulling back. Nice breath attack, but it is dodged by the Gracier, so good response there from Random Nix. Yeah, the White King is a problem too, because it gives really good sustainability against the Council Guard here. And here some Crypt Horrors are pushing in to try and solve this problem. Scab Scraith going down as well, and the Rat Ogres actually appear to maybe get back here. Some Skaven Slaves are maybe going to get in as well. Are those Clan Rats or Skaven Slaves? Hard to say. Yeah, Random Nix definitely, I think, had the advantage for most of the game, but Taco was able to pull it out by surviving with his freaking Lamian Lord. But ooh, look at this, the Warp Grinders coming back. It's a little bit risky for Taco to land here with the Warp Grinders, because if the Halberds are able to kind of get some steady poking, it looks like there's going to be a Howling Warp Gale, which is going to lock down the Flying Lord here. Howling Warp Gale doesn't do damage, though. It just locks in place. So it's just kind of buying time for the Force here. So Taco's coming in. And man, those mortar teams are still paying their dues, wearing down those units. A Warp Grinder is used as well, which is actually going to lock the Crypt Horrors in combat. Definitely very solid. I feel like the bounce power is a little bit punishing to the Skaven here. Like, I feel like this game is actually pretty close. So the Crypt Horrors are getting beaten down very, very quickly, but there is another kind of wave of vampires coming in. Mortar teams are trying their best, and the Lamian Lord up in the sky gets a really nice breath attack right down the pipe. Ooh, that could be a game winner. And he does get the Gracier of Ruin of Random Nix. Yeah. It's looking tough. And here comes the White King getting run over, the Lamian Lord. Yeah, and there's another Vargulf too. The Vargulf was chasing stuff off. Council Guard is certainly very scary here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Army loss is going to be hitting the Skaven. Alright, GG. Well played. Man, that was a game. That was quite a game. What a cool build. I mean, Random Nix's build was awesome, man. I really thought he was going to take that with the early damage. But of course, it was kind of a flimsy build in some ways. Not in a bad way, but the front line was very poor at the expense of having a super meaty. You know, honestly, maybe had he cut the Poison Wind Mortars? Because, like, the thing is, Random Nix had the Plague Priest to kill the Horde. He just, like, the Mortars were another liability, but I guess they did okay damage. But against just Skeletons, like, because most Vampires aren't going to bring, like, Graveguard against Skaven, I don't think. I think the Mortars were a bit of an issue, but the double Rattling Gunners were really cool. Random Nix played a really, really good game, and so did Taco. Taco was able to really stabilize after taking a pounding in the beginning. So let's update that. It's going to be 2-1 here. And GG. GG, well played. Random Nix saying, well, good luck in the final. I'm sure we'll see Random Nix back next week. Bardzo Dobja, my friend. That was an excellent game. Eat some pierogi, enjoy life. No problem. That was a really entertaining game. It was close. Could have gone either way. I think the Council Guard not being in the center mass of the fight was a big issue because it allowed the vampires to like rush through and get into the gun line. Like it was defending a flank against like some skeletons and like one Cryptor, I think, but just, you know, a little bit of a topical analysis there. I don't know if it's necessarily accurate. So Taco, stay here. Ludwig is going to join up now for a best of 5 final. You're up. The mighty Ludwig cometh. Yeah, 2 hell pits are definitely strong. You know, I actually think that Random Nix's first build would have won that game. Because without the Mortis engine to punish all the Storm Vermin, I think he would have been able to endure. But both builds were very viable, right? Like, had Taco switched it up to something else, I don't know. Yeah, both builds were good, honestly. But I'm pretty sure Random was going to lose that first game with the 4 single entities. Even if he killed 1 Vargulf, there were still, like, so many other monsters he had to deal with. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and reset the scoreboard. It's going to be... let's see, Ludwig. I'm just going to put Ludwig for short. So let's go ahead and do the Plains of the Dead map set. This is the grand finals of today's event. Uh-oh, a little bit of lag. The foretelling, sometimes when you try and type in these chats and there's a little bit of lag, it can happen. Yeah, the Rattling Gunner combo with the Howling Warp Kill is really cool to like punish the flying Vampire Lords. All right, no problem. So let's go ahead and update this. Thanks again for Orion for joining and casting the tournament. Appreciate having you here today, man. I see that he left the lobby, so you're welcome to come back if you'd like. But if you think there's lag, no worries. Yes. Yeah, the hell pits are definitely strong. There's a couple ways you can play it. So now we have Ludwig facing off against Flying Taco. So let's go ahead and update the 4-man bracket. Oh, we still have the rules there. So let's go ahead and hide that for now. Very well played, Random and King of the Dead. And now it's going to be Taco against Ludwig here in the grand finals. Any advice on a Gelt army composition? It depends on the matchup, Dark Baphomet. But typically with Gelt, Gelt can, you know, a Plague of Rust thing, so things that normally lack armor piercing, like Knights of the Blazing Sun, you can get some cool synergies with that. Like bring down armor using like low AP units. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to tell me a matchup, and then I could answer your question a little bit better, bud. And thank you guys for joining today. I do appreciate having you all here, and we're getting into the grand final, so for anyone just joining, this is the final countdown. So players can do their picks and bans. So Ludwig is going to go Empire, banning Lizardmen and Dwarves. Interesting. I always felt like Empire had an okay matchup versus Lizards, but now Flying Taco will have the opportunity to choose here. Some delicious sparkly water. Valkanos, it crashes the entire game. So like if you're playing in a tournament and there's the vampire count crash bug, it crashes it for everyone. The casters, the spectators, the players. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. It like literally just freezes the game. Yeah. Yeah, it just totally crashes everyone. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate indeed. So let's get back to the lobby now. Ludwig versus Flying Taco. Picks and bans are underway. So currently Taco's on the pick. It's Empire. You know, I wonder if he'll display vampire counts again. Just came off a vampire count game. I need to join one of these. Is it hard to join? No, it's not. You just got to hang out in the Discord and my multiplayer Discord. And when I announce it, you just sign up using this website called Challenge, but it takes like a couple seconds to set up. Yeah, it's really straightforward, Grim. So just get in there and shoot me a direct message and I can give you details, or just hang out. And when I do an everyone tag saying there's a tournament coming up, you just join. So it's going to be Greenskins versus Empire. Yeah, this is a classic matchup. I always really enjoy this one. So we saw this earlier from the other end. We saw Flying Taco using the Empire to claim victory. Now we will see. I'm curious what Ludwig will do differently. Will he bring Volkmar the Grim and kind of go that route, or is he going to kind of change it up a little bit? Does he have some sneaky scheming? Perhaps so. Yeah, we had 60 people playing today, which is cool. I think the most we've ever had is like 80 or 90 in one of these ECLs. Although I only really promote it, link it in my own Discord. I suppose if I went to some other ones, we could probably get more, but that's a good number, I think. I don't know if it crashes single player. I think it does, but it's pretty rare. It doesn't happen too often. So Empire versus Greenskins once again. The nation calls, man. Hell yeah. I've kind of like been back and forth about my tabletop Empire army, how I want to paint them. And I think I've decided I'm going to go with the Reikland, like the old school, this paint scheme. I'm going to do like white and red. It just like feels so wrong to do anything other than classic Empire. I mean, I could paint a couple units like Knights and more, but yeah. We'll see. Turin, do you have any idea when the next qualifier might be? Probably midweek sometime, or next weekend at the latest. So it would be like Wednesday or Saturday probably. Yeah. I'll figure it out. It depends on when Sotek wants to finish our head-to-heads this week, if he does. I'll also be doing some King of the Hills, so if you guys are looking to practice for these, King of the Hills are a decent place to get some pick and ban practice and different things like that. I know. It's always hard. You always got to root for the Empire, man. It's hard not to. The nation calls. So Ludwig, 15,000. He's not just Ludwig. He is Ludwig 15,000. That is serious business. His power level is above 9,000. And no jokes are had here. Yeah, I've seen him play in a lot of tournaments. So I think he's only played in a couple of my qualifiers, but in the previous seasons. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, the grand finals, if any of you guys are wondering, so far we have a very serious grand finals. So if we go to the player list, we have Tlaxlan, Soothsayer, Anticity, and Felcon, all of whom have qualified. So they can't play again this season. They have to just wait for the grand finals, basically. But those three lads have qualified for the grand finals, and it's going to be looking to be pretty serious. So either it's going to be Ludwig or Taco here. And players do have the opportunity to qualify every week. So they can play every time I have a qualifier, they can try. So that's what I'd like to have happen someday for Everchosen. Of course, it depends on, what Creative Assembly kind of wants to do. But for Everchosen, what I'd like to do someday, this is kind of like my dream, is that each of the Everchosen hosts, right? So you have, or tournament, community tournament guys, we could totally figure it out. But basically, you would have 2 Everchosen qualifiers on my channel, 2 on Sparty's, 2 on Sotek's, and like 2 on Party Elites. Or, if they don't want to host the qualifiers, we can have them run by some of the, of course, other creators in the community who put on great tournaments. We could do that. But and then each of us would have 2 qualifiers for Everchosen, and like it would be open to anyone. So like it's like a massive open qualifier for Everchosen, and then the winners get to play. So it'd be the same format as ECL, but just hosted on different platforms. I think it'd be really fun. I'd love for Everchosen to be like an open format someday. Yeah. We will see. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know though. It would be really fun. It would create like a lot of hype going into it, right? Because I always feel like Everchosen's like announced like a couple days prior, and it's like it should have like a month of hype, I think. Yeah. No, Deacon Scalesinger, because I don't think I'll be able to end the head-to-head with Sotek right away, because vampire counts have this like their raised dead is just nonsense. Like they can, I killed both of Sotek's armies like outside of his territory. And like a turn later, Vlad is sitting in, like, not even a turn. Vlad fell back to the city, raised dead, and recruited an entire army with like Graveguard and Cryptors again. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I'm pretty sure I will get there, but the Greenskins are also there as well. Danger Cat, when will the next Magic stream be? Probably sometime this week, like Tuesday or Thursday. Yeah. I know, Josh, we're getting close to 100K, man. If you guys aren't subbed to the channel, join the party, man. Let's get us to 100K. We'll do a glorious mullet stream. I think it's something really fun. Yeah, but like you can wipe vampire counts in campaign, and like if they have a raised dead, like good pile, they can just like rebuild their army instantly. It's not going to be a great army, but it's still enough to like slow you down. Especially if you're turtling in a city, Oh, Aristodemus for sure. For sure. Yeah, someday though, I hope we can get it like that. That would be definitely very exciting for me. Because then it's kind of cool too, because like each of the casters will have like 2 champions that qualified on their qualifiers, right? And then like there's some there's some skin in the game, as they say. Yeah, it'd be fun. So Grim Soka, basically how King of the Hill works is I announce it, and then you just respond and say, put your name into the sign-up pool, and then I randomly shuffle the players who play, because typically we have like 30 or 40 sign-ups. But yeah, shoot me a message. We'll get you in. Don't worry. Yeah. Well, typically, Deacon, there's a limitation on when we're allowed to talk about it. So, because a lot of times it coincides with like content, so there's like restrictions on it. Yeah. What is the reason behind having a limit on single entity units? So if you've ever, if I went into a battle and I was playing vampire counts and I had freaking 7 Vargulfs and like 5 Vargulfs and like 3 Terror Guys, 2 Mortis Engines, and like a vampire caster, it would be so insanely annoying to play against and defeat. It's just like single entities are one of the things that really break the game in some respects, if you can get a lot of them. That's why if you've ever watched someone's campaign where they get a doom stack of like Necrofex Colossus, it's just like unstoppable, right? And the same thing kind of applies in multiplayer, so there needs to be restrictions. Yeah. I know, how does the mullet not have 100k subs? Yeah. It's craziness. It's craziness, yeah. Anyways, guys, let us go ahead and focus here on the battle for Ludwig and the Brave Sons of Sigmar. Spearman front line, secondary is Swordsmen. It's going to be Empire Knights, Pistoliers, and an Amber Wizard with Manticore Summon. An Empire Captain, actually, on foot. Very interesting choice. And Volkmar the Grim. So this build is like almost identical to what Taco brought. That's so funny. Like this is the build Taco brought against random Nicks, like more or less. Oh man, that's wild. That is wild. Oh my god. Okay, so let's see what Taco does differently. So Flying Taco brought Skirmish Corps, a bunch of Haggard Greenskin Chaff units, and Orc Boys. He's got 2 Goblin Wolf Chariots. Okay, this is the difference. The triple Stone Troll. Stone Trolls are really good against Empire Knights, and they can fight Volkmar for sure. And it's going to be Skarsnik. Skarsnik, of course, Rampage on Volkmar is very, very strong. No Dakaline, though, so there's no traditional like archers or anything like that. No artillery. Instead, he invested very heavily in the triple Stone Troll, which is very strong. Yeah. Yeah, some of the Everchosens have been done on early access builds like Vampire Coast, which I think is really fun. It's like a cool showcase. It's not as balanced, unfortunately, because it's like before there's a lot of like multiplayer bouncing and things like that. But yeah, it depends. Historically, Everchosen was kind of a more of a showcase event, but it's becoming more competitive for sure. Yeah. Oh, man. Andrew Pugh, that's funny. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you let like someone with really good multiplayer micro control like a vampire count single entity spam army, like they will just, oh god, it's horrible. Horrible indeed. Horrible indeed. But yeah, good armies from both players. Volkmar the Grim will certainly win the frontline engagement, but how is the Empire going to deal with Stone Trolls is my concern. Like if you look at this Empire force, it's Empire Knights, Empire Knights, Empire Knights, Pistoliers. Like there's almost no AP in this Empire army at all. So the Stone Trolls are going to be the biggest X factor. That's going to be very, very difficult to deal with for Ludwig. However, he does have mechanics that cause terror with Volkmar, and also he can break the leadership of Trolls and chase them off, which is honestly what he's going to have to do. If he can't break the leadership of the Trolls, he is going to get karate chopped so damn hard. So now it is time. Oh my god, Depth Guard in the Vampire Coast DLC was just absurd when they first came out. Yeah, that was pretty wild. And now the battle is underway here. You can see the Death's Creepers and the Wolf Rider Chariots are surging forward to poke the Sons of Sigmar. I'm certainly concerned for Ludwig's army. I think you have to respect the Stone Troll Toll, and if you don't, they will make you pay the Troll Toll to get into the Troll Toll. Troll. I'm just going to keep saying that until I get tired. Yeah, Smudge, that's something we've talked about as well. It'll be something we'll figure out for sure. Yeah, we will figure it out. So Volkmar the Grim is now going to be leading his glorious charge here in the desert against the forces of the Greenskins. Grim Soka, thank you so much for not only your erect donations, but also for becoming a member here on the channel. What is your icon from anyways? It looks like it from a game I recognize. Thank you so much, Grim. So Volkmar the Grim going to be charging in. Spearman going to be unbraced against the Stone Trolls. So the Stone Trolls are going to go full clobbering time and get their charge bonus of 34. The Spearman certainly taking a lot of damage on impact. Those bad boys are, you know, they're pretty resilient against basic spears too with their armor and their regeneration. So now we have a gooning attempt coming in. Volkmar is being hunted by a River Troll Hag and Skarsnik. And what's going to happen is if they can get Volkmar below 80% rampage him, Skarsnik actually has really good AP anti-large, especially with the AP of Giant River Troll Hag. Empire Knights in the meantime coming in to try and rescue Volkmar. I think that currently Ludwig knows that if Volkmar gets surrounded here, he could actually go down to a lot of damage. And yeah, Mither is being used. A really all-in attempt here from Taco to try and take down Volkmar the Grim. And we'll see if it pays off. Doesn't look like it though. Looks like Volkmar is going to be able to get away. Fermented Fungi was used on something. I think he misclicked. What did he use Fermented Fungi on? He used it on something? Yeah, I saw the Fermented Fungi. Oh, we used it on Empire Knights, which isn't bad. It keeps the Empire Knights in combat and lets them take some damage for sure. But the Manticore summoned from the Empire, certainly very unexpected. Now across the battlefield, front line is a bit of a wash here. Oh, nice Fanatic Ball coming in. Brutal stuff from Skarsnik. tearing through those state troopers. Certainly going to buy some time there for those orc boys. But the stone trolls are rotating down and around from this engagement. Now the stone trolls are going to be really collecting over here. Empire Knights charging in once again, but again, the lack of AP on these guys is going to be tough. Andrew Pugh says, you actually pronounced my name right, deserves cash. I had a friend who had that same last name, so I'm well practiced. Yeah, Grimsoka, that's what I thought, man. Hey, Andrew Pugh, thank you so much. The battle rages on. Balance of power is pretty even. Manticore Summon, of course, is a false inflation, so it's not going to necessarily accurately depict the current state of the battle, but the Stone Troll is proving to be very effective here, and some have taken some damage, but you have to notice that. We have 12 Stone Trolls here, we have 11 here, and on the far side we also have 12, all of which are healing, and the Manticore Summon is rapidly dissipating. It seems like Taco's build is working well. Obviously, the big issue we saw earlier against Volkmar is there wasn't any high mass answers to really stop him from just being a bully. And oh, look at this, man. The Giant River Troll Hag actually looks like she took a ton of damage from Volkmar, who does do fire damage. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So if she gets chased off, that's actually a pretty big boon here for Ludwig. And it looks like there are going to be some goblins or flying Taco sent in to absorb their charge and maybe buy some time for the River Troll Hag to come back. And yeah, Taco knows this. He sends in all of these routing assets or rallied assets to try and save that situation. So back in the center, we have the Duel of Duels. Volkmar the Grim is pulled in by the Goblin Wolf Chariots and some Orc Boys, but now Skarsnik, the Warlord of 8 Peaks, with his anti-large tanks, trying to catch Volkmar. But Volkmar's cart is pulled by the Faith of Sigmar, which is fast and powerful, and it looks like he is going to be able to get away there, so we'll certainly see how that goes. So now comes the Goblin Wolf Chariots, cycle charging once again, but it looks like one of them is broken. Empire Knights being chased down by the Stone Trolls and Orc Boar Boys. Certainly a very good counter against those guys, and very, very unfortunate here for flying, or not for flying Taco, but for Ludwig, is the fact that the River Troll Hag, who is so close to not being a factor anymore, is back, and her giant sack of meat is now going to be beating down some of these Empire Knights here. A nice Soulfire Bombardment going down potentially, but it looks like Ludwig, or Flying Taco, excuse me, was able to dodge that. And here we have the Empire Captain and the Wizard actually going after Skarsnik, which is interesting. Empire Captain as a bit of a foot-based tech piece against Skarsnik really isn't terrible, actually, but Skarsnik still has good AP, and with a WA active, 500 plus weapon strength while that WA is active. Man, that is nasty. What an absolute knockdown, drag-out game. This one's really close. A banishment attempt going down here. Was going to be trying to get the Death Creepers, it looks like, but they are able to dodge. Flying Taco paying attention. Both players playing a very tight game here. Stone Trolls able to route this position with a little bit of Goblin support. Looks like the Empire will lose this. And now it looks like the Empire is rapidly falling apart as the Empire Knights and the Empire Captain being taken out by Skarsnik. I mean, everything is so beat up. And the big problem is Stone Trolls are still here in a fair amount of numbers. 10, 10, and I think there's 12 over here in pretty much impeccable shape. So I really just don't think Volkmar is going to be able to take all that. And the Empire, like, at this point, lacks the mobility advantage. So the Wolf Chariots and the Skirmishers are going to be able to happily chase off all the rallying Empire forces to make sure they don't come back. And also the Hag is here. She's healing. The Trolls are healing. I mean, maybe a gooning attempt on Skarsnik is an idea. Death Creeper is going to be charging in to help. But, you know, Volkmar will take a lot of damage from Skarsnik as well. Skarsnik has kind of a weird thing where, like, other Footlords get knocked over, but he doesn't. He does count as small also. But Skarsnik, because of Gobla, I guess, he doesn't, like, fall over as much. Or at all. I don't even know if he does. Yeah, it's something interesting to think about here. Volkmar the Grim, taking some shanks for sure. 2,500, 2,200, taking a ton of damage, and I think Empire's getting dangerously close to army losses here. We do have the duel, the River Troll Hag. Karen is speaking to the Empire's manager. Mither and Spirit Leech is active, and now the Stone Trolls are going to be coming in with their clubs. And nobody likes to get hit in the face with a giant sack of stinky meat, even if you are a Nature of the Wilds, or a Caster of the Wilds. Yeah, that's going to be army losses. And that is GG. Flying Taco claiming game 1 here in the Grand Finals. Yeah, well played. So it's cool. We got to see this earlier, and, you know, Ludwig brought almost an identical build to that Empire build, right? And we got to see the other side of the coin here. The Stone Trolls are very good against Empire, guys. A very, very good pick. I actually bring handgunners in this matchup now, just to deal with them. Yeah, they're strong. He didn't have any answer to the Trolls. Like, he still did well, considering. Ludwig played very solid with what he had, but the Stone Trolls, like, he didn't have any AP. And, like, that's where, like, a Franz or a Boris or handgunners or Outriders, you need to bring AP against Greenskins now because of Stone Trolls. All right. That's going to be game 1, going to the Flying Taco. And now we go on to the next match. All right, perfect. We can do the, what is that map? Gotta pick something we don't normally do. The Shimmer Sword is the one. Is it the Song? I think it's something Song, Summer Song. Yeah, Summer Song is the map. I just gotta find it, and we'll do it here. I think it's down here somewhere. The Summer Song. It's not Shimmer Sword. I'm pretty sure it's Summer Song. Yeah, map set. Hey, Samuel Christensen, thank you for the donation, man. He says, why don't you see Reichsguard anymore? It's kind of like Reichsguard are weird because they're better shot cab, but like for the price point, I feel like you just want to go up to Knights of the Blazing Sun to get the magic resist and fire damage. So like they're just in this awkward place where they're like not that much better than Empire Knights, and they're not as good as Knights of the Blazing Sun. So they just are stuck in this awkward place. Yeah. Absolutely. That's my 2 cents. Ludwig doing work. Yeah, Shimmer Sword is a good map, I think. Is it? I think Summer Song is good also. I hope it is. Yeah. So Flying Taco is going to go Tomb Kings, banning Coast and Dwarves. You guys notice that Dwarves get banned a lot, actually, because they're such hard counters to certain matchups. Yeah. Yeah, Carl and Boris are both good. I actually do like Volkmar a lot, but you got to bring something to stop the Stone Trolls. So I use Knights of the Blazing Sun not so much against Greenskins. I use them against Norska to kill Skin Wolves. Yeah. I really like Knights of the Blazing Sun in that matchup. Against what I would do against Greenskins is I would probably bring 4 Empire Knights, Silver Bullets, Handgunners, Volkmar, Flagellants, Sigmar Suns in the front line, and maybe like a single cannon to shoot the trolls. Yeah. Yeah, Blazing Sun are bad there too. It's just not my playstyle. I prefer Empire Knights, but yeah. If you made Reichsguard Knights AP, yeah, it certainly would help them. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, do drop a like. Helps me out quite a bit from a business perspective and all that sort of good stuff. I do this for a living. Thank you guys so much for your support. We're getting there. We're going strong. We're doing it to it. Does the nation call? Oh my god, are we going to get a mirror match? Please, no, don't do this to me. Tomb Kings banning Coast and Dwarves. Ludwig is sitting on Tomb Kings right now, making me nervous. Yeah, Knights of More would actually be really good in that matchup, like a cheap terror-causing Empire Cav, yeah. Oh, man. So Grim Soka in chat saying, all right, guys, if we hit 500 likes, I will do another $100 donation. Dude, that is way too generous, firstly. And secondly, dude, I don't want to financially strain you, dude. Like, you've already donated so much today, dude. Please, I mean, I like legit feel a little bad. I really hope you're like super rich and it's not a burden if you do that, man. I really do, man. That like, I know I shouldn't, but I just do, man. Oh, man. All right, well. Ludwig, 15,000. Is he going to turn it up to 15,000 here? Oh, we got Bretonia! The Knights of Bretonia shall be your shield! So hyped for this, man. It's going to be good. Thank you guys all for your support. I really do appreciate it. Okay, no, it's going to be High Elves. Ludwig blue balling us there, getting us all excited for Bretonia, which actually does have a bit of a niche against Tomb Kings, and then switching to High Elves. I actually do want to do Raponce versus Tomb Kings head-to-head sometime. Do River Trolls have any applications? Not really. They just kind of suck, honestly. The buff isn't like good enough to justify them, like Peter Nilsson. And like to answer your question, like basic trolls are just better. Like they have like, I'm pretty sure they hit harder and the do more or less the same thing. The buff just isn't that good. No, it's just like, I don't mind getting donations, but like, it's just so generous. Holy shit, man. Grim Soka coming in with another $100 donation. Thank you so much, man. Grim Soka's donated, let's see how much today. Holy shit, man. It's just out of control. $400 today, Grim Soka. Dude, I hope you just got some fat payday or like sold some stock. Thank you so much, man. That's some life-changing money for sure. And it does help a lot. It does help a lot because after I get my surgery on the 9th of July, I'm going to be kind of I'll still have videos going up, but I won't be able to stream as much for like a week or two. So it does help a lot, man. Thank you so much. That is very, very generous of you. Yeah, the Arwar River Trolls are the one niche there that they're okay, Peter. Because they Peter's also my dad's name. Because they cause terror and they have like better combat sets. So, dude, Grim Soka, man, I can't thank you enough. You guys want me to cut my mullet off and send it to him as a gift? Hey, well, thank you, Manly. You provide us with hours of entertainment. Yeah, thank you, dude. Mail him the mullet. Oh my god, I get fat paydays every week. All right, Grim Soka, I hope that's the case. Thank you, man. Oh man, that is so generous, dude. You want a lock of my mullet just to cut part of it and send it? That's some creepy stuff there. Are you getting surgery for your hand? Yeah, so I'm getting 3 surgeries on one day on July 9th. I had to reschedule. It was originally the 6th, but the doctor called and said they had to change it. But I'm getting a carpal tunnel release. I'm getting a cubital tunnel release in my elbow. And then they're doing a flexor tendon sheath release, my flexor tendon in my wrist. Yeah. So the doctor is really confident that it'll fix my issues after I go through the recovery period. So I'm super freaking excited. Like, obviously, I'm not going to be like I was when I was 19 or 20, but like better than I am now, dude. Give me that all day. I'm super excited. Yeah. So it's going to be July 9th. Yeah, I'll put up a video on the channel letting you guys know. I'm going to preload videos. So for like, I'll have 2 weeks worth of videos like going up. I probably won't be streaming during that time as much, but yeah. Yeah, sounds good, Grim. Just shoot me a message of what you want. Yeah. We sent Grim Soka. Did you get the High Elf piece? Is that what you asked for before? Because Lady Turin did some custom art for you before. I know, that's the thing. Like, I'm fairly certain I'd love to play more community tournaments, but I always kind of like, I'll get to the semifinals or even close to the finals, and then my hand just is so messed up I have to drop out. That's like the problem. Gift people my mullet like Galadriel. Oh my god. Stream the surgery. I'll talk to the doctor about it, guys. Yeah. The mullet is growing, dude. It's growing. I have carpal tunnel, cubital tunnel syndrome, and my flexor tendon has severe tendonitis. And apparently they found a cyst on top of my tendon, my flexor tendon in my right hand that I've had for a long time. The other doctors missed it. This doctor was able to catch a lot of my issues that the other ones just had wrong. The other doctors I was seeing before is just like, the other doctors was like, yeah, man, let's just give you more steroid injections and eventually it might get better. And just like, I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, that's useless. So I just like am crippled for like 10 years because of just poor management from the doctors, right? And then I meet this guy and he's like, oh yeah, like they just missed this shit and they should have done this and like it'll fix you up. I'm like, finally, Jesus. Like, I don't know if it'll work 100%. Like, you never know with surgery, it might not, but like I'm confident for the first time in a long time that I have hope, which I haven't had for years. I've just figured I'm going to live like this my whole life. Yeah, so I'm super excited, guys. Yeah. Should we lean over as they're about to cut your hand open and whisper blood for the blood god? Oh my god. Sierra, best of luck with the surgery, Turin. Thanks for the content you create. Thank you, man. Or woman, not sure. Sierra. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sierra. Maybe you can be in a team tournament. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows, my friends? I know, like I've been without hope for so long. I've had this crippling problem since I was freaking 21 years old, and I used to be like very fit and athletic. Like I was big into weightlifting, did college sports, played football, and then like I just like emaciated over like 10 years. Like lost my athleticism, got out of shape. It's just like I kept trying to exercise, but just kept re-aggravating my issue, and I'm just like, oh man. I know. But this doctor's great, man. He's really cool. I like him. He like took the time and was really, really good with his examination. And like, yeah, I trust this guy. So you think Slaneshi cultists have wrist problems? Probably. But I'm sure Slanesh like just like blankets it so they don't notice it. Yeah. As if, yeah, there's, 90, I think 98.2% of my channel viewership is men. And I think like 1.8% is women. So there are some. Black Phillip, I have no idea, dude. It's not my birthday. You got the vampire counts painting? All right, Grimsoka, you said you got the vampire counts one the first time? Okay. You let me know which one you want. Much love right back at you, dude. Hope you're staying safe in these times. Your mom, so somebody in chat, Berg, says, I'm ready. So Ludwig is still working on his army, by the way, guys. I'm not like delaying here. I'm waiting for the players. And some people put time limits on the players, but I'm having fun chatting with you guys. My mom had MS misdiagnosis, just carpal tunnel for a long time, nearly 20 years until they actually figured it out. Jesus, man. Yeah. What does the surgeries entail? So what they are going to do is they go into the carpal tunnel. So basically, the carpal tunnel is like literally a tunnel of sorts. It's your nerves, which are surrounded by a carpal tunnel sheath. So that what they do is there's an inflammation of your sheath in the carpal tunnel, which presses on your nerves and gives you weakened grip. It weakens your whole hand. So they cut the top of the sheath and open it and just like leave it open, and then it takes the pressure off your nerves, which can then start functioning properly in your hands. Same thing for the elbow. Cubital tunnel syndrome is like the same, basically. They just kind of take the sheath off or cut the top of the sheath and open up and relieve your nerves. And then for the flexor tendon, it's kind of a similar treatment as well. It's just all the inflammation of the tendon sheaths, which are pressing on various sensitive points in your body. Yeah. This is a best of 5, so there can't be just one more game. Yeah. Evan Sherman, I love that. His hand was led by the craven, weakened by the incompetent, but no longer. Hey, Grimsoka, get some rest, man. Drive safe. Get some freaking delicious coffee. I don't know if this is what you do, but it sounds like it. A lot of people on my mom's side of the family were actually truckers. And I used to, when I was a kid, there was a couple times where I went on these like long road trips with them. And man, it was always fun. Seeing these different parts of the world and stuff like that. Much love, man. Take care. And Grim, thank you so much for your donations again. Yeah, Wicked. I've heard carpal tunnel surgery is like, it generally almost always works, which is great. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the armies. It is time. It's going to be the Tomb Kings of the Flying Taco facing off against the High Elves. Are we going to get an elusive High Elf victory? I know you guys say, I know. It'd probably be free in the UK. Here, I'm probably going to have to pay like $4,000 or something stupid like that. God, US healthcare freaking sucks so bad, but I'm not going to get into that now. All right. So, for the High Elves, we got Bird Teclis, certainly good. Fire damage against Tomb King's Lords is always solid, and he is just a raid boss to kill, so I like this choice quite a bit. Another great Eagle for gooning potential, going after Caskets, Ushopti Grapos, you name it. And here, for the rest of the Tomb Kings, it's going to be White Lions, Spearmen, no Silver and Guard, 3 basic Archers, so really all of the anti-armor is coming from more or less Teclis in this Bolt Thrower, which is a little bit concerning. Yeah, I'm like trying to think how he's going to take down this big Titan, but, you know, Bird Teclis is pretty wild for sure. Pretty wild indeed. Yeah. Death Rabbit says, Turin, you're the chillest bro. And we love you. I've been becoming more of a bro. Not in a bad way lately, but like late at night, I'll just like lay there, like rubbing my growing pot belly, just drinking a beer, just like watching some like gaming shit on YouTube. It's pretty gay. Yeah, US healthcare sucks. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. So for the forces here, Flying Taco, front line of Skeleton Spears, a little bit of Daka, some Skeleton Archers, 2 groups of Sepulchral Stalkers, now just 1, Ushopti Grapo as well. Setra the Imperishable, and I could have sworn I saw a Titan somewhere. Give it to me. Did I see a Titan in the distance? Oh no, I mistook it. It was actually just Setra. I got so excited. See, my concern is the anti-armor. I feel like Bird Teclis doesn't have a lot of, armor AP just by himself to handle all this. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, Grim, appreciate it. Drive safe. Sleep well. I don't know. I don't actually know how it goes to get, like, Polish citizenship. Because I'm, of course, married to my lovely Lady Turin, who is Polish. Yeah, we'll see. Also free in Canada, I know. One good thing about, like, the healthcare I have is, like, I can go to any doctor. I don't have to get, like, referrals and stuff, so I can just, like, go to whoever. And, like, you know, basic treatment isn't that expensive. It's mainly just, like, the big stuff. Transformers were once truck drivers, and then they tasted the warp. Who does this matchup favor? I really don't know, to be honest. I mean, I would lean towards Tomb Kings, but, you know, the one thing I'm surprised we're not seeing here from Flying Taco is a Casket of Souls. Caskets just wreck the High Elf forces. Like, they kill the archers, the infantry, and, like, a bolt thrower can shoot back at it, but it's outranged, so it takes a while to get in range, and then the Casket is able to just do so much damage before all that happens. Yeah. Yeah, like, the actual care you get from the physicians in the US is decent, like, right? But it's just the cost. It's mainly the cost and insurance system that's bad. It's not like the healthcare you get is bad. Because we have great doctors here, like over at UCLA and USC and all these places, but it's just the cost that's prohibitive. I should probably re-articulate my point and just say that. That is what I'm referring to. It's like you pay like $400 a month for insurance, and then you go to the doctor and, like, they're like, oh, that's going to be, you know, an $80 or $100 copay. You're like, what? Like, oh, you want to get tested for allergies? Here's a $300 allergy panel. It's like, what? I'm paying $400 a month for this? What? And then I also have to pay $400 for that? It's just, it's absurd. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, the cost is the problem. The healthcare here is good. We have good doctors. They do a great job. Except the one doctor that saw my hand before, not him. All right, so the Ushopti Grapos are shooting downtown. Right now, they're going after the White Lions of Krace, and certainly doing some decent damage. And here you can see the Eyes of the Desert. A pretty good countermeasure, actually. Eyes of the Desert against, like, Bird Teclis and the Great Eagle. That's some good poke right there. I actually like that quite a bit. And it looks like right now the Ushopti Grapo has switched its fire onto the Great Eagle. which Ludwig, of course, being a savvy tournament player, I'm sure will be able to juke pretty effectively, kind of pulling back and forth. And here on the far side, we have Illyrian Reavers creeping around the back. Reavers definitely are going to want to be shutting down the Ushabti Great Bow and or the Skeleton Archers if they can. So now the High Elf Archers are going to be opening up, going after Skeleton Spearmen, who of course are silver shielded, and yeah, there's not too many other targets to really choose from, to be honest, but it's still something. Might as well get some DPS where you can. I think that the High Elf Archers probably are going to want to take out the Ushabti Great Bows and or the Eyes of the Desert. Though they don't have the best AP values, they're still armored threats. You need to get them down, and you know, volume of fire is a thing and can eventually add up. Are we seeing the Talons of Torquelada here? Oh, we are. So look at this. Ludwig actually does have the Talons of Torquelada, which imbues fire weakness. That's pretty cool, actually, with Bird Teclis. So if Teclis is attacking something, they're also being shot by the Talons here. That can be a pretty big damage boost. So now the High Elves have sent the memo that they want to fight here, and the front line engagement is underway. Teclis is going to be using a Fiery Convocation. And Flying Taco is going to be scooting forward, trying to escape this, but the skeletons are pretty crowded. Is he going to be able to dodge it? Oh my god, those skeletons got wrecked so hard, but unfortunately it does go through here. And look at that, a big net going down from Teclis, but that pretty much insta-gibbed those, those skeleton spears. That was pretty cool, and that's a free spell. So look at this, guys. We have Cetra the Imperishable is netted down by Teclis and is also weakened to fire from the Talons of Torquelada. So that means he's going to be taking a ton of damage, and honestly, he could potentially lose Cetra here, or at least take a ton of damage on him. That's very, very brutal. So now the counterpunch here from the Tomb Kings is going to be coming in. Nehekar Horsemen around the flank, getting ready to go in, as is the Tomb Scorpion. Sepulchral Stalkers are peeling relatively well, shooting into the big mass units. And it looks like Cetra the Imperishable is able to get away. But now this is where things get scary. The Tomb Kings have penetrated the front lines. The Skeleton Warriors have gotten through because of the terror route going down on some of these troops here, and they're obviously very, very beat up from fighting constructs. Tomb Scorpion has gotten to the Archer line, and though that was a really cool gangster play from Ludwig, I think that Flying Taco is going to be taking over this game very, very quickly, as the backline harass from Ludwig hasn't really done too much. I mean, you can see here, yeah, it's going to get in, cause some problems, but it's very, very late and delayed, and the High Elf Force is really being backed up. There's Tomb Scorpions in their ranks, there's Ushabti, there's Skeletons. The Eagle's very low, Cetra the Imperishable is stabilized, and though the bounce power is somewhat even, I feel like it's going to be tough here. Yeah, I just don't see how the High Elves can come back from this one. I mean, the bolt thrower's off, all the archers are running for the hills. Maybe if you can scatter and get some good picks with Bird Teclis, like finish off Cetra, that's certainly a play. Really nice response here from Taco. He does use the Narrow's Incantation of Protection. Granted, it won't help him against Teclis, who does do fire and magic damage, so that will surpass that physical resist. The Talons of Torquelada have fallen back. High Elves really push back to their final stretch here. Now the Tomb Kings, who of course were able to screen out the Reaver and Cav harass in the back. Yeah, these guys are pretty much down for the count here. Not down for the count, but not doing too much. Ushabti Great Bows are still shooting too, which is a big problem. Cetra's in not the best shape, but I don't know. Bird Teclis certainly is going to have some work cut out for him. So the High Elf Archers have fallen back here. You can see here the Talons of Torquelada are shooting, and these archers are kind of shooting, I guess, but it looks like, are these Ushabti summons? No, they're actually Ushabti, which is a big problem. The Great Eagle is down for the count. The Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is dead, and it looks like Bird Teclis is going in, and Bird Teclis is really good here, actually. Yeah, he's doing great, man. His nets and assassination attempts have been very, very good, but unfortunately, you know, he's not going to be able to fight Cetra, probably. I don't know, maybe he could. Hard to say, considering Cetra is very, very low, but Taco's really quite warmed up from his very close and contested series he had with Random Nicks here, and is really pushing through this game pretty effectively. Yeah, the backline harass, is it finally going to get in? Illyrian Reavers, I mean, they really need to shut down the Great Bows, but you can see here that Taco is just sitting on them with spears, which really kind of makes sure they can't do much. I think getting the Reavers to kill these archers would be a good start, so yeah. Crumbling these spears and then going over onto these guys could be quite good. And I'm not sure what spell that is. Is that a Fiery Convocation? It looks like it was for a second. I think he was trying to get the archers. So it looks like a Fiery Convocation is going to be going down over here. Going to be tearing through maybe some of these troops, but I think it's a little bit off-timed. Oh, no! He's going to get some of Taco's guys, but not too many. Just hits it probably 10 skeleton models, nothing terribly substantial. Stranger things have happened, though. You know, if the archers for the High Elves can stabilize back here somehow, you know, maybe, just maybe, the archers could come back online and Bird Teclis could take out some of the constructs and characters, and the High Elves could edge this game out. I think it's going to be very tough, but it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. So anyways, here Teclis is getting blasted by some of the Eyes of the Desert and taking a bit of damage here. Those guys are really, really good snipers. And here the Sepulchral Stalkers, still not engaged upon. It looks like the Reavers are actually charging into the Skeleton Archers to try and tie them down. But Bird Teclis doing his best to just get value where he can. And this is a good play by Ludwig. Certainly taking out the Tomb Scorpion here is going to be good. But it's, yeah, it's going to be hard. Narrow's Incantation going down. A little bit of a miscast there because it doesn't actually reduce any damage from Teclis since he does magic damage. But it's all good. Things crumbling. I think if Teclis and the Eagle were able to goon out Cetra, like somehow, some way, maybe, like with a lot of luck involved, but I just don't see that happening. Ushabti Grapos in the back are still shooting. You have to remember there's still regular Ushabti here and also Eyes of the Desert. So there's still so much stopping power here, guys. So much stopping power. It's a really, really good game. Great series between these players. Bird Teclis has a regrowth on him, which is good. It kind of pulls the bounce power back a little bit. And this is actually not a bad play. If the Talons of Torquelada can be stabilized in the back and maybe the High Elves can kind of start pulling apart the forces of the Tomb Kings, there's certainly a chance. Tomb Scorpion's crumbling down. Bird Teclis with his AP, or Peckless, or Birdless. Or, no, that doesn't make sense. He's riding a bird. He's not birdless. But Teclis will be able to finish off the Ushabti here, but will the Talons of Torquelada be saved? I think he needs to maybe stay here. I think he's just cycle charging, which to refresh that charge bonus certainly isn't bad. In the meantime, what do the High Elves still have fighting? A couple spearmen around the battlefield, some loose spearmen on the edge over here as well. This archer crew is most certainly going to be taken out by the Nehekar horsemen. There's only 7 of them left, which is pretty crazy. And here are the Ushabti, still 11 models. Those spearmen are down, so is the Tomb Scorpion, which does pull the bounce power back towards the middle. And the Talons of Torquelada are here. I mean, like I said, stranger things have happened. Bird Teclis is a really, really powerful character. The Parrot Wizard, yes. And he's very hard to kill, but I just feel like there's so much like good Tomb King stuff left. Like these Ushabti, they're just going to bum rush these archers. What does Ludwig have left? Ludwig has some cav here. What are they saying in chat? No, I'm just going to see if they said GG. The Talons of Torquelada getting some shots. I mean, skeleton archers here. Cetra's in good shape. That's still a hard fight. Where is Bird Teclis going? I think Bird Teclis needs to, like, I don't know, man. There's not too many good engagements for him here. Maybe just go for like low-hanging fruit. Like go after these skeleton warriors, like away from the main Tomb King's army. Looks like he's going to try and save those spearmen, which I suppose gives him a little bit of a kind of backbone support. Balance of power is still even. This would be a really, really crazy comeback. Probably one of the most insane comebacks I've seen in the past year if the High Elves were able to come back on this game. Just based on the current state of the game. I don't mean... I've seen worse balance of power comebacks, but in terms of like game state, I feel like this is it's going to be a tough one. So Talons of Torquelada shooting into the skeleton archers, getting some decent damage, but Sepulchral Stalkers have so much ammo left. Like, how is Bird Teclis going to beat all this? There are some spearmen coming back in, which is nice. Bird Teclis definitely needs to capitalize on this and like fight while the spearmen are fighting. Because this is going to occupy the Tomb Kings here, right? So now Birdless or Peckless needs to get in there and start causing some problems. Going to go after the archers, certainly not bad. And now the Eyes of the Desert, man, just blasting him in the face as he comes in. We have some Reavers coming in. There's some Ushabti Grapos here. Is he going to go after Cetra? He is! Look at this! What the madman! And this is a good play. Well, he's enfeebling foed. Of course, Narrows won't save him, but it does trigger the passive from the Lore of Magic. And Birdless is now attacking the Ushabti here. Spearmen are breaking off. Talons of Torquelada are out of ammo at this point. Man, Birdless counts for so much on the bounce of power. I guess it's because he's really expensive. Does have the Potion of Croy. Somehow Spearmen's still going. They're shaken for sure. I mean, fighting an uphill battle against a healthier unit. The Jaff's Curse Blade is activated, and now Birdless is getting blasted by the Sepulchral Stalkers and the Ushabti Grapos. And Bird Teclis is it's going to be sent back to Ulthuan to rethink this plan. Well played. It seems like in Ludwig's armies, a lot of the armies we've seen Ludwig play today, he doesn't bring a lot of anti-armor. I mean, he had the bird, but against Tomb Kings, I think he would need more than just a bolt thrower. Granted, I don't know, maybe like a dragon or something, or another phoenix, like a frost or flame phoenix could have been helpful here. He just didn't have quite enough AP. Yeah. So, we'll see. Alright, guys. And that is going to be a victory here for the forces of Taco, but he's up 2-0, but it is best of 5, so there's certainly a chance that the Ludwig... Oh my god. And Grim Soka dropped another one before he left. One more for the road. Go Elves. I'm sorry, Grim. You're probably sleeping now, and you'll find out tomorrow that your Elves did not win. But Grim Soka, thank you, man, for that last donation. Holy shit, dude. Alright, let's see a Sword of Torgold map set. So far, Taco is up 2-0 here. If the Taco does win, he will win the series and he will qualify. Yeah, Birdless is hard to kill for sure. Peckless. I think Peckless is the best one. What would you guys say? Birdless is so expensive though? Yeah, he is. I know, he's pricey. I think getting like a double goon squad, like Birdless plus like another Phoenix would have been enough. And like also the Ludwig didn't have that much to like take out the Tomb King backline. So Malak says, Turin, actually the Phoenix only has magic damage if he has about 50 wounds of magic. That's not necessarily true, I don't think, Malak. He has magic damage always, but the Phoenix only gets its ward save if he has about 50% magic. Yeah. It has to do with his ward save, not his magic damage, because the Phoenix itself always does magic damage. Yeah. Yes. I think Peckless is the best one, guys. How's it going, Gabriel? Rotundo, hope you're doing well. I'm so hungry. My stomach's growling right now. I'm going to feast like the heathen kings of old once this is over. Reckless is good, but that just becomes like totally different. Reckless when he's on a bird, Peckless when he isn't. Oh, but he has to be on the bird to be Peckless. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. I think Teckless on horseback is very strong. I mean, he did really well. Does it say imbue magic damage? I'll have to take a look, Malox. Yeah, I'll take a look at that later. You could be correct. I may be wrong. But I always figured, since he's on an Arcane Phoenix, it would always be doing damage. Turin, do you think they should buff White Lions? So they're... no, I think White Lions are fine as is. They're niche, but they're a good unit. Yeah, another thing is, against Tomb Kings, you can go with the Plague of Rust. You can get, like, an Archmage. And, like, that's... High Elves have all these Archmages now, too. They can, like, summon Manticores and, like... Yeah, Arcanix. Arcanix, it sounds like a Pokemon. Definitely sounds like a Pokemon. Arcanix. It's like, yeah, reminds me of the days of old. Do you guys remember playing Pokemon Red? Who else here is part of this crew of playing Pokemon in the 90s on a Game Boy, Pokemon Red and Blue, and using the duping trick to dupe your rare candies and just level up all your Pokemon to like level 99? I remember when I found out how to dupe the rare candies and just like, oh my god. And like plugging in your Game Boy in the 90s to like your friend's Game Boy and like trading Pokemon and fighting each other, that was like mind-bending back then. So Ludwig is going to go with Greenskins, banning Coast and Empire. And now Taco will have a chance to pick from there. Man, 90s Game Boy. I remember like sitting at my dad's work just playing like Game Boy Red and Blue Pokemon. Yeah, that was so much fun. Pokemon Total War. Yeah, you guys remember the glitch? Oh man, those were the days, weren't they? I remember like, yeah. Red for life. I know. I duped the Master Ball. Yeah, that's smart too. Yeah. Everyone in chat is like, I did it too. Lich 109 here, yeah. The 7th slot in the bag. Ludwig is going to activate his trap card. He certainly could. So it's going to be Greenskins against Lizardmen. We saw this earlier. Lizardmen did lose, actually. But it was a very close game. I know. Well, the Total War audience is much older compared to like mainstream gaming. Like if you go on Twitch, I feel like the average age is probably like 15 to 20, 21. Which, you know, nothing wrong with that. But I feel like the demographic who watches and plays Total War is a little bit older on average. Sorry with 3rd gen. Sorry, dude. No stress, brother. No stress. Yeah, man. Pokemon Red and Blue were so good. Hey, no worries. No worries, guys. I'm old and crusty. I'm 3 years old now. Turning 32 soon. Was there a glitch the same as the gold and silver? I don't know. Yeah, I only played Red and Blue. I stopped after that, so. There was a speculation that you could get Mew from that truck that was hidden by the cruise ship. Yeah. I remember like all the conspiracy theories. Yeah. Yeah, Pokemon Red was so good. I remember just like sitting under the covers at night, like just playing that by like some dim light, you know? Someone once asked me if Total War is a dad game. Yeah, that's funny. My parents didn't let me get the Game Boy because they saw kids playing them in restaurants and totally unengaged from their families. Ryan, that's probably a good thing, yeah. It's very true. It's only gotten worse too, man. Ty Pando, the Noble House, says, I am 5 and I love Total War. That's cool, man. Certainly a rarity. Sigmar forbids any generation above 2. Dominus, watching from the UK. That's right on, man. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Pokemon was great. You know what, hey, there's no worries, yeah. You know what game I'm really excited to do on the channel? And I'm going to be doing it sometime in the next month. Is I'm going to do Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Lady Turin is actually really good at that game. She like knows every unit like the back of her hand. So we're going to do a Heroes of Might and Magic stream where I'll do some 1v1s versus Lady Turin. Or I'll do me and Lady Turin versus a couple other folks that play. It's very slow paced, but if anybody's looking for like a nostalgia stream, dude, It's coming. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Hot damn, that game was so good. I remember playing that on a freaking, like, the first, like, just some ancient computer on summer break. Oh my god. Heroes of Might and Magic 3, guys, it's coming. I play Inferno. I play the worst faction. Inferno is so bad. But I love to just get the Haggard Devils and, like, teleport around and get the Djinns and... Yeah. Heroes of Might and Magic 3, guys. We're playing the vanilla. Felcon actually plays it. I was talking with him. It's so good. I still play that game. She usually beats me. Yeah. I've gotten a couple wins off her. Lady Turin plays, she plays the faction with the frickin'... She plays Rampart, and then she plays the Swamp People Dungeon. She plays Rampart and Dungeon. I play Inferno, and I play Tower. And Tower is really hard in 1v1, because, like, it's super slow. Malox, thank you for checking, man. Good to know. The National Polish Esport? I know. I played Mario. I played Mario Kart and Super Mario on N64. Yeah, I went pretty hard on N64. No, I don't want to. I like playing Heroes. Like, I don't want to play modded stuff, or like I like to play the original one. It's more of a nostalgia thing for me. Command and Conquer, Red Alert. I played all those games. StarCraft, Brood War, Warcraft 1 and 2, Diablo, all that stuff. I'll still check out. I'll check it out though for Fozen. Yeah. Inferno's my favorite. I know they're terrible, but yeah. Dungeon or Fortress? I can't quite remember. Towers. I love Tower because I like using Solomir and using Chain Lightning. It's just so dirty. And then like having the little like imps and the Archmages for the ranged attacks. All right, guys. I'm going to just go on like a nostalgia rant if I don't stop now. So we're going to focus on the game. Here we are, guys. Grand Finals of the Eternal Challenger League. It is time. It is Ludwig facing off against Flying Taco. Taco certainly has him on the ropes. And let us go ahead and see what Flying Taco has. So for Taco, he's got a massive Air Force, which is interesting. If there's no dock on the ground for the Greenskins, oh man, this Air Force is going to be nasty. Should be able to overwhelm 2 Savage Orc Airboys, and I don't know, Azag might be able to chase him off, but 4 of those guys, front line for him is going to be Saurus Warriors into the Sunset. Flying Taco does also have a Slan Mage of Life, so we saw King of the Dead do this earlier, but without the Dread Saurian. So he's got, not the Dread Saurian, without the Lifecaster. So yeah, we got a Feral Dread Saurian. Oh my god, an Ark of Sotek! It's happening! There's going to be snake launchers, launching snakes all over everyone's face. It's going to be great. Saurus Warriors with shields. We have some skink cohorts at the back, and it is going to be 4 units of the Pterodon. So yeah, the healing on the Dread Saurian, very, very powerful. Now for the force of Ludwig, he's on the brink of elimination here in the Grand Finals. Certainly can pull it back, though. Ludwig has been playing very, very well today. Front line's going to be Goblin, secondary line is going to be Orc Boys. He's got Stone Trolls to deal with the big armor. Pretty similar to what we saw earlier, actually. Savage Orc Airboys and also a Hammer of Gork, I think. Yeah, with Azag. So solid army. Solid army for sure. Yes, I know. You guys, I could get ranting about Heroes of Might and Magic for so long. Yeah, haste is really good. Especially when you get like the mastery and you can give your whole army haste. It's just like, oh, Anakin, I'm too fast. Swamp People are the Fortress, I think. Yeah, I can't remember. No, wait, there's Dungeon and then Fortress. Yeah, Fortress is Swamp People. Dungeon is like the Troglodytes and the Minotaurs. It's easy to get them confused. What's the name of the Ark of Sotek? I don't know. It would be funny to call it Karen, but I think we need something a little bit more original. So anyways, the Lizards are advancing here. The Saurus Warriors are pushing out and certainly will put a hurting on this Greenskin front line. Granted, AP Cloonies can hold their own, and especially with some good Fanatic balls. Now the Hammer of Gork, able to take out 5 Saurus Warriors with its initial blast, getting some good old jolly DPS in there. The Greenskins very much playing like a layered strategy, and I did actually miss the rest of the errors. So in total, the Greenskins do have 3 archers, which is more than enough to take out the Pterodons. Or not take them out, but fend them off. Pterodons here, though, going to be very annoying for sure. And you can see here, Azag is actually using Spirit Leeches on the Pterodons, which is interesting, you know, because now it's not going to be here to help against the Dread Saurian, which is certainly a raid boss. And with good micro, Flying Taco shouldn't lose any of the Pterodons here. And you can see, yeah, he takes a little bit of archer fire, but he is going to pull back rather quickly. On the far side, Spider Riders are marching out, but also being shot by Pterodon Riders. And 2 Pterodon Riders probably could take out those Spider Riders if they want to, but I don't think he will. I think he's going to take a more cautious approach. So the Dread Saurian is going to be drifting away. So the Dread Saurian is moving out this way because the archer line is like kind of concentrated here. So if the Dread Saurian can find some fights like right on this this little like part of the battlefield here, I think that's going to be much better for him. Yeah, man, the Slan healing the big dinos is so good. Like having a life Slan, oh, so good and tasty. So the Dread Saurian is going to be going after Stone Trolls. A couple of them do get punted on impact, and as well as some of the skinks. Looks like they get caught in the maw here of the Dread Saurian. Yeah, definitely killing the Stone Trolls with the Dread Saurian is a good play. And here the Ark of Sotek's coming in. Has he launched his snakes yet? I don't think so. Oh, there's the snakes! The snakes are launched. And now you can see the AP Cloonies are poisoned and being feasted on by the snakes of Sotek. Unfortunately, though, for the forces here of Flying Taco, front line getting crumped a little bit. Saurus Warriors got beaten down horribly by the Stone Trolls and those Orc boys. And many of the frontline engagements are a little bit of a toss-up here, but a nice Aura of Pretzel here, as well as Shield of the Old Ones, going to make this line a little bit more sustainable. And here you can see Taco is winning this engagement. So he is able to beat down the Stone Trolls, actually taking out 2 models and putting them to a very, very low HP pool. So it looks like this side of the battlefield going much better for Greenskins, obviously because Azag has committed to that side. Granted, if the Dread Saurian isn't dealt with, that thing is going to be a terror in the night, especially with overcasted regrowths. That is going to be really, really gross. I mean, the Dread Saurian getting brought up like 2,000 plus HP. It looks like an Earthblood going down now, but yeah, good DPS from Ludwig, though. He's getting the, nice rock drop attempts right there, but he does miss. Nice juke by Ludwig. I don't know if that was intentional or skirmish mode, but either way, it's a very, very good play. Manticore Summon being used up in the sky, so Flying Taco does have a Beastcaster, and the Manticore Summon is going after Azag, which, Azag will survive that, but that's some pretty good damage for sure, and I think Azag probably should just run from that. Like, fighting a Summon unit is not worth your time. And this is why you bring the Pterodons. I think it's been revealed, is that if you can break the Trolls, which happens a lot, you then have the speed to actually chase those guys off the battlefield, which is one of the things that we saw really hurt the Lizardmen in King's game. There was nothing to chase off the Trolls when he broke them, despite the fact that he broke them many, many times. So here the Slime Mage of Life in Mortal Kombat. The Feral Dread Saurian is cold-blooded, in the words of Rick James here. And now the Bastillodon with the Ark of Sotek, once again dropping the deadly snakes. The goblins are being feasted on by the snakes of Sotek here, which is a pretty hilarious thing, but it's going. And yeah, the Trolls are being chased off pretty well. Pterodon Riders just kind of flying overhead. It's a constant, like, annoying threat, right? Like, all these Pterodon Riders can go after artillery pieces. They can disrupt archers. And as a matter of fact, those little, like, poison darts will eventually add up against Azag, which is hilarious. And it's taking a lot of pressure off the Dread Saurian, I suppose, with Azag being so busy. But the Greenskin Archer line is still shooting. Rusty Arrows and all these boys getting their damage in there. And now the Dread Saurian is going in balls deep. It has to push in. If these archers are allowed to keep shooting it, that's going to be a game-losing situation for sure. Stone Trolls over here have won their fight. A little bit of a mistake here by Ludwig. It looks like he chased the cohort of Sotek like close to the edge of the battlefield. So those Stone Trolls are going to be out of the fight for quite some time while the Dread Saurian goes ham. Had they pulled back sooner, could have been a very, very different thing for sure. So here the Feral Dread Saurian is cold-blooded. Because it's a good old Dave Chappelle skit from the Chappelle Show. God, that show was so funny. The Dread Saurian here, taking out the Rusty Arrows, and the Flying Goon Squad is still active. I would imagine they're going to start focusing down on the Savage Orc Air Boys. And here we have some Stone Trolls coming in. A lot of Greenskin Infantry. It's kind of looking like a bit of a reflection of the previous game. Balance of power is actually not bad here. Yeah, it's pretty even, more or less. Azag coming in could goon out the Slan. The Slan is actually shaken. Man, if he broke the Slan, that would be brutal, because then the healing for the Dread Saurian wouldn't be here. Surprised we haven't seen a regrowth. Oh, nice attempt here. Not attempt, but a success. Ludwig coming in with the steel chair on that Skink Priest of Beast, and now switching on over the Slan. The Air Force of Flying Taco trying its best, but the Spirit Leech and the Archer line really allowed to shoot for a little bit too long. And they have been able to actually bring down the Dread Saurian just about. Cold-Blooded is actually keeping this thing fighting. Without Cold Blood, this thing would actually break right now, which would be huge for the Greenskins. But there still is an Ark of Sotek here, guys. Don't underestimate the Snake Launcher. You can see the snakes have been launched here and are feasting on some of the goblins. Will the Dread Saurian stabilize? It is actually broken. Now, is Flying Taco going to be able to keep this thing alive? And here you can see that up in the sky here, Azag is actually very low, 500 HP. Any number of these flying units could probably troll Azag, and I think this is the right play by Ludwig. He actually jumps in here and goes after the Slan Mage, just knowing that he might lose Azag. Just go deep, man. Just go deep. And it looks like that's going to be a win for the Greenskin. So Ludwig prevents the sweep and is on the board. And now, guys, we have a contested series on our hands. More games to come. Yes, my friends, the snakes are here. And, yeah, but they weren't able to carry it. I think the cohort of Sotek is the only thing fighting somewhere on the edge of the map. Yeah, it looks like a couple of them left. And Taco's going to spare us and withdraw. Yes. All right, guys. Well played. The snakes were not able to cut it. Well played to Taco. I think it was a solid game, but the mighty Ludwig was able to play extremely well there. Get those picks. Get those archers online. Ludwig with an outstanding performance. And now we move on to the next match. So for this one, let us do... I'm not going to do Swamps of Terror, because that is cruel to the players. I think it's time for a good old Tower of Hoeth showdown. Flying Taco says, didn't expect army losses. Yeah, with the Dread Saurian and Slan broken, though, for sure. Abraham, the Ark of Sotek. I like that, Gokthim. That's good. Yeah. The Greenskins were like, get these Mother effing snakes off this mother effing battlefield. I can't say that without getting my stream demonetized, so. All right, which Heroes of Might Magic game should I buy? I played it a long time ago. Honestly, dude, Jake, just go to, I think it's called GOG.com, GOG, and just get Heroes of Might and Magic 3. It's the best, dude. Get that, and then the 2 DLCs for that, like the actual DLCs. That's the best. Nothing beats that. Yeah, HOM 3 has a huge following, huge Polish and Russian community. Huge. It's very popular in Eastern Europe. Yeah. My wife is Eastern European. She had played a ton of HOM 3. Yeah, get HOM 3, dude. It's the classic. It's so fun. All right, good luck, have fun. So let the players know we're good, and now it's time to hanging out again, just chatting, guys. Yeah, the pterodons were cool. I actually like that. Samuel the Snake Launcher. Yeah, that's good. Samuel L. Jackson reference. Yeah, always solid. Hey, Les Gray. It's going really good. It's been an incredibly fun stream today. We've had great people hanging out, just having a good time together, shooting the shit, talking some nostalgia. You know how it is. Yeah, YouTube's pretty strict about that kind of stuff, Warhawk. Yeah, it is. It wouldn't ruin my, but like when I put the stream up after the fact, if it got demonetized after the fact, what happens is YouTube basically cuts the ads on it. They limit the ads you can put, which isn't a big deal. I don't care that much about that, to be honest, on streams, because like people are so generous around streams. More the issue is that when a video is restricted or is demonetized, YouTube doesn't share it with as many people. So your channel doesn't get out there as much if it has that issue. Yeah. Just Heroes of Might Magic 3 complete. Yeah, it's like $10, dude. Do it. Do it. Turin ever play Battle Realms? No, I didn't play any of those games. No, they were more obscure. I knew people who played them, but I did not play those, no. Michael says, I like Heroes 5 more, but I'm not an old man. Ben Harrison. Thank you for the tenor. He says, nice, great channel. Cheers. Cheers to you, Ben. Ben is a proud name, and thank you so much. Ludwig fights back. Ludwig coming back from the brink of defeat. Now we have a very good series on our hands here. Yeah, feral dinosaurs usually don't have the best leadership, but... Taco's like, what have we played already? Yeah, they're trying to remember the matchups they played. Loving the Everchosen turn. Absolutely beautiful gameplay. Glad to hear. Yeah, Everchosen was really fun. Yeah. Ben Harrison. I don't know why it says message retracted. Yeah, Ben Harrison's donated $10. I can see it on the back end. It says, nice, great channel, cheers. That's the retracted. Like, why is it retracted? That's weird. Maybe YouTube thought it was like something bad or a bot or something. I don't know. Ben Harrison, thank you. Yeah. So Ludwig and Taco are working out their picks and bans. It is best of 5. Oh, I forgot to tell him that in best of 5, it's single ban. Usually it's a single ban. I forgot to say. Because otherwise, if you have double bans at a best of 5 and it goes all the way, like you run out of factions, it just becomes like ridiculous. So you're supposed to generally do single ban in best of 5. So like you would pick Empire and ban like dwarves and then et cetera, et cetera. Cool. So I fixed that. He changed his mind about the channel. Means they deleted their comment, huh? Interesting. Interesting stuff. So it looks like Flying Taco is going to go coast, and he's banning dwarves. That's smart. That's really good. You also have to factor in what your opponent's already played, because they can't play the same faction twice. So I'm thinking of hosting another tournament tomorrow. I know we talked about it earlier, guys, but there's going to be another one tomorrow that has, I think, either tomorrow or sometime in the week, we'll do a faction war style. So players can only play one faction the whole way through, but as many players can register, and they each pick their like champion faction that they want to play. Warhawk, hey, glad to hear, Warhawk, you're getting all the content, man. The dwarves have been banned a lot today. Yeah, well, dwarves just stomp Vampire Coast. It's like, yeah, they just get wrecked. Dwarves are actually one of the best races against undead. Dwarves like are such high leadership and like durable that they can really weather the storm. Like dwarves are really a hard counter against Tomb Kings. They're really hard counter against Coast, and it's advantageous against counts as well. Like if you're looking to beat down undead, just like become really good at dwarves. Typically you'll be banned out, unfortunately, but eventually you'll get it. Yeah. Longbeards. I know the dwarves. They're awesome, man. The dwarves. But man, guys, I've had the HL lately for head-to-head campaigns. Like that's one of my favorite things because I really like campaign, but I get bored of it because of the AI. But playing against another player is like really fun. It's like it's such a good format to shoot the shit too. And I'm one of those people who likes to kind of play under pressure. So I really like using a 2-minute turn timer. Like it adds another layer of intensity to the campaign. Yeah. So Ludwig is thinking about his factions. Beastmen could be good here. I think Ludwig has already played Empire, so he can't pick them. So that makes it a really, really good pick from Taco. Yeah. Are there just a bunch of angry dwarves yelling in chat? Hey, wronged us. Yeah. Fight the Dawi. Ban the Dawi, go into the book. It's like you fight him, it's a lose-lose situation. This is best of 5, yeah. It's currently 2-1. Taco's up. Ludwig with the most recent win. Multiplayer rune campaign. Yeah, I still enjoy campaign, but like the thing is like if you just play conservative and safe and don't take too many risks and like you can always like campaign becomes pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't know. So in my head-to-head campaigns, I do use the 2-minute turn timer because that's for you guys. Because if imagine if I was playing a head-to-head campaign with someone and we have a 5-minute or no turn timer. Do you know some of those turns are going to be like 15 minutes long? We will never have a good viewing experience for you guys. So I know some people don't like playing with the 2-minute turn timers. It might be a little bit more stressful, but like if you like people take so long in their turns in campaign, yeah, you got to have a turn timer if you're doing a head-to-head. Otherwise, it's just stupid. It just becomes like so boring. Yeah, because it's already slow enough, right, with the battles and. No, we're not on the live build right now. We're on the beta because the beta doesn't have the weapon damage bug, which hopefully will be going live soon. It's kind of annoying. Yeah. Where's my book? Everybody's looking for the Book of Grudges. I'm sure there's a bunch of them out there. It's going to be Dark Elves versus Coast. Interesting. It's a matchup that has been historically, I think, slightly Coast favored, but we actually saw in the faction war, Ice Power Total War almost beat Anticity's Coast with Dark Elves, and he had a really good build. I mean, he just let his Lord die in accident, but aside from that, like it was good. No, Zinchian representative, I'm saying that like if you don't have a turn timer, then it turns into 50-minute turns. Yeah. Kevin Robinson, for keeping it going while I cook during the meal and still being here after the dinner walk. I got you, man. Got your back, Kevin. Thank you, dude. Do you plan on doing a 4-player PvP multiplayer campaign? It's not possible. But if it was, hell yes. I really think 2-minute turn timer is good. Like, yeah, your plays are going to be suboptimal, but it keeps things going. It keeps the campaign from stagnating and drawing out. Yeah. I'd be down someday at Mole Spaghetti. Once my hand's fixed, I can do more things. It's like right now I'm limited, but someday. Once I go through all the recovery, hit me up, dude. A 1-minute turn timer, you can do that, but 1-minute turn timer is ridiculous. That's just too much. Yeah, you like 2 or 3 minutes is the sweet spot. So, Marcus, there's nothing wrong with a slow building up campaign if you're just like playing with your pals or whatever. But for me, when I'm doing a head-to-head campaign, like, and it's PvP based, and like we have, otherwise, like, here's the thing. I'm doing a head-to-head campaign. I'm streaming. You guys are watching my perspective. If it's my perspective and I have to sit there for 15 to 20 minutes doing nothing while somebody takes their turn and you guys are all watching, it's like, it's not very fun. Keeping it like quicker means it cycles between players' turns and it's like more action. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with long turns. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying from a viewing perspective. I think the short turn timers are much better. Yeah. It's like speed chess, right? It's like, have you guys ever watched competitive chess, like Blitz in chess? Like they have like timers, right? Like where the players have time limits. I love watching that. It's like the players are under more duress to like have Andy was talking about wrestling me, like physically wrestling me in real life. What, really? That seems like such a random thing for him to talk about. That's really funny though. I mean, I'm down if he wants to. Shit, I got some jujitsu and wrestling experience. Let's do it, man. He wants to wrestle me? What? The Spartacus Eartha Eck head-to-head is one of the best of all time. I do have several years of boxing experience too. I've only sparred probably 5 or 6 times though. A lot of it was just like bag work and rope and stuff. But I have done some sparring. Then I stopped one night after I sparred someone and got my ass kicked and came home and was like looking at the lights and they were like super bright. I'm like, I probably shouldn't do this anymore. You know? Oh my god. That was quite a humbling thing because like my whole life growing up, I was always very athletic and relatively strong, right? And then what ended up happening is, I started doing boxing and, I was boxing against this like 140-pound guy. I was probably 175 and pretty muscular at the time, but my cardio wasn't great. So I came in, I was sparring with this 145-pound dude who was a boxer, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fine. I'm so much bigger and, more imposing than him. And this guy fucking just ran me ragged. I was just missing. I was exhausted. And then he just beat on me for the entire sparring session. I was like, oh, man, that is a humbling experience, dude. It just goes to show experience in cardio, man. That's where it's at. Yeah. But eventually, I got better cardio and was able to do well. But yeah, man, people who are trained, it's serious. Yeah, boxing is cool, but like as a long-term like hobby and craft, it's like it's just not the concussions you get. It's rough. Jiu-jitsu is different. I love jiu-jitsu because you can go pretty hard and not like suffer serious damage aside from maybe like tweaking things here and there. Yeah. I did boxing for a long time, yeah, but it's like, man, people who like train boxing in like their gym and hit the bag, it's nothing. You're not going to get any valuable experience compared to sparring. It's like sparring teaches you everything. Inji Pride and Turin mud wrestling? What? This is getting absurd. Yeah. Oh, it's okay, guys. Whatever. I slip up every now and then, but it was truly an emphasis. Yeah. Yeah. Cardio beats chaos, dude. Cardio is so important. I used to have good cardio though. I was a collegiate track athlete. Like I ran track and I ran the 400 meter dash, the 200, 100. I could run a pretty good mile too. Yeah. Judo, you just lose your knees or your shoulders. Yeah. Well, I wasn't fighting a UFC fighter. It was just like an amateur boxer at a local gym. Yeah. So somebody in chat says, Chrono says, they taught us jiu-jitsu in the Canadian military and we did taekwondo for stretching. It was pretzel hell, I tell you. Oh my god. Yeah, it's funny because in other, normally like I'm kind of like, oh, they need to pick their armies. It's taking so long. But since we're having these ridiculous conversations today, like I straight up don't care. I like it's fine. Yeah. I'm pretty out of shape right now though. Like I'm really out of shape. Yeah. Cardio is so important, dude. Like, that's the thing. When I first went into my jiu-jitsu classes, like, since I had a little bit of martial arts and wrestling experience, I was able to really do well against people. Like, even as a white belt, I was able to really, like, use my kind of wrestling, like, experience I had kind of garnered to contest, stuff with, people who were, a little bit more experienced than me. But cardio was, like, the biggest thing. Once you get cardio going and just get, like, basic survival in, like, jiu-jitsu and grappling, like, man, you can go hard. But yeah, cardio was like the most important thing, dude. Because grappling is so freaking tiring. Oh my god. Grappling is so tiring. Like, there's few physical activities where, like, when you first are out of shape and start grappling, jiu-jitsu or wrestling, and you, like, go in, dude, it is so freaking exhausting. Like, wrestling and grappling and just, like, that kind of stuff, I don't know. Like, I play... High school football is, like, has nothing on that. Track and field, like, no. Because it exhausts you in ways that you just aren't used to experiencing. Yeah. Absolutely. Have we seen any rats today? Saranska? Yeah, we saw a really cool rat game earlier. We saw double Rattling Gunner Warp Grinder from against Vampire Counts. It was a cool build. I do sleep with a wrist brace, yeah. Winter beats Zotek. We gotta travel to Texas and face the Lord Master of Zotek. Yeah. Well, that's the scariest thing. Like, the scariest MMA fighters are guys with wrestling bases. Like, if you look at these Division I wrestlers, like, who learn jiu-jitsu and, like, learn how to stuff takedowns and, like, learn how to strike, they're the most terrifying. Like, freaking Habib Nurmagomedov, I think is how you say his last name. I always mangle it. But Habib is so terrifying, that guy. It's just like, he just like smothers you on the ground, doesn't let you breathe, and just like, he just can out wrestle you so hard that you just can't get up. It's like, that's a terrifying thing, you know? Yeah, for sure. Running with a mullet has a point. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. When I first got the mullet haircut, guys, I was running, and there was like some old man who looked like probably in his 60s, 70s, and he like looked at my mullet waving as I ran by, and I just like smiled at him, and he like nodded at me. I was like, hell yeah, that's a moment right there. Turin, do you try to use tournament rules in head-to-head? I probably will do that in the future, yeah, to prevent like corner camping and stuff like that. Yeah, grappling is like a whole nother thing, man. You know, when I get my hands fixed and I eventually am able to get back to jiu-jitsu, I plan on competing in some competitions with just, you know, just like low-level competitions just for fun, and I'll film some of them and put them up on the channel. 100 pounds and some wrestling experience? Yeah, dude, for sure. Oh my god, dwarves would be the scariest wrestlers. Yeah, no, I agree, Saranska. I agree with that statement 100%. All right, guys, let's talk Warhammer. Enough mud wrestling. All right, so for the forces here of... all right, we'll get this donation first. Stephen Lee! Someone in Indy's chat brought it up wrestling, and Indy was saying he has no chance against you unless your haggard wrist gives out. So he tried to survive until it did. Cardio beats chaos. That's really funny. Oh, man. Yeah, good old Indy Pride, man. I can imagine him saying that. That's really funny. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, we could do it for charity or something. Who knows? All right, guys. So for the forces here, Flying Taco, he's got... And Stephen Lee, thank you so much. Yeah, he's got polearms in the front. He's got a Gunnery White, actually. Gunnery White's an interesting choice here for the Flying Taco. Gunnery White is pretty good with Noctilus and also against vampire counts. Dark Elves. He's pretty useful against flying characters. So if there's like a Marathi, a Malekith, a Hydra, he's good single target steady DPS with, 180 range, which certainly isn't bad. Secondary line here is going to be Gunnery Mobs. It's going to be big old Count Noctilus, a Mortar to deal with Shades. And I would imagine there's like some Scurvy Dogs or other things like that. It's hard to say. Haggard Wrist. Oh my god. That's going in the book. Yeah, no, I've definitely been punished in jiu-jitsu quite badly. I've gotten my fair shakes at people, but look, I'm not going to lie and say I'm like insanely good at it. I'll put up a video someday when the time comes. You guys can see me get wrecked. It'll be fun. All right, so Dark Riders here for the forces of the Dark Elves, and let's look at the army. So my usual build against Dark Elves, or against Coast, is actually triple Bolt Thrower. It's very, very cost effective. He's actually going to be going with a Dark Shard build, so it looks like Dark Shard, front line of Corsairs mixed with some Witch Elves, Coldwood Knights on the flanks, Witch Elves, and in the back we have a Supreme Sorceress of Fireball. Very interesting. The problem with Dark Shards is Noctilus and Mortars can kill them very effectively, so yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. Yes, I do sleep with a wrist brace at night. Yeah, I do. Watch out for the shrubbery. Yes, I know. There's a lot of shrubbery here. And the battle is underway. Good luck, have fun being dropped by both players. And now the Bolt Thrower is going to be opening up, going after the Drakon mobs just with its auto fire. But I would imagine the Bolt Thrower is going to scoot forward and go after the mortars. Flying Taco does have double mortar. This is very much like the traditional old school style of Coast against Dark Elves. The other style you see is kind of Anticity, where he basically just has a front line of Drakon mobs and bombers and like a million handgunners. That obviously is quite strong as well. Usually against Vampire or against Dark Elves, I like to have a cannon or two just to kind of shoot down their characters and snipe their bolt throwers and things like that. But yeah, we will see. Is there a unit cap? Yeah, you can only have 20 units. That's pretty normal. So Count Noctilus is going to be moving forward with his peg leg. The bolt thrower is actually in spray fire mode, which you don't see terribly often, but it's not bad at clearing out chaff. Like if you have 3 bolt throwers shooting at like a Drakon mob, you can actually take it out very, very quickly, which certainly isn't bad. So here come the mortars, now going to be opening up on the Dark Elves, really going to be pushing the envelope. For Ludwig here, one of his keys to success is really going to be getting his Dark Riders and mobile units to hammer into the gunline pieces if he can. Try and get onto the mortars probably. I mean, it takes a while actually for Dark Riders to kill handgun mobs. That's why it's not always super effective. But if he's able to shut down the mortars, that would be his best play. The mortars are the counter against Dark Shards. Dark Shards will outtrade the gun units. You guys are starting to see a formula here. So Fireball's going downtown. This is pretty big. Actually going after the Gunnery White of all choices. Interesting. I actually thought he would use the Fireball to try and snipe the mortar teams. Because the mortars, of course, every Fireball you do oftentimes does kill a single one of the mortars. So that can be quite strong indeed. So here we do have a flank coming in, the Dark Riders, but a really nice ambush. This is why Mourngulls are such a good defensive unit. You use them, they appear invisible, obviously, so you can kind of use them to creep up on the skirmish cav as they come in and pressure your gunline pieces. Mortars still raining in, not going after the Dark Shards quite yet. I'm surprised. They're actually going after the Corsairs. And here you can see these Coldwood Knights are being pressured here by the Gunnery Mobs. So far, no great openings here for the Druki. And now another Fireball coming in. Really nice Fireball, and he's also using the Bolt Thrower to snipe this Gunnery Wight. It's an interesting choice, though. The Gunnery Wight isn't going to be, like, super punishing. I guess he's playing more like the long game, right? So now the Corsairs have come in, but the Mortars and Bomber Fire is going to be so punishing. The Dark Elf front line is just going to get wrecked, most likely. Although a really nice Burning Head here does actually open up the back line here. So you can see Ludwig is able to get a Burning Head. It roasts a couple units of zombies, even goes into the second one. And now you can see that the Glorious Dread Spears are going to be making their way into the gun line. Yeah, this is getting pretty crazy. So this is where the Dark Elves really need to butter the bread here of this force. The Dark Shards really need to kind of pour it on. But oh, this is actually a little bit scary here. We got Scurvy Dogs coming up and under, and it does not look like the Dark Elves have any support here to protect these archers. Oh, that's not true. They actually have some Witch Elves. So the Witch Elves can potentially peel off those Scurvy Dogs or keep them in check. The Dark Shards really performing well, going after these Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mob Bombers, wearing them down. Dread Spears are pressing, and honestly, Ludwig looks like he's doing okay here, but oh no, a big opening in the back, but a huge mistake here by the Flying Taco. No, he notices it. Okay, good. I was like, is he going to forget these Scurvy Dogs? He's not. So this is free real estate. This Bolt Thrower is 100% going to be going offline. Ludwig pretty much has to concede it's done for. Granted, it's used about 70% of its ammo, so it's not like it's a terrible situation. So another Fireball coming in. Fireball going to be going into the Gunnery Wight, and wha-boom! The Gunnery Wight getting popped right in its good old decrepit, rotting face. Witch Elves are now pushing in as well, and the Supreme Sorceress of Fire is in okay shape, and here in the back, where did those Dark Riders come from? Did they just, like, teleport back here? Some Dark Riders caught those Scurvy Dogs. Where were they? I didn't even see them. I guess I haven't eaten in a while, so I'm getting a little bit delusional here as this game does progress. So this is pretty scary here for the forces of the Vampire Coast. All of the Dark Shards and various missile pieces. What's that, guys?
I'm just trying to find points.
Oh, no worries, darling. So here the Dark Shard shooting in. Noctilus is down to about 3,500 HP. It does kind of normalize the balance of power a little bit, but currently it's looking like Vampire Coast is probably in a decent shape. Granted, the fourth quarter Dark Riders could be huge. Both of the mortar teams are unprotected. Oh no, it looks like Taco overchased here with the polearms. And now there is an opening to actually get in and take out those mortars. And you can see with that happening, probably going to pull the bounce power back, I would imagine. So here we have some more Scurvy Dogs hunting down the Dark Shards where they can. Mourngulls also collapsing here on these Scurvy Dogs. Getting in there. And yes, this is indeed live. Does it say premiere or something? That's weird. Anyways, the mortar teams are offline. Or the mortar crews are offline, which is going to be a huge boon, especially if he can actually finish them off. And it looks like he's actually going for the kill on Count Noctil, so some Dread Spears. I do think getting the Dark Riders to finish off the mortar team first would be vastly more substantial to really make sure that the Dark Shards and these various other units can really, prosper and do well for themselves. So balance power is really even, guys. I mean, this game could certainly go either way. Witch Elf still grinding it out. Coldwood Knights able to get in, and Coldwood Knights are anti-large specialists. So the Coldwood Knights fighting against the Mourngulls here. Mourngulls are crumbling down, -31, -26. And yeah, it looks like those Mourngulls are going to be having a pretty rough time against those anti-large spears. Now the mortars are compromised as well, but this one is still going for some reason. The Gunnery Wight here is probably in need of a couple more fireballs to really finish him off. It looks like a couple Coldwood Knights are trying to get him. Might be able to drag him down. Probably pulling the Coldwood Knights over here to help out in this fight would be a little bit more impactful. A nice invocation going down, Fireball going after the Gunnery Wight, and it looks like it does hit him. He's weak binding. Currently his leadership is 5. Looks like he's not quite to the point of breaking. This is a little bit rough though, all the Dark Shards being chased off. But the Scurvy Dogs that are doing the chasing here are actually crumbling themselves, so they're probably not going to have enough durability to really finish it. And it looks like Ludwig might be able to pull this one back and go to Game 5. It's very close. Noctilus is still a raid boss, of course. He's somewhat healthy, and also it does have Mourngull support here, and also some handgun mobs really peppering in. Yeah, look at the handguns peeling there. Very, very solid stuff. Gunnery Wight is quite low. And the Supreme Sorceress is going to be jumping in to try and take out that Gunnery Wight. Taco looks like he might be on his way back into this game. From a point that was looking a little bit tough for him. And also getting the Dark Shards back is quite big, but only if the mortars are offline. If the mortars are still functional here, they're going to be quite scary. Yeah, you can see a Cycle Charge coming in. This guy is crumbling. -1 leadership, but that's not going to be enough. You definitely got to Cycle Charge him a little bit more to finish off that Gunnery Wight. And here she comes. And is it going to get him? 340. It looks like he does not take the hit. Gunnery Wights don't have bad combat stats. Certainly not slouches. Dark Shards coming back is by far the biggest thing for the Dark Elves here, but yeah, there's still Mourngulls here. If the Witch Elves can actually rampage the Mourngulls and then they get focused down by the Dark Shards, that could actually be really, really strong. Yeah, but unfortunately, he should have taken out the mortar earlier. That was a pretty big misplay. Gunnery White still isn't breaking. He does have, 38 melee defense against, not the best melee attack. Fireball appears to be going after the Hard Knock Life. It does hit him right in his hide here. Dark Shards are forced off by Roth's Moondial summon here from Count Noctilus. And the Dark Riders do get into the handgun mob, but I think it's too little too late. The Supreme Sorcerer is able to finish the Gunnery White, but yeah, the mortars being online is tough, and Noctilus, of course, surviving the Wrath. And that is going to be a victory for the Flying Taco, who is going to be our next qualifier for the Eternal Challenger League Grand Finals. Congratulations to the Flying Taco. Able to join the ranks of Falcon, Anticity, and Talaxla and Soothsayer. And of course, we've seen Flying Taco have very good games against Sooth. Well played to Ludwig, though. It was a good game. Couple little things, losing things here and there, but I did like his build. I'm more of a fan of the Shades because the mortars can't get him quite as easily. But man, that was a really, really close game. Very, very close game indeed. And now, my friends, we shall update the scoreboard. Well played to Ludwig. What an absolute beast. But Flying Taco has emerged victorious today and will be added to the player list. So now this is time. Writing his name into the grand finals. Flying Taco. Oh, no, that's an image. We gotta do text here. So it's gonna be text. Flying Taco. So Flying Taco is qualified. Congratulations to him, GG. Today we had 60 challengers, 60 players playing for a spot in the grand finals, and Flying Taco has emerged as the #1 contender here. And he did not play easy competition today. He certainly had to face some very, very good opponents. I know, part of me was like, I want to see another game, but, it is what it is. Very good games indeed. So that is going to be it for today. These are the qualifiers. Talaxla and Soothsayer week 1 coming out hard, establishing that early dominance. Anticity, Falcon, no surprises with either of those two names. And now Flying Taco is our 4th qualifier. We'll be back with more qualifiers soon. So guys, make sure you all go get some food, stay hydrated, stay safe in these dire times. I want to thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for the mods for sticking around. I know it was a long stream. Almost 4 hours, so you guys really putting apart a large portion of your day to hang out and help out and chat and all that. So mods, appreciate you guys as always. And then lastly, man, oh my God, the balls deep donations today. We gotta run this one back real quick. So we from Stephen Lee, Kevin Robinson, Ben Harrison, Grim Soka, man. Grim Soka donated like $400 today. Just absolute lunacy. So Grim, if you're watching this back, thank you so much. I know I already thanked you a million times on stream, but dude, I can't thank you enough. And Lady Turn and I will make sure to send you something nice. We'll make you some custom art. Sierra, thank you so much for the 1122. Samuel Christensen, Andrew Pugh, Nick DeBoer, Flying Potater, Grimsoka again. Grimsoka, Sharif, thank you so much, Sharif, for the 50. He says hashtag free tic-tac-toe, which we will. Tic-tac-toe will be freed for a head-to-head campaign soon. Jonathan Kelly, Juan Orozco. And down below, we have Bubba's Big Blast, Pedro, Hi Guy, and Paulius getting in there, having some fun. Thank you guys so much for your support. And last but not least, of course, we do have a new member here on the channel. 2 new members, actually. Let's go ahead and find those. I know, guys. It's been a great stream. We have Grim Soka as a new member on top of the donations, and Zach Rankle. Thank you guys so much. No, Saronsky, I gotta rest, man. My hands are really bothering me. Yeah, I gotta call it. Kevin Robinson, your donations are always balls deep, dude. It's the intent. Yeah. All right, guys. You guys all have a great day. Stay safe. Congratulations to Flying Taco and everyone who played today. It was an amazing top 4, man. We had some great games. That series with Taco and Random Nicks was so good. And then we had that amazing series with King of the Dead and Ludwig as well. It was just great games across the board. All right, guys. That is it. Thank you so much for joining. And now we will, gonna go hang out with my hot wife, relax, get some food. I'm starving. All right, Stephen Lee. If he wants to, I'm down. I love competition in all shapes and forms. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. And until then, we will see you guys on the other side. And Alpaca Lord, last question I'll answer in the next qualifier will either be Wednesday or Saturday. So stay tuned, man. All right, guys. Thank you all. And that's it. Take care, guys.